Everything burns.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello. What's going on? How's everybody doing today? How's my chat doing? Shade Tree Surgeon, what's going on? Ganji the Goblin? What's up? Zaint? Austin? We got a big show tonight. We got a lot of stuff to cover. Even while I'm listening to music, just getting ready, getting hyped up for the stream. We got some breaking news straight off the bat. Null from Kiwi Farms has issued a response that he will be supporting the victims. Well, the victim s plural, if that turns out to be the... I'm sorry, this is fucking hilarious. If he tries to fuck with us, implying that Destiny is going to sue Kiwi Farms, I will not only crowdfund our defense, but I will crowdfund our offense. For every single one of the victims, we raised $150,000 in 2 days for Greer and LFJ. I will bury him in litigation and drip feed the internet court document drama for lawtubers to eat up for the next half decade of his life. He will never be known as a serious political entity again. Tired of dealing with this fucking censorship by litigation bullshit. Holy, oh my god. I'm sorry, I can't even start my stream without breaking news dropping, because supposedly Kiwi Farms is getting, I guess, targeted. There's talks of suing Kiwi Farms, so Null is coming out aggressively. That's what's happening right now. Holy shit. Wow. Guys, so much has happened. We covered we covered the President Sunday video. We covered the leaked phone calls. We went over Destiny's response in the previous stream. We lightly touched on Chaeiry. We'll be exploring that one a bit more tonight. We have all the stuff here for that. We didn't cover that yet on this stream. Erudite has responded multiple times. We've got a lot of Erudite to cover. Listen, I gotta be honest with you. I obviously don't have the popular take. I mean, in my community, I do. I think most people agree with me. But I tweeted out that I thought Erudite's interview, the parts that I did see, were horrendous. And I had a bunch of angry DGG, or I guess adjacent chatters, like, holy crap, Nick, what are you talking about? She's a great person. She's doing this for all the right reasons. This was a great conversation. This was really good, Nick. What are you talking about? Dude, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, DGG. Listen, I like what you did with Destiny. I appreciate that you guys have been super duper charitable to the people covering Destiny. That's good. I'm very glad. Okay, but Olympus has fallen, and you guys don't have any pressure over anybody. I mean, you never did over me, but now you don't. Now you really don't over everybody else, so it doesn't really matter. You don't really get to dictate speech anymore. You guys barely even have a Twitter community. I think, didn't Destiny pull the plug on his Twitter community this week? Yeah, I mean, that's not really listen, glad you're here. If you want to leave, that's perfectly fine too. I'm okay with either one. I saw this one. This was great. I think I stole this off the Reddit. Hey, you just hit your head there pretty hard, buddy. What is this?
Weasley
Jesus Christ. Thank you, Shade Tree Surgeon.
Domination face mask. They have been weighed, measured, and found wanting.
I'm not going to do too many memes tonight, but I'm definitely I had to bring a couple out. Hey, you hit your head there, buddy. Pretty hard there. What is that? Trump re-election? Bridge burning?
Oh no! What have I
Divorce? Betraying Pixie? That must have been a really rough landing. Come on, it's 2024 and Kamala just won. Our first female president. Let's celebrate with our good friends Hassan, David Pacman, and my lovely wife, Melina. For half my audience think this is like the ideal timeline. The other half of my audience is just like, as bad as things have been, it could be worse. Oh, man. Now let me get that out of here. Big news on the Pixie front. If you guys aren't familiar, Pixie is the one making the allegations toward Destiny. She's the one that Destiny confirmed that he had distributed her leaked images to a random OnlyFans whore. People have been arguing with me about the language in terms of distributed or leaked. They're like, Nick, Destiny didn't leak them. He only sent them to a random 19-year-old girl that he talked to on the phone multiple times. The infamous hacker / maybe it's the girl, who really knows? She's the one to blame.
Person? Who is Bunty King?
And to that I say,
is this a bad
weird?
time to remind everyone that you leaked Kinetic Kel's nudes on New Year's?
Yes, I leaked them all. But yeah, literally, like, let's be honest here. It's a fucking leak. I'm sorry. You can't really sweep for this.
Person? Who is Bunty
You want to
King?
hear sweeping?
Nicholas
Look for
DeOrio?
every person in the fucking Dexerto chat line who's like, oh god, Destiny didn't leak it. He just distributed it without consent. It's like, yeah, no. Sorry. If that account wasn't compromised, If that account was compromised and you
What is
didn't
Bunty
leak
King
it,
to you?
A person?
they wouldn't have the
Who is Bunty
photos.
Nicholas DeOrio?
Listen, all I'm saying is that if a Destiny Keffel's S3X tape leaks, I'm uninstalling all social media. So I
That
don't
would be
have to
worse
see it
than
and help
111.
myself.
Oh my god, dude. Why did you just will that into existence? What is wrong with you? Holy fuck. Chill. That is worse than 111. That would literally be like a second 111. Why would you fucking say something like that? Oh, that exists? Oh, please stop. Please stop.
I don't respect you.
How did you hit the goal already?
What am I gonna do?
We need a new goal, Nicholas.
There you go, buddy. I got you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyways, what was I saying?
What is Bunty King to
There
you?
are people who are literally
Who is Bunty
arguing
King?
that it's okay that Destiny is like distributed these. Well, maybe it's not okay, but it's not nearly as bad as leaking it. No, I mean they leaked it. Look at Dexerto's article. I didn't even cue this up, but it's so cowardly to describe it this way.
Oh no! What
Let me pull this up while we're getting donation bombed. You guys are awesome, by the way. Holy crap! How much do they post? Police report's been filed against Destiny. That's the new one. We'll get there.
What is Bunty King to you?
A person?
Who is Bunty King?
Nicholas DeOrio?
Holy crap! They post a lot more than I thought. Okay. Here, I'm actually like shocked by this. I think this is absurd. He
What is
added that
Bunty
he
King
hadn't
to you?
spoken out publicly.
Who is Bunty King?
Nicholas DeOrio?
Destiny has denied
Just
accusations.
make sure your
Damn
door
it!
lock is more than 3 feet off the ground, and Destiny won't be able to reach it.
Jesus, this
I
feels
also
like the
finally
Augie
found
stream.
out what JAR stands for. It's Jaden Animation Rappy.
You guys are killing me today. Thank you. Oh, by the way, before we get super started, God damn it, I have to do this too. Just a Robot got terminated on YouTube. I'm sorry. I have fucking 2,000 people here who are watching. Can you guys like fucking? I'm gonna put this in the chat.
What
Can
is
you
Bunty
help
King to
him?
you?
A person?
Who is Bunty
This
King?
guy is like a turbo
Nicholas
retard,
DeOrio?
and we don't like him, but he doesn't deserve to lose his channel because he got hacked. So can you guys just like respond to this tweet and tag team YouTube? I did it too. Just go there and say YouTube, please get his account back or whatever. Just a Robot is like the fucking moron we covered the other day, but some like he got hacked by crypto people, and that's not really fair for him. So thank you. Oh, he's back already? Oh, then I didn't need to do that. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Back to where we were. I apologize. Back to where we were. So Destiny has denied accusations that he deliberately leaked a woman's private images, claiming that the leak happened without his knowledge, consent, or authorization. Okay. But like he confessed.
Did I not ask
He
you?
literally confessed that he distributed it to the random 19-year-old girl. So I'm actually super confused as to what this caption actually means. He denied that he leaked a woman's private images. No, he didn't. I mean, he's tying the entire thing to the hack. Like, that's the narrative shift, and it's being picked up like that by Dexerto. He added that he hasn't spoken out publicly because he's pursuing litigation against multiple parties. So I pointed out, how else would you describe sharing your friend's sex tape with a random OnlyFans whore other than deliberate, unless Dexerto's post-title department
What is
doesn't
Bunty
think that
King to you?
sharing illicit
A person?
materials
Who is Bunty
in
King?
DMs is essentially a stranger leaking it. And now this is the actual message. We didn't show this on stream yesterday. I'll actually make this a little bit bigger so you can see it better. But this was the the actual interaction that happened. Not only did Destiny share this woman's fucking sex tape, like his own friend's sex tape, right?
Oh, what am I gonna do?
Not only did Destiny share his own friend's sex tape, but it's, I don't think I have much blowjob stuff recorded. So instead of just not sending a blowjob video to this Rose person, it's, ooh, there was this girl one time. She was young. Oh, God, that's, she was kind of new and she wasn't that
Did I
good.
not ask you nice enough?
I don't respect you.
Bro,
No! What am I gonna do?
come on.
Wait, what did my favorite blue-haired feminist with the name Destiny do?
You know what he did?
Hopefully nothing too unsightly and career-ending.
Not only did he share this girl's fucking sex tape, a girl whose whole thing was, I got big without fucking Destiny, ruining her fucking reputation. Not only did he do that, apparently she sucked at giving head. And that was conveyed through the message prior to it being sent. She was really young, inexperienced. What a
What is
weird
Bunty King
fucking
to you?
thing for a
person?
30-year-old man
Who
to
is
say.
Bunty King?
Nicholas
What a
DeOrio?
fucking weird thing to
From
say,
Destiny
dude.
in DGG chat. I have never done anything, maliciously, or as any of the insane lav, MR girl, JSTLK allegations say. That's dumb. My only crime is being too much of a gooner in 2023 and earlier 100% sure. Love you, Nick.
Guys, you understand? This is another one. Thank you for that. It's January 23rd. When you go in 2023, that doesn't imply 2 years ago. Okay? We're in like the first week of 2025. That's basically saying last year I was too much of a gooner. Okay, what does 2023 mean? He's 36? Yeah, but at the time of this was like... Oh, so then he would be 36, then he'd be 33. I apologize. I apologize to the numbers people. Yeah, so people are arguing with me like a ton on this. They're like, well, actually, Nicholas, that's not where the leak is. It's super cringe. Anywho, so Pixie raised over $27,000. Unfortunately, the source is Mike from PA, who keeps retweeting me despite the fact that I fucking hate him. And this is the, I don't think we read this last time. On November 29th, I learned that Destiny non-consensually shared pornographic images of me towards others. If you wish to read more details of this situation, here's my official statement below. I'm going to have to mute this for a second. I'm so sorry. To clarify, Lauren Hayden helped me set up the fundraising account, and she is not my lawyer/legal representation. I will be suing him for violating U.S. Federal Code 15, civil action relating to the disclosure of intimate images and publication of private, and then read more. So this thing is being pushed to like $27,000 already. It has exceeded its original goal of $25,000. Now, obviously, we'll get to Chaeiry later. Chaeiry has filed a criminal complaint on Destiny, which obviously is different, and it's significantly more severe, but also is not really super actionable at this moment because there's literally nothing I can do to prove that it occurred. So we'll be referencing it, but ultimately I can't make a heads or tails. I haven't spoken to Chaeiry. I know people who have spoken to Chaeiry. They tell me it's compelling. That's not really enough for me, but we'll move forward regardless. Since posting this, I've received countless messages of women informing me they've received pornographic content from Destiny. Content that they now believe wasn't made or sent with consent. Now, made with is obviously a significant upgrade in terms of severity. Sent with consent sounds more of the same. This is not surprising to me because there were more photos just in the leaks and videos in the leaks than were previously accounted for. There's like, again, people talk about this all the time, but they don't usually use this context for it. The blowjob video, the Destiny is gay blowjob Nick Fuentes video. Now, knowing that Pixie's was sent without consent, right? It's plausible to come to the conclusion that that video might have also not been sent with consent. We don't know for a matter of fact. It's a random Grindr hookup. But again, I don't know many people who'd be like, yeah, you can take this compromising video of me and send it to random people online. There's obviously Melina who's spoken about it. She claims that things have been released without her consent. There's several different clips that are kind of all been jumbled together. Ultimately, though, Destiny has threatened her into silence, so I don't know if she's going to like issue another statement on top of that. But that's at least 3 people, one of which is completely confirmed. One is mostly like, I'd say like 96% true. And then lastly is the Grindr person who I personally believe, but that's not really enough that's not an actionable thing either at this point. But now there's apparently up to 3, what was this, countless messages. I heard there was up to 3 more from JStalk. So now there's potentially even more people who have come out here. This is a disastrous situation for Destiny, I'd say. It seems like a worst case scenario at the moment. And he's obviously taking it super well. I think we have that right here, right? He's taking this super well. Bro, if I need to go on a sex offender registry, I'm taking 20 other streamers with me. Okay, lol W. Why do you know 20 other sex offenders? What is going on at Twitch? I'm so confused. Why does this guy know 20 sex offenders? I hate doing this because it reminds me of Jake Weddle. But like, I like unironically, like, what the fuck, dude? See dead people. Apparently this is twitch.tv. Those are all Destiny's friends, apparently. What the fuck is going on? Why are there fucking 20 sex offenders over at Twitch? I don't understand what's happening right now. Or why he thinks this makes him look good. I don't understand. I call this a crash out. There are people in my replies being like, Nicholas, this is a strong response from Destiny. You wait and see. It's like, okay, fun. again, this is great content for me, I guess. I'll cover all 20 of them, but I don't really see how that makes Destiny's situation any better. I personally do think it's kind of a crash out, but yeah, apparently all of Destiny's friends are now on lock. I don't know what's going on. Apparently Twitch is Hollywood. We're going to have a Me Too movement this year. This is going to be a... Back to where we were. Okay. So we're just getting through the minor updates. Now here's the big coup de grace of what I wanted to talk about tonight. We're jumping straight into it. We're not going to do too much ahead of it. But we're going to be talking about NotSoErudite. NotSoErudite, of course, is Destiny's co-host of Bridges, an employee of Steven, someone who I've been told 16 times in the past 48 hours, is someone who's currently here on a work visa or trying to get citizenship and is working for Destiny. Okay, this is a person who is reliant on Destiny's employment to remain in the country. All right, that's important because apparently it's justification for any negative thing ever because she's got a lot riding on it. Okay, don't forget that because if you don't mention that 42 times, people get really upset with you, even if it is kind of your argument. I don't know, whatever. Now, my statement with the info so far, my opinion will be updated as information is made available. I have little info on new claims. My opinion will continue to update as the information does. Now, this was my first I'm not going to like this statement moment. My opinion will continue to update as new information does. I don't understand why now is now not as good a time as any. So keep in mind, Erudite finds out in November, charitably, I think she says December, finds out in December that this stuff is going on. Now, this isn't like, oh, I've got one screenshot from Chud Logic, or I've heard a rumor. This is someone who confronted Destiny personally, who's also stuck in a triangle as she's friends with Pixie, right? This is Pixie's close friend, and this is Destiny's employee, and apparently also friend. I don't know. I don't know the dynamic. But all these people know each other. She has access to every single party. She knows in December. Now, nothing was done about this. Erudite is still currently employed by Destiny, but now that it's public, we're going to hear a statement, and it's implying that things will update as information does, ignoring the fact that Destiny's already confessed. Destiny has already confessed of violating her friend's trust, okay, and sending a fucking sex tape of his 19-year-old, apparently poor blowjob to a random OnlyFans girl that he wanted to sleep with. Now, I'll reiterate what I said last stream. If you're just sending compromising videos of your friends to random people, you probably have done this before. Can't prove it, but people usually don't start by sending intimate videos of their friends to complete and total strangers. That's usually over time, this thing kind of goes a little crazy. So I'm expecting fully to see more stuff as we move forward, but this is Erudite's response. Here we go. I've only ever looked into the leaks and reached out to Pixie because I was concerned with her well-being. I spoke to Pixie in person. She made it clear for her desire to bridge the gap between her and Steven, her desire for as little attention on the leaks and everything identifying her as possible. One, both my involvement and my silence were at Pixie's request. My greatest concern for this whole thing has been her well-being. Here are the logs, first and second. Now, we've gone through some of these from President Sunday, who I will be the first to say, those screenshots, I don't know necessarily if they're, Imgur, okay. I don't know necessarily if that was the most charitable interpretation or charitable read of Erudite thus far, so I am going into this with a more open mind, but not really. Hey, hi, want to chat? Or do you have a friend? I'm worried about you. I don't really know what I'm going to say. I'm not planning to kill myself or anything at this moment, but I feel so tired over living, and I feel like I'm never going to live in a world where I find justice and peace, and it's like I'm trying to give myself a few days before I make any final decisions, but the writing is on the wall. That tells me everything. I'm really sorry. I won't begin to tell you I understand because I don't, but I do care. I want to see you safe and find peace and pursue justice. Can I be annoying and ask to spend some time with you? Which is good. That is exactly what she said it was. Redirect notice, Imgur, second screenshot. to start thinking more extreme and nuclear options to deal with, but I'm trying to avoid spiraling down that line of thought because I'm trying to hold out for hope and just not scare you. I'm 100% not going to do anything to myself, and no matter what he says during the holiday season, because I don't want to traumatize my friends during that time. I believe we read this. Supposedly to be happy, and even if he responds negatively, it doesn't mean I'm going to auto-kill myself. I'm trying to contemplate all different courses of action, including going public, and then, if I can't take the humiliation, then killing myself versus a plan of scheduling a note for after I die. I'm also looking into lawyers, but I want to see what he has to say before deciding to do a nuclear option. Can I share this with Steven? So yeah, we did read these messages on the previous one. These are the logs. Imgur. This should be multiple screen. No, it's a screen capture. Okay, so these are moving. We'll get back to that if we need it, but I don't think we necessarily need to relitigate most of that. I have never been interested in shutting down conversation about this topic, only mentioning to narrow the question of who could have been leaked, and again at Pixie's request. In the FQ messages, I explicitly tell her to leave her comment up, just to remove the part about mutual friends, to further increase the likelihood of people knowing it was Pixie, or going to the trouble to find a mutual friend in question. I just wanted to remove the comment. If I just wanted to remove the comment, I would have done so. I would not have reached out to FQ. Upon learning of the leaks and Pixie's potential involvement, I investigated privately, contacting Aaron. I then spoke to Pixie and Steven in person separately. I never defended, supported, or minimized Steven's sharing of Pixie's intimate images. Most of my conversations with Steven about this topic were in person and confrontational. I fought with him, advocated reconciling with Pixie. My mediation for Pixie ended when she opted to reach to Steven directly because I felt unable to navigate her monetary requests. Again, I have no problem with any of this so far. Up until this point, probably. I think that's fine. I think that some of the messages were a bit out of context, so I understand why she's kind of concerned at what people were drawing conclusions from there. Note there are a few DMs of our disagreements, but I found to substantiate the timing of me voicing disagreement and pushing him. I viewed him as genuinely remorseful and acting to fix the harms he had done, which is why I remained a business partner with him. I am very disappointed and angry with him that he opted to not reconnect with Pixie. I learned of the allegations Chaeiry made yesterday. I supported her in Pixie's decisions and the lawsuit charges. I've paused Bridges' releases. I've canceled guests, and I will evaluate business relations as I learn more. I asked Steven for information, but he's uncomfortable sharing due to legal involvement. Everything here is released with all parties' consent. My DMs with Pixie were not given to Sunday or others. Now, I'll click that in a second, but this is fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't give a fuck. I don't care how many people are going to come fucking crying in my messages being like, no, Pixie sounds so good here. This is spineless. This is pathetic. Okay? I view him as genuinely remorseful. Is this what remorseful looks like? Bro, if I go on the sex offender registry, I'm taking 20 other people with me. I'm sorry, not Pixie. I fucking said it wrong. Erudite. I'm sorry. This is my fucking Erudite. This is my problem with Erudite. Okay, that's not fucking remorseful. It's just not. It's flat out not remorseful. Destiny going and ranting in his fucking stream chat the entire day. Destiny shutting down his subreddit. And making it so you can only comment in one post. That's not what, none of this is showing remorse. This is ridiculous. That's hilarious. Destiny is the guy who streams through all of this stuff, and now he's going to go on a Fortress arc and take like the rest of the month off. I'm sorry. This is fucking absurd. So I responded to her and I said this. I think this clears some stuff up with motivations, but I can't for the life of me understand why you've continued to pursue a business relationship with someone who's admitted to distributing a trusted friend intimate recordings so you could try to sleep with a garden variety OnlyFans whore. I viewed him as genuinely remorseful and acting to fix the harms he had done is absurd to say when you're caught between your boss who violated your friend. You've been extremely spineless. And I agree with this take. I know JStalk fought me on it, but I'm sorry, like, when is the line here? Oh, I view him as remorseful. And what is the new information you need to learn? You kind of know everything already. He did it. What does he have to do for you to drop him? And I'll tell you this, I watched some of the interview and it feels like the goalpost was created once she learned about like what's the worst thing Destiny has done so far. And then we're gonna put the goalpost there. And if it gets a little bit worse, I'll leave. I'm sorry, it's fucking crazy. What was their stance on the guy seeing the nudes? Because if they said that was bad, it's 100% worse. I'm not really sure. And then I had I'm sorry, wait, where is it? I had this person reach out to me. I thought this was funny. They said, "Who do you work with?" Who do you work with? And I clicked on their profile and it was like, I said, me, myself, and I don't need to ride a sex-obsessed freak's coattails to make my money, but it appears you're just as spineless as the one who puts your allowance in your pocket. Apparently this is fucking Erudite's editor. I don't know. I found that kind of funny. But Erudite, again, someone who claims to be, you know, a real understanding person, who claims to be waiting for Steven, right? If you go to her profile, this is interesting. I found this interesting because it's not like she's doing a ton right now. She's retweeting some support, but she retweets a post blaming me. Oh, I'm so sorry, Erudite. What did I have to lose? Why did it take me so long to make a statement? I have no idea, Erudite. Why didn't you, the person who has access to every specific party, who's heard confessions from Destiny, why didn't you do something? Or why didn't you leave? Oh, but it's my fault. You're going after the YouTubers who didn't have any fucking evidence. That's absurd. I'm sorry. That's part of the reason I don't believe Erudite. That's personally part of my problem with Erudite. But it gets a lot worse when we start listening to her actually talk. Because for some reason, and I don't understand why she chose to do this, she gave a 1-hour speaking interview to Turkey Tom. And again, people are telling me she comes away looking like very human, very understanding in this conversation. I just don't buy it, personally.
Same day that the Destiny allegation stuff initially went public, I got reached out to by Erudite, NotSoErudite's, or Kyla. She's Destiny's co-host of the Bridges podcast. She has a business with him, and she also was seen in the DMs interacting with Pixie, the alleged victim of the allegations, and basically she wanted to talk to me about her position based on the fact that there had been a lot of DMs leaked where it looked like she was kind of trying to, at least from my perspective, initially cover for Destiny and maybe help him out and quell the situation from going public. So
very human. Yeah, I mean, it feels very human so far, guys.
She wanted to talk to me about that.
I'm going to unpause.
And this video
sound.
is that interview where we talk about it. We go into the DMs. We talk about her perspective and her intentions, and I questioned her a little bit on a variety of things regarding the situation. So I think the interview will mostly speak for itself as far as whatever people want to come to conclusions on.
All right, let's zoom ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom, for the introduction. Here they are.
It's been a day. Been a long day.
By the way, I love the backdrop that he chose for this important interview. Personally, I think this is a great backdrop. Do you guys think this is a good backdrop for his
What is
stream?
Bunty King to you?
Let me move chat so you guys
Who
aren't
is
over
Bunty
his
King?
face.
Nicholas DeOrio?
I think this is the perfect backdrop for his stream clip.
Yeah, just to let you know, I'm recording already, in case there was any questions. Just...
And again, she consented to this recording. I was told this was happening, and I couldn't believe it. I heard about this, I think, the night before, or whatever, or the night that it was set up, the night before it was released.
So it's totally clear. So yeah, what did you want to talk about the Steve stuff that's going on?
Yeah, I figured I wanted to reach out to you, as I said, just because I think you're probably going to be the most fair, but it also seems like, so I'm only really going to speak probably to my side, and then if you have questions, I'll answer what I can.
Did I not ask you nice enough?
I don't respect.
You know what's funny is Erudite had a full month, right?
What am I gonna do?
Erudite had a full month to prepare this statement. Actually, almost 2 months now to figure out, like, the day this breaks, what am I going to say to Tom?
And I guess like the main thing for me is it's when people are looking at the texts that I'm sending back and forth with Pixie, they're getting like a very clip-chimped version of the exchange. Just
is
so
Bunty
you
King to you?
are
A
aware,
person?
I've talked to
Who is
Pixie
Bunty
about
King?
an hour and let her
Nicholas
know that I
DeOrio?
was talking to you just to get consent. So I asked her basically if I could give you DMs to basically be like, the way I'm getting painted here is like really, really far from the truth, and I don't really know why.
Did I not ask you nice enough?
I don't respect you. So,
By the way,
Oh, no.
it is funny that, like, one of the things that I said to President Sunday absolutely did happen. So one of my, things that I didn't want to do with the story and move forward without more information is that we don't know what's going to happen when this stuff actually breaks. So at any moment, it looks like Erudite really hates Pixie right now, because that's apparently what the Straighterade person has been telling everybody, who seems to be like a huge piece of shit. I don't know. They reached out to me on Discord. I'm not going to talk to them. But like, it's one of those where you dive in on Erudite and then Pixie comes out and issues a statement of immediate support. So I mean, it's extremely easy to walk into shit that way when you don't really have a good grasp on what you're talking about, just to see how these people react when this stuff actually comes out the right way.
You look like Ghislaine Maxwell.
I know.
Yeah.
And so I guess I'll maybe start with like the first. So I called Pixie and she immediately was like, I'm so sorry. And just so it's clear, you can text her as well if you want, like on Discord, and confirm like everything you want.
Here's the problem. Okay, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'm gonna tell you the problem right off the bat. Okay, if this person really cares about Pixie, if NotSoErudite actually gives a fuck about Pixie, the first thing that she would do is get out of the situation, because there's literally no way that she could be down the middle on this. She's completely fucking compromised. She has absolutely no purpose mediating a conversation like this. It's absurd to think that like she actually just attempted
What is
it.
Bunty King to you?
A person?
Who is Bunty
How
King?
the fuck
Nicholas
is
DeOrio?
somebody who's caught in between their friend and their employer supposed to be a fucking good mediator for a fucking HR situation? It's fucking crazy. This is absolutely absurd to start out. Like she should be like 1,000 miles away from whatever is occurring here, and just being like a friend on the side, and shouldn't be going back and forth between the two of them.
With her, like I'm not like.
And the fact of the matter is, it makes all these people look extremely unserious, like straight off of the bat. It looks like we're watching toddlers in high school fight each other, but these are actually grown adults in their, I think, 30s. Most of these people, except for obviously Pixie.
She's totally fine with it. She mostly just feels really bad about this. So this was the text that she sent me today, just so you have an idea of like where I'm coming from, and that she is like agreeing. She knows that I'm sending you these texts. The only thing is that if there's receipts that you want to ask for, I'm happy to give them. I just want to make sure that I send them to her as well, because I feel like it's like the one thing that hasn't happened in this whole situation is like her consent being included. So
Yeah, it's her story, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want you to be clear that like I'm being very intentional about that, and if there's things that I don't answer, I apologize. There's just like,
So I can show this text you're sending.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me see here.
Now, is this the text message where they completely burn President Sunday? Because I actually liked that text
It
message.
says, let's see here. Hey, I'm still worried for you. Are you okay no matter what? Please never hesitate to reach
I don't
out.
respect you.
She says, hi, Kyla. I'm sorry for not getting back to you earlier. I've just been really overwhelmed with the situation. I didn't consent to President Sunday receiving those messages at all. I feel like they painted both of us in a really bad and untrue light. I really appreciate that you care so much about me and have been checking on me so often.
Again, if you're wondering, President Sunday ripped her story out and then called her a suicide baiter and an extortionist, and then released it because he hates Destiny. Just to be clear, that is what happened. That's how we got here.
Asking if I'm okay. I don't think you'd go that far if you didn't care. I feel really guilty and bad because I didn't expect things to get leaked like this at all. Okay. So, I guess you're just showing here that you guys are on good terms, basically. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I guess the biggest question for me would be from the DMs, and I did prepare. I pulled up a bunch of them, so we can kind of, if you don't mind, we can go through them.
Yeah.
I gotta change that donation sound.
That'll be perfect. I can kind of,
or I gotta keep it. I don't know which one's more based.
show you the context around the DMs that you have as well.
Okay, perfect. So the biggest thing.
By the way, she's already at 1 HP.
Context around the DMs that you have as well.
Okay, perfect. So the
Is that like a whimper? That's a good start.
biggest thing for me is that it looks like you're essentially playing mediator for Destiny so that he doesn't have to directly talk to the alleged victim. It looks like that's what's happening here. You're playing mediator. You're trying to diminish consequences for him, and diminish sort of culpability for him by not having him have to admit anything outright in a DM in regards to what happened in the situation. The situation being that it seems to be the case, at least, that he essentially got an explicit video of them together and then sent that to someone without her consent. To your knowledge, is that true? Did he do that?
So I also, just to be clear, I already told Destiny that this is what I was going to say to you as well. So everyone's just like fully
Oh, good. She's prepped.
consented, and I can again
She's been trained.
and show you all the DMs of me letting him know that this was what I was going to be saying. When I confronted him in Miami in like early December, when I went down in person, because I wanted to talk to him in person, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I asked him, did she know you were recording? And did she consent to it? He said that she did know about the recording, like she's aware, she did consented to the actual filming of it, but
Yeah,
that
right.
he said specifically probably not. Like it was 3 years ago. I don't remember specifically, and like things were open like this, but yeah,
Probably not. I don't remember specifically. Is Destiny's on the record answer, I guess.
probably not. I didn't get like
The answer, by the way, is yes, he distributed it without her consent. 100%. Because if it was no, he would say that.
explicit consent. And I said, Steven, that's really fucked up. Like that's not a
Steven, that's messed up, man. You need to stop putting your friends in compromising positions for people that you've talked to on the phone just a few times, okay? I understand this was like a big deal for you to get women who you spoke to on the phone just a few times naked, all right? This is a very rare occurrence, right? But you should stop compromising your friends, Steven. This is really messed up.
okay. And so just to be clear, he would say, I didn't completely say, but I read that very strongly as him acknowledging that he did not have consent to give it.
Right. Okay. I guess the biggest question from there would be, once you had that conversation.
What it means is he hasn't found a DM that he could use to twist that he had consent. Because I guarantee that's what he's doing during his break, is going through every single message he could possibly find from any of these people to find something that could be construed as consent for this action, before or after.
With him, and that was, you said December of last
Early
year?
December. Yeah.
2024?
Yep.
Okay, so you guys had that conversation. How did things develop from there?
Yeah. So I was notified. So when the leaks happened, I was having like a community event. So I wasn't actually aware of the leaks until I think just like honestly, like a random person messaged me being like, have you seen this? And I was like, no. I still actually haven't looked at the leaks. I have like personally just a policy about never looking at like leaked nudes and stuff. But that's back. So this is back before I talked to Destiny or Pixie. That's when I reached out
Do you think he'll be doing a manifesto? I imagine he's not going to go down without swinging, for sure.
to Straight Raid because I was
Yeah, you can tell like she's crossing her arms right now at Destiny. This is some big pushback right now. I understand why they're saying this is such a good response.
hearing that it might be Pixie, and
I think maybe she's even pointing aggressively at Destiny while they're talking.
figured if it was her, I was also hearing that she's saying it wasn't her, and so I was like, if it was or wasn't her, I don't really want to put her on the hot seat with like me talking to her and making her feel confronted. So I'm just gonna like check and see, because to me, if he didn't even have consent to record the video, then this is a whole different ballgame. Like,
Oh, guy. All right, so you see the goal is being set up right now. Like they're on the line, they're putting the pegs in and they're putting it down like right there, right? The line is everything that Destiny has confessed to, that's like bad, but it's not the point of no return, okay? And then like any new thing that is slightly worse than all the stuff he's already confessed to, that's the new, like once we're there, we're done, you know? If he just goes just a little bit further than this arbitrary line in the sand that I've just drawn, which by the way should be career ending. If this guy is distributing his friends' fucking sex tapes to random people, this should absolutely be fucking career ending. Anybody who says different is delusional.
You could have milked that so much harder. Big content.
You want to talk about
strategy
fucking
problems here,
sweeping?
Nick.
That's
I'll help you
fucking
maximize your
sweeping.
money,
I'm
alright?
sorry.
Devil's
it's a whole
advocate. If every in someone's life straight up cuts all connection after dog sheet actions are called out, why would they ever bother changing?
I
for the
agree.
better?
Grizzly,
Why
I
wouldn't
agree.
They just find people that agree with how terrible they were.
You're right. You're right. You're 100% right. But there is also a time and place for reconciliation, and it's not the next day. Okay? I don't think that every person in Destiny's life needs to drop him forever. But they probably should have done something. I don't know. When me and Tom heard that there were rumors, we're like, I'm never going on that guy's stream again. Okay? That's like a normal person's response. But I mean, let's just pretend for a second that that's if and only if Destiny is showing any effort at all whatsoever to be different than he was before. What's he done so far? Well, he's blocked his accusers. That is Chaeiry. Chaeiry's IP banned from Destiny's chat. What else has he done? He's
say something to you, Nick?
He's
like
banned his victims. Okay, so Pixie's IP banned from Destiny's chat. He's blocked and IP banned his friends. So JStalk is also off, but bye JStalk, you're out of here too.
Wally?
You're done as well. Okay, he's locked down the subreddit, so you can't even talk about it. He's threatening people right now. He's threatening 20 Twitch streamers that he's gonna go, if he goes on the sex offender registry,
something to you, Nick?
they're going
I really
down.
like you. Why?
Okay, does that sound like somebody who's sorry? Does that sound like somebody who has any empathy in the situation at all? I'm listening to to people be like, listen, Nick, it's about rehabilitation. It's about
something, Nick?
rehabilitation.
I really
Destiny's out of his fucking mind right now. There's no indication that this guy gives even a slight fuck about any of the stuff he's actually done.
Is this
Confronted.
really Lolly?
So yeah, again, rehabilitation is not like, I'm not against rehabilitation, but you gotta kind of take your lumps before we start talking about it, right? Something has to happen before that. You can't just start rehabilitation the day you get caught after not doing anything for 2 months.
I'm just gonna like check and see, because to me, if he didn't even have consent to record the video, then this is a whole different ballgame. Like it's a whole different.
Why? Why is it a whole different ballgame? Now, keep in mind, obviously, Chaeiry has already alleged this. This is already being litigated right now. She's sought a police intervention on this issue, apparently.
I always do the possible.
Right? Supposedly, this Chaeiry thing is already in the works. But why? Why is it a whole different ballgame? How many times is this guy going to have to do this shit? How many girls need to get hurt before NotSoErudite deems there's been enough hurt girls? Or guys, apparently. Depending on the cock getting leaked, you know?
Plan of action of like how I am going to process what's going on.
But to your knowledge,
and
he did have
so-
consent to record, just not to share it.
Yeah, or at least consent to have it. I don't know if he recorded it or she recorded it and sent it to him. I'm not actually familiar with like how the video was made. But yeah, it sounds like he had consent to have the nude in the sex tape, but not to send it out. That's what Aaron said to me.
And by the way, where it sounds like he had the consent, so Erudite's not even fucking sure about Pixie. She's not even 100% sure. That's another part of this that's actually really funny.
And I was like, okay, well, thank fuck he didn't record somebody without
Aaron
them even
is
knowing.
Chaeiry?
Yes, Aaron is Chaeiry, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So you
after
found
that
that out. Sorry.
I texted Pixie. Yeah, so after that I texted Pixie. So for context, Pixie and I have been friends for like well over a year. Like we're not just two orbiters, but we worked in PV together. When I'm in Miami, I hang out with her all the
Progressive
time.
victory is a whole nother
like,
thing.
We have our
So
own
much harder.
friendship.
Big
We've been good friends for at least a year. So as soon as Aaron confirmed to me what was going on, I was like, okay, now I feel comfortable like checking in with her and seeing how she's doing. Texted her and she basically like immediately told me like everything that was going on. And I was like, okay, holy shit. I believe let me just check because I don't want to give you wrong information. I believe we've called a bunch because I checked in on her a bunch as well.
No
It was
rush.
all over text. Yeah, it was not on Discord. It was all over text. Okay. So December 12th, I texted her and I was like, hey. She was like, hi. And I said, do you want to chat or just have a friend? I'm really worried about you.
Yeah,
She
this is once
responds.
you found out about the stuff that was going on with the
Once I
videos
found
of her
out.
being public.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
People are complaining about Tom not pushing here. I'd much rather Tom let me have an hour worth of stuff to dissect on stream than run her off in 10 minutes. Again, I understand that people are mad at Tom right now. I don't understand all of it, but I definitely understand some of it. My problem with Tom is absolutely not him giving me more content to react to where we can dissect her speech.
So I reach out. I don't know. You don't probably need me to read everything, but basically she tells me that she's feeling a little bit suicidal, but she's not planning to kill herself immediately.
Again, this is the same criticism I got with Mundane Max. Mundane Max. Oh my god, what the fuck am I... Mundane Max is like the worst hybrid I've ever mentally just created. Mama Max, where it took us 2.5 hours to get the crescendo, or whatever. Obviously that wasn't intentionally released as a full thing. That's the worst thing I ever just said.
And she's like trying to figure out like what to do about
Mundane Max. It's awful.
this situation. I respond, that tells me everything. I'm really sorry. I won't begin to tell you. I understand because I don't, but I do care. And I do want to see you safe and find peace. Do you mind if I ask to spend some time with you?
I mean, like, yeah, Tom could obviously fucking put his knee on her neck or something and hold her down here and force her to answer all the difficult questions in the first 3 minutes, but that's not really an interview.
She said yes. We make a plan to meet up. And then we meet up December 13th. We're talking about the time. I send her a restaurant. We go against that one. Malua. Okay, Friday, December 13th. There we go.
So
Friday,
you guys
December
met
13th.
up in real life and had a conversation about how to proceed?
Yeah, and how she's doing. Because at this point...
Had you talked
so-
to Destiny?
But again, like, she's just like, these are the allegations that she's friends with Pixie. I don't really care. I think you should have, like, absolved yourself from the situation and let somebody else mediate. It makes no sense why somebody who's friends with Destiny, who works with Destiny, who's financially tied to Destiny, who literally loses her position in the country, supposedly. Like, if Destiny goes to jail, then she's getting deported. Okay? Like, I mean, yeah, apparently she's like on a work visa with Destiny. Anywho, I really like this Pixie girl, so I'm going to mediate on her behalf. Like, what a fucking retarded move to make. Like, of course people are going to be critical of this.
Steven,
No,
about this
I
stuff?
wanted-
Yeah, like, Destiny has been fucking... Destiny arrested, Erudite deported.
I
You
had
gotta go back where you came from, Erudite.
heard about it at this
Send her home!
point, and he had basically, like, the only thing he had said is,
Executive order deporting Erudite back to fucking Canada.
like, hey,
Report to ICE. Shut up. Apparently ICE can break into schools now.
I'm worried about Pixie. Like, I think she's suicidal. Like, you should, like, if you want, you should probably check on her. And I'm like,
He
okay,
told
thank
you that he was worried about her being suicidal.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes,
you
but again-
then go check up on her. You meet up in real life, and what?
Yes, but I
what-
texted her beforehand, just to be clear. I'd already texted her about wanting to meet up and talk anyways, and
Yeah.
he just gave me the extra information. She's suicidal.
Okay. How did that
yeah,
conversation with her go?
It went honestly really, really well. I will say, so like part of when I went into it was I was trying to evaluate like how suicidal, how serious the risk was, and like where
Hey, I'm just wanted to know, how suicidal are you? Are you like imminent danger? Should I call somebody now? How suicidal are you, ma'am?
she was at, just because I don't know.
Are
if
you
you're
a flight risk?
familiar with my background, but I've obviously had a lot of experience with suicidal people, and so like the first goal for me was to be like, are you like an acute risk to yourself? Like, what needs to happen? If not, what can we do instead to kind of help you get out of like this place? In that conversation,
It doesn't help, and I don't mean this I'm not beating the misogyny allegations tonight, but it doesn't help that she kind of talks like a secretary. She reminds me of Donna from Suits for some reason. She's just got like this secretary energy that's like emanating off of her. I feel like a huge asshole saying that, but it really is like, there's like you just hear it, don't you?
basically,
It's the therapist voice. It just feels really like she's on the balls of her ass here. She's obviously super nervous, but somehow it still comes off condescending.
she kind of told me about how she's been suicidal like most of her life, how she's been struggling a lot. But the concerning part to me in that conversation, I guess, like what more specifically was pertinent, was she was actively cutting off friends so that to prepare for suicide. So she was cutting off friends so that if she did and opted to kill herself, it would hurt them less. So at this point, she had broken up with a couple of friends and stopped responding, and a couple of friends were trying to hang out with her and she wasn't responding to them. I don't think she probably wants any of the names of the friends leaked, at least.
And by the way, I'm not talking about it and I'm not really engaging with it because the reality is the situation sounds fucking horrible. I think that anybody who's jumping to suicide baiting because they see money getting involved is completely discounting that these naked pictures of this fucking 19-year-old girl were floating around the internet. Well, naked videos, right? If she's worried that her parents are going to see it, if she's worried that she can't have a career after this, if she doesn't know what's coming forward, I think it's entirely reasonable that this is her mindset. And I don't think that we have nearly enough information to just consider her a fucking suicide baiter because it's better for whatever video you want to put out to kind of paint her like that so they're less sympathetic.
She said, like, please don't give any of the names out. So you can check with her separately if she wants to give you names. But yeah,
There's like literally no evidence that I've seen that she's baiting. And all of the signs point to like, it's entirely reasonable why she's fucking contemplating. Obviously not reasonable why we should go through with it, but like a person in her position, I wouldn't be shocked if they're feeling that way.
just different friends in Miami.
She's
Yeah.
24. Yeah, 24 now. 19-year-old girl whose video was leaked.
It's fine. I believe that she was suicidal over having her news leaked. And
Yeah.
before that point in time, that's fair. Okay, so
Yeah. So,
So-
importantly,
so-
though, she had a stockpile of pills. So I asked her straight out. I was like, okay, so I need to know, like, do you have means? Like, how would you, like, if you're planning to do it, do you have a plan? She's like, yes, probably pills. And I was like, do you have the pills right now? And she was like, yes, I do. And I was like, okay, that's pretty serious. So we continued talking, and basically I shifted into, like, I'm not gonna lie, like a bit of side intervention conversation where basically you talk with your friend, you figure out how things are going on, you understand them, and you try to find things that they feel.
And you know what's fucking shocking for me while I'm listening to this? So Erudite is literally finding the suicide method, okay? Literally like trying to coax her out of like keeping the pills that she's planning on using to end her life. Sorry if I'm being blunt about it, but that's what's happening. But in her last paragraph, she's like, listen, all right, nudes are pretty bad, but like if he's recording without consent, then it's over. Like, Erudite went to this person's house, talked them off the ledge, okay? And then they're coming away from this thinking, like, if he does this again, it's going to be really awful. I'm sorry. I think this person's a spineless freak. I think it's entirely justifiable to hate this, to absolutely despise this woman based off of this interview.
To life, right? And so one thing that she really cared about is she does care about her friends. She doesn't want to hurt them. Another thing she cares about is she does want to see like some level of like justice for the situation. She thinks what he did was wrong. And to be clear, I agree with her. I've told Steven that. I've told her that. Like I've never minced words about being like, yeah, he did something really wrong here.
You, to be clear, going into that conversation, you didn't know that the video was shared unconsensually?
No, because Aaron had already told me like a week before. So I was already aware. Yeah. I wanted to talk to Pixie and then I wanted to talk to Steven to see how he would respond afterwards.
Okay, so during...
But now, again, we kind of talked about this already, and I didn't really hit on it too hard because we're coming back to it right now. This is the part where I shut the video off and I said this needs to be a stream subject because it was genuinely infuriating to listen to.
Conversation with Pixie, did she... Because you talked about her suicidality. Did you guys talk about other stuff in terms of, like, how she was feeling about it or her recourse? I mean, you said she wanted to seek justice. Was she thinking about a lawsuit at that point in time?
So we talked about a bunch of her options. She was like... She had looked into a lawsuit at that point. I don't know how much I can say about her lawsuit, but basically it wasn't something she wanted to consider for a couple of legal reasons that I probably would let her describe. But one reason I think can be fully public would be that she didn't want her name out there. I think she said that in DMs to Steven as well.
Okay.
That got leaked today. So she was very worried about if she does a civil suit, her name will have to be publicly attached to the civil suit. And so she was like, I really don't want to consider a lawsuit. And I said, like, I guess I'll show you text as well.
Well, you can just call President Sunday. He'll just decide that you can sue now.
Right. Reiterate this, but the entire time with Pixie, my entire approach has been, you get to steer the boat. Like, you get to decide how you want to respond, and you can decide that you don't want a lawsuit today, and you can change your mind a week from now, and all of that's okay.
Oh, and I keep seeing people talk about this. It's like, Nick, the real villain here is the hacker. And unfortunately, Dan, like, put this into the world. And I think Dan, for a lot of the things I'm going to say here, is equally as guilty as Erudite. Erudite has definitely been more vocal about it and said more stupid things. But I mean, I think the criticism is there for Dan as well, right? But I love the whole, like, yeah, obviously the hacker is bad. Nobody supports the hacker. If the hacker is the girl, it doesn't matter, whatever. Obviously this person is bad, but it's a mystery box. You ever watch the Family Guy skit where they're like, okay, Peter, would you like the mystery box or would you like the boat? And he's like, wow, Lois, there's a mystery box right here. Oh, well, Peter, we should probably just take the boat. But what could be in the mystery box? It could even be a boat. I'm going to just... I think we should take the boat here. Because the mystery box wouldn't have been able to leak these nudes if the boat didn't deliver it to them. Okay? I don't know who the hacker is. They're a nameless, faceless entity. I'll probably never know who the hacker is. But that hacker could not have leaked this 19-year-old girl's nudes and this 19-year-old girl's sex tape. This friend of Destiny's compromising sex tape. If Destiny didn't send it to some whore that he wanted to have sex with, that he talked on the phone to a few times.
Okay, like...
We'll take the box.
All of that's okay.
Yeah, Dan's like, we'll take the box. Sorry.
We talked about how she could maybe talk to him like privately, but she was really nervous to. So this is where she basically was like, I can't remember.
Yeah, the hacker also wasn't her friend. Yeah, exactly.
She brought it up first, or I, but basically her being like maybe you can see what he'd be willing to do like for me. She was like, I feel like you really, really understand emotionally where I'm coming from. I did a lot of like paraphrasing of like, it seems like...
Can I ask you for an example of how Dan is just as guilty other than pushing blame on the hacker? No, Dan's not guilty because he pushed blame on the hacker. I think that Dan said that, and obviously, like, that's a position that everyone agrees on because Dan is bad on live streams. The part where Dan is also guilty is that he knew about this and didn't cut off Destiny. That's where he's guilty. I think that you have to cut off Destiny in this situation. And I think that if you're sitting here waiting for more bad information to come out, you've kind of already lost the plot, because all that tells me is you were just hoping this never came out, and now you're pivoting. Because for anybody else, for any other morally upstanding citizen or whatever, I'm not trying to moral F over here. I just genuinely don't know how you operate moving forward, knowing this person has probably distributed multiple people's naked pictures and sex tapes. Why does it matter if they were recorded with or without their consent? The original allegation is horrendous. It should be career ruining. But again, we'll get there in a second. I need to have my blow up moment when she says the thing.
Like, your biggest concern right now is like justice, because you feel like you've been wronged and there's no direction for you to correct the situation, and you've been betrayed by your friend in like a pretty major way, and there's nothing for you to do that doesn't kind of publicly implicate you, and so you want to work with him privately to find a better resolution that you feel at peace with. She's like, yes, that's exactly what I want. I want to know that he's not going to do this again, right? That was her orientation in the conversation. So we talked about a couple of strategies.
But guys, he's been on Vyvanse now for an entire year. He doesn't even feel urges to compromise his friends anymore. This guy, he's a fucking freak, dude. Disgusting animal.
How she could do that? I was like, you could message him. You could go through like other people to message him. You could go through a civil lawsuit. You can take 5 days and just like think about it. Like you don't have to decide right now, but just like let me know what you'd like. And that's when she was like, yeah, I think I'd really appreciate if you just like told him where I'm at, communicate like emotionally. Cause she's like, I feel like when
I don't know why you'd be a degenerate with that much dude, I'm sorry. YouTube is one of two things. You either have a short-term rap career or you become a sex offender. Okay, that's literally the only two trajectories you can have as a YouTuber.
Communicate with him like he's not understanding it. I don't feel really understood. And I feel like you do understand me. And I said, okay, yeah, I'm happy to.
I had the rap career, by the way, if you're wondering.
Communicate how you're feeling to him.
Okay, so then from there, you go and talk to him, at which point you already know from based on what Chaeiry said that it seemed like it was shared unconsensually. What did he say?
I think she confirmed that. So Pixie also confirmed that when we met.
Okay, all right.
And that's when he said to me, so when I confronted him, I said, did she agree to it? And he said, probably not. It was like 3 years ago, so I don't remember exactly, and I didn't think it would be a big deal, but yeah, probably not. So I took that as him saying no. To be clear, he never said to me, I guess, explicitly no, which is probably something that he might take contention with. I'm not sure.
Okay, all right. So you guys have that conversation. So at that
Have you
point,
ever watched the NSE versus Chud debate about Ayurveda?
No, I
Highly recommend
haven't.
As a hate
Oh
watch.
my god.
She is so smug and condescending the entire time.
Do you guys remember the Ayurvedic dosha? Oh, you guys know what's going on with COVID, man. Yeah, you got dude, it's your Ayurveda's out of whack. If you just take these you take these little supplements, then who knows? It could be even good for COVID-19. Yeah, I'm Dr. K. It's my medical stuff, eh?
you know, Pixie wants some kind of justice, doesn't want her name out there. You know, obviously what Steve's position is.
It's their Vata levels, yeah.
Where does it go from there? From here, you kind of start mediating conversations between them and what he wants versus what she wants.
Well, at first I basically go like a big part
What
of
is
it was
Bunty King to you?
okay. He said to
who is
me,
Bunty
like
King?
in my
Nicholas
recollection and
DeOrio?
my perception of the conversation, it felt like he was saying like more or less like, I mean, yeah. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, this is a big fuck up. Like,
Okay, that's number one. This is problem number one. This is not a fuck up.
Nice enough.
What did he slip, fall, and his dick slept? It landed on the fucking send button? What do you mean it's a fuck up? How do you call this a fuck up? You want to litigate the word leaked with me? I'll litigate the word fuck up. Oh, he did a little oopsie chat. Little oopsie in chat right now. Big one in the chat for Destiny's oopsie.
Did he
This isn't
recognize how
okay.
bad it was?
It was premeditated. It's absolutely premeditated.
yes. He's like, I know. And I was like, it's really bad. And he's like, I know. And he was like, he's like, okay, I don't know. I think publicly he hasn't said what he's doing like legally behind the scenes. So I like literally can't tell you that, but he told me a number of things just because like, I don't want to get caught up in a lot of the lawsuits in part. And secondly, I think if some of the things get public, it could like implicate part of what's trying to be done.
Someone just said in chat, it's like the guy on the pedophile sting where he was. So you say you were looking for this by accident, but I found that you're following an account called CP Trader. Oh yeah, you know, I was just I was following that so I could report it later. Well, why are you following the account CP Trader? Oh, it was an accident. Yeah, it was like
From both
Alex Rosen. Yeah, that was one of his stings.
sides, I think, as far as like investigation and stuff. So he basically like told me what he was doing behind the scenes as far as like what to do. And then he also, I was like sitting there being like, okay, but like what
Yeah,
did
like he acts. Oh no! You ever see the video where it's like, what is this? What did you send to the house? Oh, Mom, I thought it was an Xbox controller. Is this a bong? No, it looks like a vase or something. It's a bong. That's Destiny trying to find like a picture of his dinner. Like he's trying to snap a picture of his dinner at a restaurant, and he accidentally sent like Pixie dick suck video.mp4. Oh no, I meant to send my dinner. I accidentally sent compromising sex tape footage of my close friend Pixie. My apologies.
like when she first approached you, I was like pushing him and he was like, fuck, like, I don't know. He's like, if you want, you can just read our entire DMs. Like I can show you our entire DMs of like what I said to her so that you know like how I responded. And I was like, to be honest, I
over multiple years.
appreciate that. So
Are these the same DMs that already got leaked, or is this a different conversation?
fuck, I would need to look. I think almost all of the exact ones that got leaked, except rather than it being like clipped up into little images, it would be like the entire thing and like their whole conversation, which has lots of extras in it, but more or less I think what's been leaked.
Okay. And what was your impression of that conversation once you read that?
Could you imagine what her husband is thinking? Dude, the husband was like fucking dragged out of his house, moved to a different country, and then her boss is gonna be and people on Twitter are saying the boss is gonna be a sex offender. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's an extremely funny concept. I feel really bad for the husband. Actually, I would feel really bad for the husband if they didn't just post that really weird, like, are you a cuck video on YouTube?
Basically, I read that as, okay, so he knows that he's done.
To be clear, the husband's probably also had sex with Destiny. That's just kind of how that thing goes, you know?
Wrong. And when she brings it to him, the first thing that he does is basically say, I'm really sorry. Like, there's no excuse, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm glad that at least like when she's talking to him, he's like fully acknowledging like he fucked up here. Him and I read through some of the plan. I think some of the plan is probably clear, like what he's doing like behind the scenes and legally.
It was part of the contract. What video? There was a really weird video where Erudite was like interviewing her husband. Queeman covered it, I think. I don't know. It's not relevant to this stream. It was just a little funny side thing. Who's Dan? Dan Saltman. Not Dan from H3H3. Dan is the one who's been going after Dan Clancy. There's Dan from H3, Dan from Twitch, and Dan from Destiny.
Talked to me about the money offer, and I was like, why did you offer her money? And he was like, well, he's like, I know it looks scummy, but I also know she's like applying for LSAT, so I just figured like, it's not much, but it's something I can do to help, because like she's fucked, like she got fucked over. She did nothing wrong.
You just know when she said, why are you asking for money? It was like, dude, Steven, the optics of asking for money.
Doesn't that
sorry, that's uncharitable.
kind of read as like him offering her money for some benefit in exchange
No, Steven, that's bad. Think of the optics.
for her silence?
To be honest, I really didn't read it that way. Particularly because it's like caveated with like, I know that this looks scummy, especially now that I have full context, I realize the idea actually came from Aaron, and then he suggested to her like, I believe within an hour, if I'm looking at the times correctly, like he immediately suggested it to her. So it's coming from somebody now I realize even that was in his mind talking to her and communicating like what she wanted. And my understanding as well is that was something that is probably the right thing to do.
And by the way, simultaneously, while all this is occurring, obviously there's stuff with the guy, stuff with Melina, stuff with Pixie. There's also the fact that like he was leaking all this Lauren Southern stuff about like, what was it, like the end of Lauren's relationship? Like extremely embarrassing things about Lauren Southern, just sending them to random fucking people so we could all read them on stream somewhere. Like, I mean, this is just absurd. This guy must tell everybody everything. There's just no other way I could like, why is this happening?
Like, he should probably, if she's like doesn't want to go public or anything, and because of that she can't like sue him, if he's remorseful and like wants to take accountability for his actions, he should like probably pay for therapy and like probably her living for a while to like help her out, basically. Like that seemed like alongside the other stuff that he was doing, to be honest, like the right response, if I'm being honest.
I mean, I guess the concern for me is like, you know, Pixie, I mean, in her own statement, she said that there's, you know, I think she said 3 people total, her and 2 other people that he's seemingly done this to. And I mean, you know, obviously it's her decision whether or not it goes public, but, you know, the problem with it maybe not going public, it has enough money in the future.
If you want to sue him, I like support you in doing that. I've never said anything different with her. I think that's like fully within her right. I just know for her, I guess to be specific, she explicitly told me that if this stuff became more public, that was the thing that made her want to kill herself. She was terrified of like family finding out. She was terrified of like friends and stuff finding out and like seeing this content. And she was like, that was the thing like driving her suicidality, was the publicity of it, which is why she didn't want to go to like civil court. Right. So then I'm like, if the publicity part is attached to the suit, which she said she talked to lawyers, I just believed her. It sounds like that's also correct.
And this is a hot take. I'm going to defend both Erudite and Dan here. There are a lot of people saying that they were getting mad at her for saying that like, well, then you should just shut up. They didn't say it that mean, but they kind of said that. I get it. I understand why you're saying this stuff. Just for context, Pixie went into spicy chat in Chud Logic's Discord server and said she was suicidal because they were talking about the leaks. So you really can't have it both ways. Do you want to litigate? Do you want to go to civil court with Steven and like hold him accountable? And if you don't, which is perfectly fine too, it's your choice, and you want to stay quiet, the worst thing you could possibly do is start engaging with random internet trolls about how this bothers you. So as much as everyone hates Dan and her for giving advice similar to this, it's like, there's not really much else you can tell a person like that. The real answer is neither of them should be talking to her about any of this stuff and reporting back to Destiny. Because both of them are in extremely compromised positions, and neither of them really can like separate themselves from the position that they're currently in to actually do anything about it.
Then it's like, what's the next best thing for her? Because I think that she deserves something. But
so what was your kind of goal throughout all of this? Because obviously it puts you in a very awkward position where on one hand you're trying to help out your friend, but at the same time, I mean, you're I don't know if you're employed by Destiny, but you work with him. Obviously,
we co-own a business together.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
So
I'm
like,
sorry. We co-own a business together. My apologies. It's worse than I thought.
what kind of position are you in at that point? Like, how are you feeling? Are you
I'm sorry.
thinking
Never
like,
mind.
can I
Never
continue
mind,
working
never
with this guy
mind.
if he's doing this kind of stuff? Or are you thinking of cutting him off? Like, what kind of position is that putting you in?
I mean, before I sent the message to Aaron, I was talking to my
What
husband,
is
like to
Bunty King to
Nick,
you?
and I was like,
person?
Who is
if
Bunty
he
King?
recorded
Nicholas
somebody
DeOrio?
without their knowledge and sent it out, like I don't think I can, like I don't know what to do. I don't think I can work with.
This is the best part. Now it's not even like that's the line. Now it's I don't think I could. No, I'm watching it get walked back in real time. If my husband did this, I don't think I could stick around at that point. Dude, she created the goalpost and it's already moving because they're like, well, I mean, what if Destiny did do that? Yeah.
That's a line.
Nick is
I
the
can't.
husband, not me. I'm not the husband. Stop shipping me with people.
I don't fuck with that shit. Like that's insane. And it sounds like I know recently, like Chaeiry has made some statements. Just to be clear, I don't know anything about those leaks, and so like I don't know. I need to figure out what's going on with those additional leaks. Because like a pretty hard line for me is like if somebody does according to somebody else, that's a pretty hard line for me.
Right. Well, even as
Oh, guys, by the way, also, she hates crimes. She does not like when people do crimes to each other, you know? That's something that she's not a huge fan of.
out of the recording, I mean, the
That's a
question
hard line right there. No crimes.
of what whether or not the recording was consented to, the spreading around certainly wasn't from your perspective. Is that
For
enough
sure,
to draw a line? Or
100%.
no?
Not ask you nicely.
So
I
that
don't
it's
respect
not for me. The issue is that what was a line for me before, I was like, okay, if she did consent to the recording but not to the spreading around, which I'm assuming that she hadn't, then I said what matters to me is like how he responds. Is he trying to fix it? Is he being remorseful? Is he like reaching out to her to like find some level of solution? If that's like his initial response, that to me is a lot more meaningful. Because it's
Well,
like,
I guess
okay, well,
I
you
guess my
fucked
question
up.
would be like, why do you draw a line there? Like, it's not like he slipped on a banana peel, like he was in one of his goon sessions and he decided to send a video to some random Discord e-girl of Pixie engaging with him. Like, why would, I mean,
Good
obviously
question, Tom. Let's ask the real question.
he had to have known that, whether or not he was the one to leak it to the public, he had to have known that he's running the risk of that video being publicized when he's sending a video of, him and another person sexually interacting to someone random that he met on Discord, or even somebody he may have trusted, right? Like, if Pixie didn't consent, he had to have known he ran the risk of that being publicized in some way, considering how, how much public scrutiny there is around Destiny, and frankly, how many people would love to have a video of him engaging in that, as we've seen from the Twitter stuff, right? Like, would that not be is that not something he should have been pretty, I don't know, forward thinking about?
Yeah, I agree that like the issue is like it's not that I'm not saying it wasn't a fuck up. Like I agree that it was a fuck up, and I think it was a massive betrayal of trust. Just to me, like recording somebody and then without their knowledge and leaking it is like a full on like it's a pretty like sexually invasive crime. Leaking somebody's nudes I think is also really bad. To be clear, I think it is really bad. But the issue is that I think it's fundamentally just a more common issue that people do. Leaking somebody's nudes I think is also really bad. To be clear, I think it is really bad. But the issue is that I think it's fundamentally just a more common issue that people do. Leaking somebody's nudes I think is also really bad. To be clear, I think it is really bad. But the issue is that I think it's fundamentally just a more common issue that people do without their knowledge, and leaking it is like a full on like it's a pretty like sexually invasive crime. Leaking somebody's nudes I think is also really bad. To be clear, I think it is really bad. But the issue is that I think it's fundamentally just a more common.
What is Bunty King to you?
A person?
Who is Bunty King?
Nicholas DeOrio?
The people sweeping for Destiny trying to turn this into a money grab disgust me absolutely.
It's gotta all be burned down. You gotta burn them all down. This is disgusting. This is some of the most disgusting shit that I have ever fucking seen. Are you fucking kidding me?
You could even say it was a massive fuck up. Nicholas, play the sound.
Dude, I'm sorry. This is fucking ridiculous. Guys, people leak nudes all the time. Why are we coming after Destiny on this one? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? Shut it down. There are people on Twitter right now who are calling me ignorant for saying it. She sounds like a fucking coward in this video. There's nothing malicious you can draw from this. This
Bunty
woman
King to you?
is fucking
Who is Bunty King?
disgusting.
Nicholas DeOrio?
Are you kidding me, bro? Are you serious? I gotta hear that from the top. From the
I agree
top.
that, like it's
Have a video of him engaging.
This is the response.
You slimy Weasley fuck.
This disgusting slag needs to go down with Destiny.
Dude, I've never sounded so much like Kavos in my life, dude. I sound like a 2017 Kavos video right now. This is fucking gross.
In that, as we've seen from the Twitter stuff, right? Like, would that not be is that not something he should have been pretty, I don't know, forward thinking about?
Yeah, I agree that like the issue is like, it's not that I'm not saying it wasn't a fuck up. Like, I agree that it was a fuck up. And I think
it's not a fuck up. It was malicious. I'm sorry. If you're fucking distributing your friends' naked pictures to random whores, you're a piece of shit and you should lose your fucking career. Okay? That's my position. Nuclear take.
it's a massive betrayal of trust.
A massive betrayal of trust. Okay. All right. It's a massive betrayal of trust.
And you know what else is massive?
Not the time. I understand. Not the time.
Just to me, like, recording somebody and then without their knowledge and leaking it is like a full on, like, it's a pretty like sexually invasive crime.
Nice enough?
I don't respect you.
Sorry.
So,
I'm sorry. Leaking a sex tape of your close friend, that's some garden variety shit, okay? Leaking a sex tape that they didn't know about, now it's invasive. It's a crime. Awesome. That's so cool for you. I love that on you. I love that. Are you like a feminist? Guys, hey, one in the chat if you know what Erudite's newest video on her channel is right now. Go to Erudite's channel. You're not going to believe this, all right? Not so Erudite. Look at this fucking woman's... Look at this shit. This is absurd. This is 4 days ago on the Not So Erudite YouTube channel. Online politics has been too toxic for women. Do you have an OnlyFans? Is the thumbnail. This is the kind of content that this fucking woman makes. Holy shit. This is what happens when you become when you make your way here through like you become an industry plant talent. You have no idea how to navigate these situations.
What is to you?
And you shouldn't pretend to either. This is disgusting.
Nicholas DeOrio?
Leaking somebody's nudes, I think,
All
is
bridges
also
are
really
hereby bombed from orbit. Keep it contained for a while.
Not to mention that what is the concept of the podcast Bridges? It's to bridge a gap between Destiny and people who don't like him. It's to bring on people that have had controversies with Destiny so they can talk it out. It's a publicity podcast for the guy she knows is leaking fucking nudes of their close friend. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck at how nice she sounds, okay? Her awesome tone of voice, how she really seems to care about Pixie. I believe that she cares about Pixie, but I also believe she's a huge piece of shit. So.
bad. To be clear, I think it is really bad. But the issue is that I think it's fundamentally just a more common issue that people do. It's definitely, in my experience, not the first time that somebody has like leaked nudes. I think it's really bad. I think it's not okay. Like when
guys, I think obviously like leaking nudes is super bad, right? Okay, like it's not super cool to leak nudes. But like it could be worse. Okay, it could be way worse. I had a YouTuber reach out to me, a close friend of mine, and obviously I don't want to be named. I'm not even gonna imply who it is. But they sent me this insane fucking. I need to stop playing my game. I don't even think I have it on the screen. I need to stop playing my game. I need to read this to you. Somebody sent this shit to me, and it was one of the funniest things I read today because it's literally Erudite. Unironically, like to a T. It's Erudite's entire interview, and this will ruin it for you. Even if you're somehow on the fence, this is just like I got permission to show you this, okay? And I actually repurposed it today in an argument. I got permission to steal this from somebody, right? Where is it? Let me grab it. And then we'll put on where do we have something to listen to? Yeah. All right. Here we go. Okay, guys. Ready? Here we are. All right. This is a comparison that I would like to make. If my friend shot someone in the head because they were in the way of a hot dog that they really wanted to eat, Tom would say, "That's awful behavior, and it's inexcusable. Why would you continue to work with the killer?" This would be so indicative. This would be indicative of your loose, if not non-existent, morals. And then I could say, okay, first of all, I have done nothing but advocate that hot dog killers are bad since this event. Number 2, I think it's bad, but killing 2 or more people would be worse. Imagine if he had killed 3 people and then ate their corpses for the hot dog. That would be so much worse. And I would stop working with him. Oh my God. Then there's the injustice that can take place for everyone involved in the hot dog scandal if I don't continue to be involved at every turn with everyone. So really, I kind of have to be. Number 4, some would say it's bad business to continue working with the hot dog killer, but I think there are pros and cons. That's not important. The hot dog killer is sad, and he said he'll do everything to fix this situation, and truly, that's what matters. 6, I wish to set up a hot dog killer recovery center someday, and working with the hot dog killer might be my best route to achieve this for every future hot dog killing victim, as well as many other killings, even people who kill over burgers. Okay? 7, I have since the hot dog killing only ever done nice things, and I have helped the hot dog killer. I have never helped the hot dog killer hide his actions. I haven't discouraged the victims from taking actions. How could a person who takes these actions be bad? It's horrible that such a thing could be concluded. 8, if I had any interest in protecting my financial benefits with the hot dog killer, why would I be saying hot dog killing is bad? Obviously, I'm a good person. 9, I'm someone who doesn't give up on people, and I have experience with people who make all kinds of mistakes and help when they're friends or not. Humans make mistakes, and the hot dog killer is a friend. And then Turkey Tom at the end of that entire rant goes, okay, yeah, all right, sounds good. So next question. This is just how she sounds the whole conversation. It's like, guys, you know, I understand leaking nudes is bad, but what if this other thing happened that would be objectively worse? Then I'd really have to cut ties. It's like, I mean, I'm sorry, you haven't done anything in 2 months. Listen, I believe that if Chaeiry came out a month ago, the line would be like rape. I think that we would move the goalpost wouldn't have been started at Chaeiry's allegations.
Who is Bunty King?
Nicholas DeOrio?
You hear about like guys like showing.
What is the hot dog killer? I explained the concept of the hot dog killer. The hot dog killer is someone who killed somebody over a hot dog, okay? Do you understand? In our hypothetical, Destiny would be the hot dog killer. Okay, you just replace it with nudes. The whole thing lines up, okay?
Other guys like tits that some girls enter. Like I think it's gross, and there's a reason I don't look at it.
I mean,
you don't understand. She can rehabilitate the hot dog killer. Like, she's literally rehabilitating the hot dog killer as we speak, all right? Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Destiny is kind of the hot dog killer. His hot dog kind of got him into the mess in the first place, you know? Like, without the situation he was in, I don't know.
that's
Other nudes. I think it's really bad. I think it's not okay. Like when you hear about like guys like showing other guys like tits that some girls enter. Like I think
guys, I think it's super bad when men show tits. This is such a weird tactic. It's like, you know, dudes do this all the time. It's like super fucked up, right? But like.
It's gross, and there's a reason I don't look at it.
I mean, that's I agree. It's less severe, but you know,
So
this
that's
isn't.
why.
This isn't a bunch of high schoolers, right? This is a 35.
Why is it less severe?
Oh no!
Why is Destiny break? I know, I don't concede. Why is Destiny breaking this fucking girl's trust to try to get laid? Why are we putting this on a tier list? Why is it not just bad enough? What else? How many girls need to get hurt before NotSoErudite steps up to the plate? She needs to disavow him and leave the fucking company. I'm gonna just say it. Nothing short of that would make any sense to me. The fact that it hasn't happened yet makes me extremely skeptical that it'll ever happen. She needs to leave.
Year-old guy who's doing this?
Sure, but the law.
It's always one more. Yeah, I mean, this is literally just by the book, pathetic, spineless, disgusting behavior.
Laws are different, right? In the case of like recording somebody against their consent and then releasing it against their consent is a totally different action to me than like having it sent to them.
If Chaeiry didn't accuse Destiny of recording without her consent, do you think that Erudite would be coming on here just openly condemning Destiny? Or do you think she would do the same thing she's doing now and try to like obfuscate it over? Like, she's obviously building a narrative where it's like, Destiny did something bad, but he really could have done something worse in her like stealth sweeping attempt. It's really weird. This is a really weird conversation, and I'm extremely confused as to why people are telling me this is a great call that she had.
And thinking it would stay private because they're sending it to somebody else and giving it to somebody else, which they shouldn't have done. Like, these are just the
morals. Yeah, true.
Intention. And
again, keep in mind, this person gets pressed and they immediately start blaming commentary YouTubers for their coverage when this person is at ground zero.
Everything behind
Crazy.
it is a lot different to me.
So is your concern entirely the legality versus the morality? Like, is the morality not really a big question for you?
No, I think morality is a really big question.
Oh, okay. So it has nothing to do with legality, even though we've cased this entire thing in like Well, if he commits a crime, then I'll disavow.
But I'm saying that basically, to some degree, I suppose I'm saying I agree with the law here. I agree with the law drawing.
Oh, I agree with the law. Okay, so then do you think it's good? Oh, okay, so the law might not deem what Destiny did to be explicitly revenge porn because it didn't have the malice portion where it's like, I wanted to hurt her by posting this. Instead, it was just like, oopsie, I accidentally, I sent it by, I tried to get laid. I'm sorry. Oh, it leaked. My bad. It's so ridiculous, dude.
A line here saying like this
is just fucking pathetic cowardice.
Even more severe.
And then people will tell me, Nick, she's gonna get deported. Nick, she's got so much to lose. It's like, yeah, but she's already lost it. She's got so much to lose. What is she clinging on to? This guy's career is fucking done. What is she gonna buy herself another few months? What is she hoping to God that Destiny can hold on to an audience
Who is Bunty King?
and start a Vosh-like Fortress arc where they ban everybody out of his
I love hot girls
space?
as much as the next guy, but anyone who lets their Johnson make decisions that genuinely hurt people, they deserve to get punished.
To stay with Steven means that you think Steven should continue to have a career. If you think that Steven should continue to have a career after what he did to Pixie, I think you're a pathetic human being. So yeah, of course I don't like this response. It's ridiculous.
Both are really bad. The issue is that one of them is like criminologically bad and the other one is like, you're a fucking piece.
I mean, obviously Jeffrey Dahmer is worse than Destiny, guys. I mean, if Destiny starts acting like Jeffrey Dahmer, I'm going to have to stop sweeping for him. But if and only if that happens, obviously. Because, I mean, leaking a girl's nudes, that's terrible, all right? But he's no Jeffrey Dahmer.
Shit.
Okay. So you were okay with working with a piece of shit, to be clear.
I was willing to work with somebody who fucked up. And then
No, he didn't fuck up. It was intentional. He fucking violated this girl's privacy. He violated your friend's privacy. I keep forgetting that she's sandwiched in the middle of these people.
What is Bunty King to you?
A person?
Who is Bunty King?
Turn therapist's brain off. Turn empathy back on. Activate optics. Do the right thing.
also showed remorse and was like willing to try to help the person that he fucked over.
And I haven't even said once that it's for money yet. I haven't even said it once. We've been here for an hour. I haven't even implied it. I mean, I guess I have implied it, but I haven't explicitly said it. And yeah, obviously there's a ton of fucking money involved. You can't ignore that either.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess moving on from that interaction. So where did the kind of conversation go from there once you had gotten his side and gotten her side? You, at that point, a lot of the DMs seem to be you kind of mediating, talking to her about what she wants versus what Steve.
It's not I can fix him. It's I can keep my job. Open your eyes. That's what we're dealing with here, guys. Oh, it's not, oh, I can fix him. It's I can keep myself safe.
Is willing to provide and do. What was your kind of perspective on those interactions? Before we get into the specific stuff, I guess just overarchingly, what was your goal there?
Did I not ask you nice enough?
I don't.
Sorry, I think I'm not understanding the question. Can you just rephrase it?
I guess okay. What was your goal past that point? Once you found out what he had apparently done, and you seemingly got confirmation. Once you found out how her feelings were on it, what was your goal past that point? Was it just to help Pixie out? Was it to protect Destiny from the allegations?
No. So like this is the biggest frustration. I don't know if you've seen the Fairy Queen leaks or whatever. I don't know why people keep saying this. They keep saying that I asked.
Can we confidently say that she's downplayed Pixie's allegations in this stream without getting fucking burned at the cross? I feel like that's a warranted statement after that weird fucking tangent about Chaeiry. That is I'm sorry. I think that anybody who does that shit is a fucking scumbag. Somebody sent that to me on Twitter. I said they're like sex offender coded, but it's crazy to hear it come out of Erudite's mouth.
Delete the comment, but you can just read my message. I explicitly tell her I'm messaging her because I don't want her to remove the comment. I want her to remove the identifying piece where she talks about like friends, because I don't want anything that could narrow it to Pixie, because the main thing that Pixie has said to me over and over is the publicity piece. So the only thing that I have cared about by and large has been following what Pixie feels that she needs in that moment, right? Listening to like what she's asking for. There are certain things it's possible that she could ask me to do where I'd be like, I'm not comfortable facilitating this, right? But saying something like, please don't make any public.
Weasley fuck.
Part of me thinks Erudite is more malicious than what she's showing herself as. And
I don't think that you're crazy off to say that.
This one.
Yeah, I don't think you're crazy off to say that. I think I'm gonna remain somewhat charitable and just call her retarded for now, but I wouldn't be surprised if I change my position to malicious later. Because she's definitely retarded at the very least. We need to create like the official retarded malicious scale, you know? Like we need to have something on screen that showcases the retarded or malicious scale.
It publicly and please like try to keep it as quiet as possible. 100% I'm going to do that. Like, no question.
So
And
you say
if
the
you look at
Fairy Queen
Queen
leaks, do you mean is this message, right? Let me just to confirm with you.
Yes.
It's like the
Did you
hot
read-
versus crazy scale and How I Met Your Mother. Like once you reach a certain point, then you just like you've delved too far into retardation or maliciousness.
I get that you're mad. That's
Where I'm seeing 75% malicious and 25% retarded right now.
Did I not
The R versus M on the R versus M scale.
your comment is kind of confirming that it's them, which they're denying and drawing more attention to there. I'd really
I'm seeing a 75-25 on the RM scale.
appreciate if you considered removing that part of your comment, right? Just that part. And there's a reason that I didn't just delete it immediately, because I'm fine with the discussion of it. I'm fine with people like talking about whether Destiny's a piece of shit. I think all of that is really valid. But what's not valid is like making Pixie's plight worse. That's not valid. And like until she decides that she wants to go public, I'm not taking that from her.
Right. So here, Fairy Queen.
And again, you don't have to go public. Erudite doesn't have to go public and out Pixie. She just has to do the right thing and step away from the podcast completely. That's what she has to do. And if she doesn't want to do that, she should just say, it's for money, and I need to stay here for money, and I'm in a horrible position right now. Because honestly, if J-Stalk really wants to use that defense, because I do think J-Stalk has like survivor's guilt for being in the community and stuff and not doing anything more than he... And to be clear, I don't think J-Stalk could have really done more than he did, but I think he has survivor's guilt, right? If you want to latch on to say Erudite needs to be here or she's going to get deported, she needs to save her job, that's fine. But I want to hear her say it. I don't want to hear J-Stalk say it. I don't want to hear any of those. I don't want to hear like the people on the fucking on that stream say it. I want to hear Erudite say that I need to keep my job because I need to stay in the country, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because anything else is a lie, in my opinion.
Asks, they say, do you acknowledge that Melina is claiming Steven shared these videos without her consent? Have you confronted Steven about this? Will you dissociate from him for sharing another woman's sex tapes without her consent?
If she said it should be cooked forever, I think she should be cooked now for downplaying it. She wants both ways here. I stand by Pixie until it comes to Steven, in which case I'm going to rehabilitate him. So are you standing by Pixie, or are you keeping your job and standing by Steven? Because it really can't be both.
You said, gotcha, I'm not an extension of Steven, you're not a feminist, and you blocked her. Were you blocking her because it seemed like she wasn't going to edit her comment, or because you didn't want to answer these questions publicly? Like, what was the concern here, I guess?
It basically seems like, so Fairy Queen and I have a history, just to be clear. A really weird history, where she constantly is accusing me of things and then coming to me behind the scenes to like help with reality or certain things. And the reality is that if somebody's life is at risk and they need help.
So,
Oh no! What am I gonna do?
I'm not going to lie. This Destiny drama will pass. Nobody will truly sympathize with the victims. These victims have voluntarily put themselves in the public stage. They are only upset on how their content is being shared.
I think that you're fucking wrong, because one of the main victim literally was fucking pulled out against their will. So no, that's not true. It was revealed by President Sunday, not even by Pixie. That's the only good thing President Sunday did, is deflect people like you from fucking caring about victims. Because yeah, that's literally what happened. She was fucking pulled out against her will, forced out in front of everybody, and now she has to go public about it.
I'm just going to give it. I'm always
That's
going
like the worst take I've ever read.
to give it. And so Fairy Queen at this point and I had two separate interactions where she had come to me because somebody she knew or a friend of hers was suicidal, and she was
I think the worst part of that take is you picked like the one time where that's not true.
looking for like steps about how to handle it. And I helped her every single time. One of the times was also a mutual.
And to be clear, you know why it's not going to pass? Because none of us commentary YouTubers are going to gang up and tell Hassan Piker he's wrong for bashing the fuck out of Destiny. Sorry. He's not wrong. I hate Hassan Piker. I hate Mike from PA. I hate Frogan. I hate everybody on that panel. I hate every fucking one of them. But when Denims calls out Destiny, she's right.
Friend, like Xena, all that stuff is very, very public. I did a lot of the similar stuff with Xena. I met up with her. I think with Xena, I actually spent a night at her house just to like keep her safe when she was really distressed. Xena, I also did like multiple safety calls for her, where like I reported like as she was attempting like to the police and stuff like that. So Fairy Queen has this weird dynamic where she keeps coming to me for help with stuff, which I'm always willing to. But then she'll also be like, "But
guys, DGG, get real close. Listen to me. During the fucking Red Pill arc, while your fucking Messiah was out there telling Andrew Tate and all these huge pieces of shit how to treat women better, he was distributing his fucking friends' nudes to random whores he met online. He's a fraud. He's telling everybody else how to live, and he's going after all these genuinely bad people, and he lives like a hypocrite.
Remember when many people surrounding Tiny blasted people for covering for Dr. Disrespect post-confession for political reasons? Cuz Pepperidge Farm remembers. Wonder if their axioms will be grounded and their morals will be consistent, lol.
This guy gives relationship advice. He's cheated on every girlfriend he's ever had. If he probably didn't hit his head as a kid, he would have grown up to be one of those red pill content creators, bro. I'm sorry. He's like 2 steps away from being just as bad as them.
Why are you such a piece of shit? Why are you friends with Destiny? He's a horrible person. And I'm just like, look, like, if somebody needs help, I'm always willing to. There's lots of things I disagree with Steven about.
His brain says liberal. His cock says Andrew Tate. And they're at odds with each other every single day. The Vyvanse has calmed his penis down. He's reformed now.
What is
but yes,
Bunty
I am.
King to you?
I'm just. I'm still willing
Who
to
is
work with
Bunty
him.
King?
So that's part of
Nicholas
what's driving
DeOrio?
this. When she like sent all those questions, I was like, oh. So every time she said like one thing that she really cares about is women, I don't know if I believe her because it seems like she's willing to hurt Pixie to like get at Steven, and I'm not interested. And at that point, I blocked her and deleted the comment.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, with that out of the way, I think the thing I wanted to go over next would be all the text messages between you and Pixie that got leaked. Now, before we get into that, I guess my question would be from you. Do you know the way that these text messages, looks like iMessage, you know the way these texts got leaked? How did this end up getting out? Who was this sent to that ended up sending it to someone that ended up getting it publicly?
I think I come up here.
It sounds like Pixie sent it to Aaron.
I don't think anybody knows what happened because as far as I understand, I got pictures from Chud Logic. I don't know where Chud Logic got pictures from.
Oh no!
So,
What am I gonna do?
again, we had this conversation on 11:30. This was the conversation that we had on stream. I have been completely gaslit by people telling me that I sided with Tom when I sided with Chud, like verbally in the call. I went back and clipped it, and I was like shocked how many people told me that I had the opposite take. And then I actually listened to it, and it's like I literally say specifically that I've sided with Chud, and I was arguing with Tom that he needs to concede that there's a good chance that this stuff was like done without people's consent. But that's besides the point. So 11:30, we have the conversation. We're aware there's rumors about Pixie. That's why I dive in and talk about the dick pic guy, because that was already out there, and I don't think anyone's identified him, right? So then on the, I'll actually add this in there. On January the 1st, I messaged Destiny saying, hey dude, sorry that your fucking dick pic leaked or something. It's my biggest regret from this controversy is messaging Destiny saying, sorry that your fucking dick's all over the internet, right? Then on January 2nd, I received my first actual piece of evidence that raises it from rumor with Pixie to like legitimate grievance.
Is
right?
this really lolly?
Rumor to legitimate grievance from here. Now I got one screenshot. That's the one that says like, this will be the worst mistake of Steven's life, the most expensive mistake of his life. Right. Then I talked to President Sunday about 6 days ago. And up until 6 days ago, I only had the one screenshot. Now, I go and I hear from President Sunday that more stuff exists. So I reach out to Chud, who gets me the rest of the screenshots. And I'm at that point, after talking to President Sunday, I'm caught up to where you guys are caught up to basically now. That's the amount of information that it traveled to. But I don't know who had what, because somehow simultaneously Beckett got all of this information and he claims that it didn't come from Sunday. So somehow I got it through Chud. Beckett got it through a third party. And then President Sunday had gotten it from, I assume, Straighteraid. I have no idea how this stuff has happened, but it got all the way to drama YouTubers. So everyone thought like somebody's going to fuck this up. Somebody's going to leak this stuff. And then President Sunday convinces me that he cared about the girl and then moved forward with it. So as far as I know, that's like the chain of events.
Trying to like basically like this is what Kyla's saying. Pixie and I have talked. She's also willing. Her and Aaron aren't talking anymore. But she is willing to like if need be. Obviously, she wants to be as publicly implicated as possible. So if you need it, you can probably reach out. But also, I don't have it because I didn't ask for it.
By the way, if Pixie wants to talk on stream, I would be happy to have Pixie on. I don't really know a ton about her content. Obviously, this is the reason I would have her on. But if she wants to talk to me, feel free. I won't bite her head off.
But basically, she was constantly telling Aaron, like,
What is Bunty King?
what do
to
you think about this? This is what Kyla's
Who is
suggesting.
Bunty King?
And Aaron was saying, like,
DeOrio?
I think she's being
But
sneaky.
keep in mind,
It's
if I
wild that
do that,
Destiny is memeing it up and lollying about all this like it isn't an issue he's remotely worried about.
I see it the
He's
opposite
never
way.
known how to respond to controversy, but this is way worse.
Now, this looks like panic to me. Destiny's extremely composed in a lot of cases. Yeah, he'll say a couple things on social media when he's about to do these big manifestos, but it's usually like preceded by silence. I don't think he knows what to do right now because for the first time, I don't think he has a magic screenshot that he can pull out and blame it all away on. I wouldn't put it past him to try to make one, but I think he realizes there's no real way to get out of this. The only thing he can do is latch on to the fact that he didn't want this stuff to go public, even though he leaked it, and latch on to the fact that, like, from a legal perspective, it would be a very difficult road to pursue this, even from a civil lawsuit, as far as I'm concerned. But I don't know. I think that LawTube is going to have a lot of fun with this story in the next 2 months.
Sneaky, and
Who
Pixie
is
was being
Bunty
like, I
King?
don't think she was being
DeOrio?
sneaky.
He was supposed to stream today. Again, Destiny's whole thing is Vosh is on a Fortress arc. He's a coward. Well, guess what? You can't talk about this on his subreddit. Then his next thing is, I stream through the controversy. I'll never get canceled. Guess what? Now he's going to be off till February 3rd. So, I'm sorry. This is out of character for him.
So I think the only text she has is because those are the specific screenshots that Pixie sent to Aaron.
The legal arc has begun, yeah. What makes you think he's trying to fake something? So I don't think it's I'm not making it more of a character assassination. I think that Destiny's not going to go down swinging, but I don't think he has anything. So the only way he'd go down is maybe by fabricating something. I have no idea.
100% confident. From my understanding, Aaron directly leaked them to Sunday. I think Beckett of Crabs or whatever, he covers all the leaks.
By the way, I had a talk with Beckett, and I urged him privately to apologize. I'm just going to put that out there. So I don't know if he's done that, or if he ends up planning to do that. I think he's making a follow-up video. But I've told him that he needs to go and apologize.
Person?
Who is Bunty King?
Nicholas DeOrio?
I had a conversation with him about his whole fucking video thing. But,
on stream, it sounds like Sunday got them directly from her. I don't know how Beckett got them. I think some people are saying it. I think it might have been through Smugbug, because Aaron's good friends with Smugbug. I don't know though. I have no
again, I don't know who Smugbug is. I'm not really sure who these like leftist people are.
idea how Beckett got the DMs, and I don't know if Nicholas got it from Beckett or from
Nope, I got it from Chud.
Sunday or like what.
It sounds like she doesn't even know Chud had it, so everybody had these messages.
The transaction is after that. I have no idea.
Okay, and I haven't seen Pixie directly talk about Sunday or I guess maybe Bad Empanada is someone that people are talking about right now, but I saw her, just let me find her tweet real quick. In her thread, she had said something to the effect of, let me see here, I've got it. Okay, so she said, if you're a leftist who has talked about the situation without so much as contacting me, you owe me an apology. On top of being a victim of revenge, I now have to deal with people lying about my dating life and further dehumanization of me.
Now, I imagine they're saying this is like Bad Empanada, but they explicitly called out Sunday, so I have to imagine he's one of the people.
I know I shouldn't elaborate more, but I think one of the worst parts of what's happened is learning how so many people I genuinely thought were my friends are so easily willing to betray me. I don't understand what I've done to them to make them want to treat me like this. So do you know who she's talking about here, or is she not willing to?
I'm speculating it's Aaron. I didn't ask her specifically. I would speculate Aaron. I know she's feeling, she basically, I called her tonight and she was like, Kyla, I'm so sorry. And I was like, are you okay? And she was like, Aaron.
But here's the thing. This is the main point that I want to take away from this. I had these leaks, okay? And I don't know any of these people. So everyone had these leaks. If I had, well, I say leaks. I had this leak, okay? I had the singular screenshot up until after the President Sunday conversation, the day after or the night of.
A person?
So if I don't know Smugbug, and I don't know the other woman, and I don't know Chaeiry, and I have this screenshot, then everybody has this screenshot.
Backstab me, like Aaron backstabbed me. So I'm assuming it's Aaron, and Aaron is a leftist, but I genuinely have no idea. I would assume though.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, do you want to get into the text?
Sure. I think it's probably worth saying because I think people are like the biggest question people have is like why I'm sticking around Destiny.
Okay, and we're back. So she obviously has like survivor's guilt as well, because now we're going back. Like I think the biggest question is the one that I've answered 3 times already. Isn't that funny how we just keep we do new question and then she's like, but let me go back and expand as to why I'm staying with Destiny. In our last installment, I told you that, listen, this is a pretty bad crime, but there's definitely like a bigger crime here that could have happened. So that's good, I guess.
So I just want to like
let's get back to me for a moment. We're done talking about me. Let's get back to me for a moment.
Answer that question I think a little bit more extensively, which is A, if something else comes out about the leaks, which is like more pernicious or criminal, I realize like probably won't.
It's got to be a little bit more. We're just at the line right now. We're not quite at the criminal line, so we're going to have to do just a little bit more damage to Godzilla so we can get the most points.
But I don't engage with friendships in the way that it feels like people are kind of expecting me to, maybe in the public. I'm really staunch about like rehabilitation and like journeys and processes.
This is where I'm going back to what I said earlier in the stream. Rehabilitation is great. Maybe don't talk about it the day after the stuff got like released. Like this, the minute we all found out about it, you're like, guys, listen, we're rehabilitating him. We're going to make him better. We're going to make him whole again. We're going to fix this. Like, maybe just like, I don't know, let people get their lumps in for a week. I'm just confused as to why we're talking about rehabilitation on literally day one.
It means that like if I have a friend who's done a bad thing, they're not like dead to me. I'm not just going to drop them immediately. I'm going to confront them,
What is
usually in a way that I
bunty-king
think
to
is most
you?
productive,
Person?
particularly
Who
if
is
they've done
bunty-king?
something that I think not
Nicholas
just violates
DeOrio?
like my values, but
Reminds me of the Norm Macdonald joke on Cosby. Someone told me the worst part was the hypocrisy. I said realty? I thought it was the R**pay. Obviously not a 1/1 comparison, but too many focused on the wrong thing.
Yeah, 100%.
their own values. This isn't the first
You know what's funny? That's the second time that clip has been referenced about a drama this week.
time I've confronted Steven on different things. It's just the biggest thing that I've confronted him on. But there's been multiple times, like even in this like cutie Cinderella drama where he started like making fun of her. I was like, why are you doing this?
I don't understand why all these retarded YouTubers keep talking about the cutie Cinderella drama. Like, are you fucking serious? Was this that big of a deal? Was this like their 111?
It's like this isn't
How many of these victims received revenge prawn as part of Destiny's Riz pitch? I.e., if he used this prawn to riz random e-thoughts, why
That's a
wouldn't
good
he have done
question.
the same to land some of these girls now condemning him?
Good
Why
question.
didn't they come out then?
Good question.
even this isn't your values. Like
Guys, I've called Destiny out before. Like in the past, he laughed at cutie Cinderella when she was crying profusely about the porn of her that wasn't her that leaked.
this is something you don't believe in. He's like, yeah, you're right. Right? So I
He laughed at the chestnuts roasting clip from Ethan Klein. This is like the same thing. Neither of them broke the law.
think if everyone just disowns people immediately for wrongdoing, like nothing works. I have like my entire dream is to like work with high risk, like my entire career previous to this was working with like drug addicts and juvenile delinquents, like people who've done really, really fucking bad shit. And so I don't know. I understand why people may be confused because maybe they don't feel similar, and I don't put this on anybody else. Like nobody else has to orient themselves towards Steven or anyone.
Oh no! What am I gonna do?
Here, let me show you this real fast, all right? Let me pull this up. Watch this. You want to see something funny? I want to learn more about Destiny. Do you guys want to learn a little bit more about Destiny right now? Somebody sent me this. I don't know if he wants to be named, but he goes by Destiny the Streamer. He sent me a new version, a new cut of his video, like a leaked cut of his video. Let me just grab it. Here it is.
Steven.
Let me just grab this.
Abuse.
Here we go. This is a leaked cut of Destiny the Streamer's new video. The only good Destiny. Okay, I just have to make a version of it that's not going to get copyrighted.
Steven, your abuse is sick.
Thank you. We're like 25% of the way there, just depends.
Wait, that's not true. Okay, he doesn't remember when we fight and when we don't fight.
Okay, here's what I noticed. Emotional currency for fighting used to be like my real life currency for... Well, now, if I got a million things going on, if I fight with Mel, it puts my schedule behind by weeks. Like, I just wasted 2 days.
Melina starts crying when we're having an argument. I'll say, like, listen, I'm gonna go play fucking Minecraft. Like, come talk to me when you're done crying, because I can't sit here and listen to you cry. I'm wasting the few fucking minutes of free time I have in the day. The reason why it is because you're insecure about me seeing somebody when you're not seeing somebody. That's the reason. You're used to dating guys that are obsessed with you, and I'm not, and that makes you insecure. The only reason I'm gonna lie to you is because you're insecure when I hook up with people. Do you want to do all the relationship stuff right now? If you want to, we can do that. I'm a really rough person to be in a relationship, okay? So anybody that survives a relationship with me for more than like 6 months, okay, props to that person, because they're going through some severe fucking psychological abuse, all right? I'm not joking. Melina will not leak or talk shit about any of this because she knows everything about this makes her look like a fucking satanic demon. Do you guys know that if a bitch breaks up with you and you send her nudes to everybody, even that's wrong, guys?
So I think one thing that people who defend you agree was abusive was your back and forth with Anna, especially threatening to leak nudes.
Oh, I mean, she could have more to lose, but I just don't see the huge difference between like sex and nudes. Like you're leaking like personal, like sexual shit that somebody sent you and like trusted you with. In my opinion, this is like one of the biggest forms of like weird, like backstabbing shit that you can do. It's like one of the worst things a person can do is like leaking like like private sexual shit. Let's say that there's a girl that messages me, we talk for a little bit, she really wants to be on. And I'm like, yeah, cool, like you really want to come on the podcast, blah, blah, blah. I could probably start sexting her and she'll probably give in and send me nudes and shit because she doesn't want to lose that opportunity. She might not actually want to. If she says no to me, she might worry like, fuck, like if I say no to this guy, like I'm not going to make it on that podcast. And that's why it's like a very hazy area where you can't really consent in that situation because you don't really know.
Okay, then why are you sexting with her still?
We're cool. We've been cool for a year, Max. When you're 19, you're a little kid, okay? Now, if you're 22, a 19-year-old's not a kid to you, okay? I'm 29. A 19-year-old might as well be a 15-year-old to me. It's all the fucking same, dude. I have about as much in common with like an 18-year-old, 19-year-old fucking freshman in school as I would a fucking sophomore in high school. Any type of inclination towards any of those people is really fucking weird.
So when you saw a 15-year-old girl, you were sexually attracted to her?
Sure, yeah. I mean, like, what do you want me to say? Like, listen, dude, esports is a crazy time in my life. I don't know why, but when I was on LSD, like everything was super emotional. I look back at these texts sometimes, it was so unbelievable. I'm like texting my kid's mom saying shit like, I'm a horrible person, like take Nathan away from me, I don't ever want to see him again, like I'm a horrible don't, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I'd never say anything like that in my life. I'm the most high-driven, like confident person. It was like crazy to me to see it, but...
That was a hard 3 minutes to watch. It was only 2 minutes and 40 seconds and it felt like 10. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, somebody sent me a cut of that. I figured that would be a good thing to play for stream. Yeah, that's what Destiny is, by the way, if you guys were wondering. If you guys weren't entirely sure who we were dealing with right now. In case you didn't know. That's Heisenboner. Yeah, that's who we're talking about. Anyway, back to the wing girl.
Someone else who's done something wrong, like I do. But basically, the moment that I saw like remorsefulness, accountability, and like a step-by-step plan of like how he was going to correct the issue, that's when I was like, okay, I can still work with this person because it's like the try and the accountability that matters to me, not just like the actions alone.
So I think that, that's somewhat understandable from, a friendship perspective. I think that the thing that people are going to bring up, though, is that you guys aren't just friends, you're business partners, and he's not just any business partner. He is, a massive liberal commentator who's constantly making moral judgments about other people's actions. And
yeah, this is the guy who tells people how to live. It's gotten so bad, I'm giving the Jalen arguments right now about Destiny. This is somebody who tells people how to live for a living.
Behaviors. Meanwhile, he's got this going on. I mean, I think a big part of it is like, I think this really calls into question, like if he even has a right to criticize other people's character and morals when, I mean,
he doesn't, by the way. He absolutely can't.
Who is Bunty King?
Nicholas DeOrio?
This guy's pure politics if he comes back, which he shouldn't. But if he does, pure politics. This guy can't fucking judge anybody for anything. This guy can't be... There's no red pill arc after this. Nobody's taking this guy seriously. Are you serious? How can this guy pass judgments on anybody? Remember the fucking Mizkif drama? Remember all the shit this guy talked during the Mizkif drama? The Bob 7 stuff? Do you remember the Bob 7 stuff? Fuck me.
It's one thing to be, to have everything else.
Somebody asked me, Nick, where's the Bob 7 stream you did 4 years ago? I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea where that is. I don't think that stream exists anymore. If it does, I don't want it to.
Else that he's done before, which, there's a lot, let's be honest, there's a lot, but I think this rivals all of that, definitely.
What did he say to Bob 7 about leaking sensitive information about girls?
A person?
Who is Bunty
Didn't Bob leak
DeOrio?
some girl's nudes or something? And it was like the worst thing that ever happened. It was literally 111. I could have sworn, didn't Bob 7 leak a girl's nudes?
Is this really lolly?
Of severity, and it
Can somebody find a clip of Destiny talking about Bob 7 leaking nudes?
calls into question, his respect for other people's consent to, their own news being leaked. It's like, now how can anyone possibly feel bad for him for getting his news leaked when he was doing that to someone else? There's a lot of questions around this, and I mean, even on top of that, I mean, he's trying to be a serious political activist and commentator, and he's running around messing around with all these Discord girls, sending. And I mean, this is not, to be clear, Pixie's not the only person who's been affected by this. I mean, there's been Lauren, obviously, in a different way, but he was sending messages not too long ago that they had shared together, seemingly in confidence, that ended up getting leaked. There's Melina's allegation, obviously, his ex-wife, who he kind of painted as like a absolute crazy person, and there's this.
Much more to add to the conversation. In the course of this conversation, Bose also reveals that Bob7 has screen shared nude pictures of both Melina and Redacted One without their knowledge. And Pikachu and Bose generally agree that Bob7 misuses his asexual status to solicit girls for sexual conversations or nudes.
Yeah? Is that what he does? I'm curious. What was that, Destiny? I didn't hear. I didn't hear what he does. What did Bob7 do, Destiny? I'm curious. I didn't hear it.
How to read the conversation about whether or not he's called Ophelia Bear ugly. From there, Bose drags in Redacted 2 because they're close friends, though Redacted 2 doesn't have much more to add to the conversation. In the course of this conversation, Bose also reveals that Bob7 has screen shared nude pictures of both Melina and Redacted One without their knowledge. And Pikachu and Bose generally agree that Bob7 misuses his asexual status to solicit girls for sexual conversations or nudes.
Nicholas DeOrio?
I don't know. If you had to choose between yourself and Tom of being more anti-gooning, which one would you choose?
Me.
Manipulative, but I know that when we were talking, he really emphasized the fact that after breaking up with his girlfriend, he like can't feel sexually attracted to other girls. Like,
oh really? Doesn't that sound like Vyvanse?
He doesn't have a sex
Guys,
drive.
ever since
He's, like,
Destiny got on
talking to a bunch of
Vyvanse,
girls and they're like coming on to him sexually, but that he has no interest in them whatsoever. So like, when we would talk about, he would ask me questions about like really personal questions about my sex life.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you got a little bit more personal with your girls, Destiny. That's at least what I've heard. I obviously don't know for a matter of fact, you know. But yeah, that's a little whack, right? Isn't that a little whack? I think that yeah, leaking those nudes is bad, dude. It's a bad thing you did. I agree with old. I wish old Destiny was here. I think the old Destiny would have wrote a really good video on the new Destiny. Oh wow, nudes comes up 57 times in this document.
A person?
What else do we got here?
Nicholas DeOrio?
That's the miss.
I work with high-risk drug abusers as well, but while we do show empathy, you also have to be realistic with them and tell them, you did something horrible, and it wasn't the addiction that did it, it was you.
Yeah.
Now, Big Boss. On the night of January 3rd, Bose and Melina agree that it's incredibly toxic that Bob7 is soliciting nudes from and talking shit about so many different girls in the Austin Show ecosystem while simultaneously working as a producer for him. Spurred on by these realizations...
How many orbiters has this guy had sex with? How many up-and-coming Twitch streamers has this guy fucked?
Now, something that I haven't talked about yet is Ophelia Bear's statements in this call. That'll come up later.
All of them? All of them?
Spurred on by these realizations and by Ophelia's statements and concerns, they reach out to have a call with Austin.
What else we got here? 6? That's 6. 7. What is this one? I don't know what about nudes happen here?
Young girls that are going on to fucking Austin's show for nudes, telling him that he's gonna flat and fuck them. Well, I don't know if the nudes thing happened. Other people for nudes, telling them that he's gonna flat and fuck other streamers and them, all while being a producer of Austin's show, and then also the screen sharing of other nudes to other girls. Now,
oh no, screen share!
Gotten very specifically into those two claims yet. We're halfway through the document. Are we gonna substantiate any of that? Oof, fuck, who knows?
I'm gonna substantiate it, guys. He's got the receipts.
A person?
Who is Bunty King?
Nicholas
He should be
DeOrio?
canceled or Destiny should leak this. It's something that, like, I'm going to bring up now that we're talking about everything. Screen sharing of nudes. On the night of November 15th, Melina and Redacted One were in a personal call with Bob7. During this call, Bob7 pressured Redacted One while she was on video to post nude pictures of herself, despite her not being comfortable posting pictures of this nature.
Oh! Wait a minute! So you mean, like, your friend didn't want to be known as the guy who fucks you, so you sent her nudes around to everybody? Is that, I'm sorry, is that not comparable, chat? Did we not find another little connection there?
Conversation, Bob7 hops into a call with Bose where he screen shares the conversation and reveals the nude pictures posted in the call. Bose later reveals to Melina in their conversation on January 2nd that she saw both the conversation and the nude pictures posted, and further provides an explicit detail of the nude pictures in a later conversation on the 3rd with Austin listening. Checking through Bose's call history with Bob7, there is also evidence, so I went through and I looked through the logs to see what was going on. There is evidence that immediately after we had finished streaming and Melina and Redacted One and Bob had finished talking, Bob7 does have a call. He's talking about the call up here, and then he has a call with Bose. This is where he shared the nudes. It was during one of these two conversations where he screen shared the nudes as he was going over the conversation with Bose. Bose also took screenshots of previous screen shares in the past, confirming to me that Bob7 indeed made it a habit of screen sharing conversations he'd had with other people.
Yeah, so I think we get the point, guys. Do we get the point? Yeah, I don't know. It seems like this guy
So Bose realized, like...
I hate to tell you guys, but I don't think his axioms are grounded. Chat, do you think his axioms are totally grounded? I don't really know what's going on. I don't know. The goalpost? I don't know.
Going on, so it's like, you know, there's like, it kind of calls into question. I mean, even people are saying like, oh, Mr. Girl was right. You know, it calls into question his entire history in a way. I mean, it's, you know, it's not just a question of you and him are just buddies, right? You're business partners. He's a public figure. He's a public commentator where he talks about other people's actions. Like, do you think that's a huge concern?
Yeah, but the issue, it just is no longer like, the issue is like, this isn't a moral concern. This is now like business advice. Like if anyone said, do you think it's bad business strat? Probably to some degree, I suppose. Like it's probably better that I diversify and like look elsewhere because he is a brand risk. The issue is that like,
yo, she's such a good friend to stay with Steven right now. She should probably look to be hired elsewhere because Steven is kind of a brand risk, but she's going to stand by her friend. Oh my God. I can't. I can't, dude. This is just so ridiculous.
Steven does bad things. Steven was a piece of shit. He was negligent in this situation, right? He wasn't trying to hurt anyone, but he should have known better, and he does know better. And actions have consequences. And the reality is, like, I wanted to see this resolved in a better way for everyone, right? That's obviously like what I wanted. But when I was thinking about essentially like how I want to manage friendship versus business, I basically decided that when it comes to like business and friendship, there are certain things that I have to draw the line on because I want to run like a treatment center in the future. And I like, even friendships can't come before that because that's why I'm in social media, is to like gain the money and the network necessary to fund that without having to rely on like churches.
Dude, remember I actually made the treatment center joke a little too early, but yeah, she's trying to fund a treatment center, guys. You got to let her keep working with this dude.
Basically. But I also decided that I want to act with my friends in the stream.
Yeah, this is fucking crazy. This is absolutely nuts.
The way that I would act if the public eye wasn't like looking at everyone and there wasn't like optics and narratives that I had to like obsess with, because I feel like so much of relationships on the internet get monetized in a way that just like
people are telling me this is a good conversation. Like, what is going on?
It's this like incredible like loneliness and isolation, and I'm just not willing to do that to my friends. And so like business strategy wise, would it be better if I like dropped Destiny or not? Like there's probably arguments on either side. There's probably some people would be like, actually it wouldn't because he's such a huge platform. Actually it would because he's such a brand risk. And I think all that's valid. But I think fundamentally the question that I've been operating with in this whole situation to this point has been, how do I want to conduct myself with my friends? Like how would I treat my friends if there wasn't going to be public scrutiny on top of this? Because I don't know. I guess that's the only way I can sleep myself and like in my mind, like have.
It just feels so fucking fake to hear her talk. It just feels so fucking fake.
Some level of like consistency in how I treat people, because my friendship is going to be determined fundamentally by like who's in trouble now, right? And I don't know if you ever like watch the Amber Heard Johnny Depp stuff, but it's like who's in trouble now shouldn't be the way, if I was close to Amber Heard or to Johnny Depp, shouldn't be the way that I engage with them as like a friend. I should try to figure out like what happened, what went wrong, what do you feel accountable for, and like trying to get as much information as possible. And speaking out when your friends do something wrong.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, I think it'd be good to get into the text. Is it about time, you think?
Yeah, we can do that.
I don't think the text stuff is really important.
All right. So the first one we have here, I'm just going in order from the Beckett video, is this one where looks like Pixie says, did you end up talking to Steven? And you say, not yet. Coleman canceled, so I ended up not coming in, but we'll be there Saturday. You're hinging a lot of my conversation with him.
Shred's gonna have a field day when he gets back. Yeah, dude, the content nuke got delayed just for him, dude, clearly.
Other than what I mentioned, is there anything you were hoping to be brought up? So is this prior to you, is this in between when you met with her in person and when you were going to talk to him about this stuff?
There we go. Okay, found it. Okay, did you end up blah, blah, blah? No, not yet. Let me see. Other than what is mentioned, is there anything you were hoping to be brought up? Does it continue on? I'm not sure what's leaked.
Person?
Who is Bunty King?
So
Nicholas DeOrio?
I don't know. It looks like a lot of it's not totally in order. The next one I have is a very long one, where it's her saying, I think I'm going to decide my next course of action of what to do with myself and him based on how that conversation goes. Unless if you decide you don't want to talk to him, that's okay too. That looks like the next one that I have. I'll check the Beckett video one more time to see if there's one in between these two, but I think that these are, at least from the video, these are the ones that I have in order.
I'm just sending to you this order just because there's no like names mentioned in here.
Yeah, so the first one I have is, did you end up talking to Steven? Okay, so...
These are all public anyways, I think, right?
Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. So this is your perspective. She says, I'm thinking to decide my next course of action of what to do with myself and him based on how that conversation goes. Unless if you decide you want to talk to him, that's okay too. Basically, I have my plans and course of action paused, and we'll choose something depending on if he agrees he has to make up and repent for the actions and wants
These are all the messages we've already read. There's not really much here.
to work with me.
I might kind of dip through this, to be honest.
Do that, or if he doesn't feel that way, I don't want to talk to him myself because I feel like I tried explaining what I was feeling and he didn't really understand. I also have a little anxious voice in my brain telling me to prepare for the worst because he probably won't care or doesn't care enough to willingly try to make up for his mistakes, and that means I'll have to start thinking of more extreme and nuclear options to deal with. But I'm trying to avoid spiraling down that line of thought because I'm trying to hold out hope. And then she says, and is this directly the next message, this one that you show, where she says, and just to not scare you?
Yes, that's directly next.
Okay. Just not scare you. I'm 100% not going to do anything to myself, no matter what he says during holiday season, because I don't want to traumatize my friends during a time I'm supposed to be happy. And even if he responds negatively, it doesn't mean I'll auto-kill myself. I'm trying to contemplate all different courses of action, including going public. And then if I can't take the amount of public humiliation, then myself versus my plan before of scheduling a note for after I die.
Wait, I think you're making a mistake with how you're interpreting Kyla here. How? Oh, it's Anna. Oh, hi, Anna. I was wondering if you still think I'm batshit insane. Honestly, I was kind of floating the idea of actually probably sending you a message and apologizing. I've asked somebody this week if I should reach out to you. Is that actually... yeah, Kimmy. I think that is Anna's new name, right? Kimmy Marie. Am I completely off about that? I would be happy to talk to you offline at some point. Unironically, if you would like to do that.
I'm also still looking into lawyers, but I just want to see what he says before deciding to do any nuclear option. And you said, can I share this with Steve? He communicated to me he knows he fucked up. There's no excuse at all, and he doesn't know what he can do to make it up. I'm trying to bridge between to help him understand what would make you feel that he understood he was wrong and should never do this again. So, I mean, this is essentially just you guys talking about how to take the next step, her talking about her suicidality, and how this is making her feel.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any confusion. The reason I'm asking if I can share this with Steven is explicitly because the biggest issue in all this is her consent has been violated. So when I'm saying, can I share this with Steven, I'm getting her consent to like screen cap it and send it to Steven.
Okay, gotcha. Let's see here. So the next one I have here is, it looks like...
oh, I don't even have the
you
react
saying,
on thing.
Gotcha, thanks for not sugarcoating anything about where you're at. I think what we talked about as what you needed is...
Nick got snubbed in the manifesto mention? What do you mean? Who's Anna? Anna had a very long-standing... I think... I took a shot at Anna in like a video in 2020. That's how far back this goes. So yeah, I would like to have a conversation with her.
Help removing the video from online, getting the guy who hacked charged, in a sense that Steven understands how in the wrong he was and a plan to prevent this from ever happening again. Is that what you feel you need?
So in between that, what's missing?
I was also extremely annoying in her chat.
I'm not sure if you don't have it. So after I say, can I share this with Steven? He communicated to me he knows he fucked up, blah, 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 blah.
Oh my God. I fucking remember Merle. Oh my God. This is a whole other thing. This is a long time ago. This is a while ago.
Read. Or better, what can I share with him? So I re-clarify. She says, you can share this and anything you want with him. I feel like when we talked, you really understood where I was coming from and can hopefully explain this better than I can. That is in between. So after she says that she feels like I understand her and I can communicate better, that she appreciates it, I say, gotcha. Thanks for not sugarcoating anything and where you're at.
Do you mind if I see that one that you described?
Yep. I tried to send it, but I'll send it again. So this is all of them in order, and then I sent the one that I just read. So the last one is going to be... I think it's
all right.
Yeah, it's like...
I gotta put these on screen.
So this context sounds like it's missing.
So this is the in-between one, okay.
Is there anything other than messages here, or are we pretty much done? Messages, 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 messages. And then the end of the convo. I mean, I kind of think that Sunday's messages are kind of out of context. And I do think it paints it in a more sinister light. That's not something I really contest.
Are you asking for? If I'm like talking to him like on your behalf, like what are you looking for? At the time she didn't say specifically money. It was just one thing she thought of, but she wasn't bent on it. This is me clarifying because we had that conversation. That's specifically what she's wanting.
Like I really don't have much to add to this part.
Now is for him to lose money because that's different than what I had understood.
The end is amazing. Wait, why? Is there something else that happens? I thought that was kind of it.
Let's see here. You think about anything because I'm happy to communicate what you need broadly, a sense of justice. I'm not sure what I think about the specifics of money and punishment in this case. Not saying you're wrong. It's just the tone has changed from our previous conversation. So this is you just kind of dealing with her, sort of not totally knowing what she wants at the time, which I guess is fair from her.
Well, specifically when I started hearing, so I think at this point we've had a phone call maybe once or twice, and I start hearing the $1 million amount, and I'm not comfortable with that. I don't think that I don't think that's going to give her anything that she's looking for.
You know what's important to point out? I didn't realize this either. At some point, I think in Destiny's statement, he said that the money amounts that we were hearing, like she wants X amount of dollars, she wants this, she wants that, those money requests and stuff like that were never actually to her. They were always like through third parties or through messages or like fucking blowing smoke in chat. So she never actually requested like $1 million from Destiny either, which again, my understanding of how this was all going is that she'd already made like a huge request to get law school paid for. And as soon as I fucking actually had the information in front of me, thank God that I didn't intentionally go public with this stuff. It was Chaeiry who put that into the ether. That wasn't even her.
Know that she's never going to receive it. I don't think that that's like a good direction for her to go.
Not gonna lie, it's reasonable. Oh, I think she should get fucking paid. I fully agree with that.
But also, if that's the direction she wants to go, she should. The main thing is I can't be I can't be the one communicating that. I can't mediate that because
at this point, Erudite realizes this is probably like the worst possible time to fucking communicate.
Asking like for $1 million from another one of my friends, and it's not something that I necessarily like feel comfortable with. So I'm saying in this specifically, like I'm not sure if I'm comfortable communicating this part because it's no different than I understood, but I was comfortable communicating everything else to him.
Okay, yeah, and because she says, I'm not sure about the specifics regarding money or punishment. I believe in rehabilitation, but part of rehabilitation is penance. The person understands what they did is wrong, takes corrective course of actions to help pay penance to the victims. So and then I think the following one here is she says, I just want to know he'll never do this again, and this is like the biggest mistake of his life, basically.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I told Sunday that, and I thought he agreed with me, but in the video, she's like an extortioner. So that's my favorite part of it. It's like, yeah, she deserves to get paid. Then all of a sudden, when the video comes out, it's like, she's a bad person. She's a suicide-baiting extortionist.
For using you as an intermediary, I can send these messages and conversation to him myself too. I just feel like if he tells me too directly, it would be emotionally harder to handle than if I heard it from you. But I totally understand if that's not something you're comfortable with, and I'm sorry to put you in an uncomfortable position.
Sorry, my fucking main browser keeps like giving me the render thing. I need to switch over to Edge again. I try to use Chrome and Edge because then it'll fuck up both. But for some reason, there's like a memory leak error.
To financial compensation, but I don't think you really understood the concept of proportionality of the action since he asked if there were any bills that he could pay.
Let's see here. So we've got this message you sent. Let's see here. It looks like her talking about the idea of maybe taking it criminal, but that she didn't want to do that because the justice system is horrible. She says, starts with willing to figure out what this means to both of us, / in a manner that makes sense to both of us. I don't want to cause unnecessary harm or suffering to Stephen. I want to know he'll never do this again. I think we'd be most effective at doing so, or jail, but I don't want him to go through criminal court because one, our justice system is horrible, getting people to change their behavior. And I feel like it'll be overkill, but I totally understand if you don't want to talk to Stephen about this. I'm just putting it off because the answer is either one, yes, I agree with this course of action. Let's talk about what this would look like in a way that makes sense for both of us, or two, no, I don't agree. I don't want to do that, which then it becomes an, okay, now I have to go to court and figure this out. So we've got that. Yeah, I think that's the majority of the stuff from you specifically. To go over.
All right, so do they get back to the convo? Oh, all right, let's go back to 1.5.
The reason why I said fuck Erudite and fuck Destiny is essentially, I guess in my mind, this is a little too far for me to want to be, I don't know, buddies with someone. Seeing that they sent a chick's nudes around. I mean, maybe if he was like 16 years old and he was in high school, I would be like, okay, well, I don't know, 16-year-olds are fucking rich, but I don't know. He just seems a little bit too old to be doing this, in my opinion. It seems to be an extremely precarious situation he's constantly getting himself into with his dick, with these random women. It just seems like very bad. And I guess I do see it as very, I understand you're trying to help.
I guess, Anna, I see in chat you're saying, I empathize with Kyla wanting to remain friends with Destiny. I also understand there's two different things that are working against each other here. There's the friendship angle, like the two people want to be friends together, or there's the business relationship. There are two people who are, one person, like they're both in a business together, right? So if she's willing to leave if the Chaeiry allegations turn out to be true, because that's what she said so far, is that she doesn't know if she could stay friends with somebody who records people without their consent. But obviously, we haven't quite reached that part yet for the allegations being confirmed. I guess, like, my argument is, why not now? If she's already 1 foot out the door, if this Chaeiry stuff turns out to be real, why not just leave now? Because what's happening now is bad enough. But again, we're talking about this from more of a business perspective. I think that you can do both. I think that you can leave the job that's like with this compromised person and then like also seek to like rehabilitate them on a personal basis. I think that we're conflating the two. Stand on business, yeah.
Pixie out, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I don't think he's someone to be taken very seriously. Or honestly, you by extension for, trying to, I don't know, like sticking by him throughout all this and like, I don't know. I guess it just leaves a very, very bad taste in my mouth. I guess it's something that's hard to communicate. It's a little bit of an emotional thing, but I think that's how a lot of people are feeling. It's just like it's a very fucked up situation. It's very.
I think the interview was done well. I think Tom asked the questions in a monotonous voice with absolutely little to no pushback. Wasn't done well. Again, I keep arguing this. I think that everybody thinks that every debate or interview should be blood sports. It's infinitely more valuable for me, the watcher, to get an interview where they just talk for an hour and a half and I learn a bunch of new information. But it's infinitely better for you, the content viewer, if we're interacting on a stream or something and I get to just sit here and watch some 10-minute blowout where somebody's screaming at somebody else. It's not great for content in the short term, but I get a lot more out of it and we learn a lot more if they kind of take it slow and just let her talk. And I've always kind of taken that approach. People got mad when I talked to Keffels for that reason. And it was like, yeah, I want to hear what she has to say. It's like that's the content. That's the use case.
I think that's fair. And I think if people feel like they can't associate with him anymore, I genuinely understand that. Like, that's not something I would criticize others for. And I think there are others that are in your position. I just understand. That's just fundamentally like not where I'm at. I'm not willing to forward this specific thing. And it's also something like Pixie and I have talked about, like at some level of length. I don't know if it's meaningful, but like one thing she hasn't been asking for in part is to like cut people off. I think if she asked, I'd have to think about it. I don't know what I think. I have literally no idea. But I don't know. I guess the main thing is like, I think it's fair for you to say that you disagree with my choice to side with Steven. I think what's not fair to say, which is like spreading everywhere, is that I'm like going out of my way to like gaslight a girl, manipulate her, and to convince her to not go public and like to do Steven's dirty work. When it's like, it's such an unfair representation of me. Like I've been calling and checking in with her like every 2 days. We talk on the phone pretty often.
And it's like, I don't doubt that she like talks to Pixie and has kind of stayed in touch with Pixie. I don't think any of this stuff is like up for...
Like my whole orientation in all of this is helping her. And I guess I fundamentally believe like, I think some...
Hail Robert, how will this affect Tipster's legacy? Oh, Tipster's here. Oh God, Tips in 2025, Tipster is talking to Anna in my chat right now. This is fucking insane, dude.
Be like Destiny.
What a crossover.
It's in a lot of trouble with his dick and is interpersonally, I think, really retarded, is probably going to be better off with people who care about him and will like confront him on it, but also not just like drop him. But I think if other people want to drop him, like I wouldn't say that you're a bad person for doing that. It's just not something I'm willing to do yet. And like maybe I'll be wrong, maybe I'll be by my words, but I'm not doing it out of this like willy-nilly, just like 2 week. I'm doing this out of like a decently principled stance, which is that typically like I don't give up on people. I think the argument like he's just too old. I'm like, that's fair. It's just tough because
he's just too old. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, Erudite. You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Clients that it's like, I don't know, not a lot of 45-year-olds doing a lot of stupid shit. Because like, I don't know, trauma and like problems associated with being a fucked up person don't just like go away because you're older. They just like come out in different ways.
Why do you care about this guy so much when he doesn't seem to care about, anyone else, at least enough to not share their news around?
I guess because I see actually tons of markers of him caring about people and also being negligent and bad when it comes to sexual relations. I see tons of...
Wait, he's bad when it comes to sexual relations? Like, all these arguments are ridiculous. I'm sorry, this is crazy. He cares about people in other ways, unspecified ways. Dude, I just...
evidence of him caring about people.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that answers most of my
I've
questions.
seen evidence of him caring about people despite the fact that he just leaked this girl's nudes. This is just not the time to be talking like this. There's a time for rehabilitation. It's not like the day that you guys find out that people know about it.
Is there anything else you wanted to say before I end off the recording?
I guess, do you feel like it is fair in this situation? I guess, what do I do about this? The entire time I've been reaching out to my friend. After the conversation I had with her the first time.
Well, I guess it's a little late to say it, but my recommendation is to certainly not do an interview.
I don't respect you. So I respect
I think Kyla and Dan put their foot in their mouth a lot. That's my most charitable take.
She reconnected with a friend she had cut off and was willing to go and see her friends and start calling them more often and basically made a commitment to like being safe. That's where
and the answer, by the way, is to not work with Destiny in the future. That is objectively the correct answer. Because if her justification is he needs to be just a little bit worse than he already is, then the answer should be he's bad enough, it's time to go. If that's the line in the sand, it's, well, if the Chaeiry stuff turns out to be real, I'll walk. No, now should be good enough. Is there anybody in the chat who doesn't think that, like, it should be career ending? to violate his friend like this for a random woman online? Does anyone who think that like people should watch Destiny and continue to support Destiny moving forward if it stops right here and we don't learn another single bad thing about him? Like, let's ignore the Melina stuff. Let's ignore the concept of like the grinder hookup. Let's ignore all that shit, dude, right? What happens in that case? I still think it should be career ending.
I mean, the safety commitment is well. I'm doing my best to help my friend because I think that she was wronged here and she's done nothing wrong here. And I also confronted the friend that I think
So why doesn't Erudite? And that's the question. Why does Erudite not think that this should be career ending?
Did a wrong thing, but I also am trying to like push and encourage him to change. I've disagreed with him and fought with him on a couple of things about being like, you should do this. You need to be doing this. I don't understand a world where like these actions lead to people going like, you're a bad human being. And
I think the way people see it is like you're trying to mitigate the situation with Pixie because you are financially interested in continuing your relationship with Destiny for a profit, basically. I think that's the way that a lot of people see it. Because obviously you guys have a business.
Yeah, but if that's the case, why did I say to Fairy Queen she could leave the comment up? I just asked her to remove the identifying part about Pixie. Like, none of my actions have been about covering.
Because if you did say that, then it would like compromise you, and then you'd lose even more than you're losing now. Guys, if I did just want to do this for profit, why would I do another self-serving thing that helps me publicly and hurts like, okay.
We're preventing people from talking about it broadly. It's been from, like, all it's been about is addressing people talking about Pixie specifically. Like, I've never in any world not wanted people to talk negatively broadly about Steven being an idiot and like negligent.
Oh, by the way, again, Steven being an idiot and negligent is a drastic undersell of what actually occurred. Like, this is just, it's diminishing the allegation.
It comes to like things, to people's trusts in sexual dynamics. Like, I've never been opposed to anything concerned about that. I don't ban like general comments and talks about it. I explicitly with Fairy Queen asked her to not talk about things that could narrow the scope of who it was, particularly because at that time, most people didn't quite know who it was. I didn't look at the leaks, but when I would like listen to like Reservoir or other people, I kept hearing like, I'm not really sure who it is. I'm not really sure who it is. Even like, shout out to like Queenman, even though we kind of hate each other, he had like the good grace when he was covering us to like be pretty mindful of not making it clear who were in the leaks. Like that's been my behavior the entire time. Like nothing really defers.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. That's why, you know, I obviously
At the same time though, it was all right there on Kiwi Farms. So that just shows who actually doesn't, like, none of these people actually read it, but I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if you know this. I had heard about this stuff for a few weeks. I didn't really have any direct confirmation until a couple of days ago, but I had heard about this stuff going on, but I wasn't going to cover it. Firstly, because, you know, it was just an allegation at the time. There was no evidence of anything. But secondly, I was under the impression that Pixie didn't want it to get out. And then all of a sudden, I'm in the middle of streaming and I see President Sunday and Copency either drop videos identifying Pixie.
Slimy Weasley
fuck now, I guess. But
correct me
you know,
if
that's
I'm
when
wrong.
she made her
but
statement.
if Erudite leaked her nudes to other people as well, Pixie should be going after both Destiny and Erudite for leaking her nudes, not just Destiny. Just my opinion.
What is Bunty King to you?
If Erudite leaked,
who is Bunty
wait,
King?
what?
Nicholas DeOrio?
I'm sorry, sleep paralysis gremlin. My brain is broken. If Erudite leaked her nudes to other people as well, Pixie should be going after both. I don't think Erudite leaked the nudes. That didn't happen. Oh, did the Rangers just win? That didn't happen. Sleep paralysis gremlin, I think you're asleep, buddy. That did not happen. I don't know why that.
Which is interesting. Do you know why? I guess one question would be, Beckett had an original.
Will Dr. K session... Dude, could you imagine if Destiny's fucking rehabilitation was him having to do fucking streams with Dr. K to talk about, like, his sex addiction for a month? Unironically, that would be, like, fiendish content to hear Destiny have to talk to fucking Dr. K.
Statement, it seems like, from Pixie, where she implicated, kind of Dan Saltman and said that he told her not to make it public. Do you know why that was in the original one, or maybe why it was removed in the final?
I have no idea. I definitely don't talk to Dan about, like, I just have a very strict business relationship with Dan.
Okay, gotcha. But you didn't talk to Pixie about maybe what she may have talked to you about?
I didn't actually know that was in there. I haven't like gone through all the videos today. I've been traveling, as you said, and I've mostly been like trying, like I spent the whole morning trying to be like, is she safe? She said, because she told me originally that if she went public, or she had to go public, she was going to kill herself. So I like spent most of the morning trying to be like, how, if she potentially doesn't feel like, I didn't know if she had leaked the stuff about me. So I was like, I don't know if she feels comfortable with me, but somebody needs to check on her to like make sure that she's safe, because like Sunday painted her pretty terribly, which I think, well, she confirmed to me today, made her make the public post today to try to like clear her name.
Again, I keep bringing this up. I'm probably going to stop talking about this at some point, but it is so fucking like mind raping to talk to Sunday 4 days before the video. And it's like, my principled position is Pixie's safety and making sure this is handled well. And then like 4 days later, he puts out a video being like, I'm confident that Pixie is a suicide baiter, an extortionist, and she's keeping us from the truth or something. Like, that's just that is such a fucking nuclear lie
a little bit. And this is like the exact thing that she said, like, if this happens, like,
If I was a psychopath, which I'm not, and this wasn't enough to sway me.
killing myself. So I spent most of the morning, to be honest, like trying to figure out if there was any mutuals that were like willing to basically just like check on her and make that she's safe, and like trying and like going back and forth with Nick about being like, should I reach out to her? Like, I'm not really sure. Like, I'm really worried.
Kyla dug her way. Yeah, again, this is why, like, I hate to say this, and I'm going to say this, like, I'm not going to name you specifically, but there's a YouTuber who's been talking to me all day saying, like, I really like Kyla. I don't think she's doing anything wrong here. Well, then you should tell her to stop digging her feet into the sand and defending Destiny. And you're like, well, Nick, she's condemning Destiny this entire time. It's like, no, she's very much downplaying what actually happened.
What is Bunty King to you?
A person?
You'll find maybe 3 chatters in my entire fucking comment section right now who don't agree with the fact that she has been highly downplaying what has happened here, and she's obviously like jumping in to prove to people that she's actually a friend because she's upset with the way that she was portrayed in the Sunday video. The smartest thing you can do is get the fuck out of the situation and just not talk about this at all.
About her, I don't really want to make a public statement until I've talked to her and like seen where she's at. And so I spent most of the morning doing that. There luckily was a mutual friend that was able to connect with her and communicate, basically being like,
yeah, she's waving her finger at Destiny and telling him what he's doing is bad.
hey, just, you know, like, she didn't actually leak your stuff. She's like feeling really bad. Probably would love to hear from you, which is why I connected with her later. So I haven't spent most of the day like going through all the content on it. I asked Nick to do that. I've spent most of the day like trying to figure out
not me
where she's at, what's going on, and then something about like this Chaeiry stuff dropped, and I've been trying to figure out like what's going on there, because it would probably change. It could change like how I feel about
guys. This is so sad, guys, for Destiny's career. Can we get 5 big booms? Boom, boom, boom.
business going forward.
That's what Kyla should be saying right now in the stream. That literally is what she should be saying.
Depending on like what's occurred.
Chaeiry. I actually haven't seen this Chaeiry thing now. Do you know what her Twitter ad is? I assume that's where she posted it. Chaeiry. Is it like a Chaeiry, Chaeiry or something, right?
Yes.
She said, these adults who are financially tied, business partners, having the audacity to involve themselves, should not be allowed to pass judgment or question the behavior of others unreciprocated. You are not naive, you're not autistic. And she's showing a DM from Chaeiry, which says, nice, Kyla's being sneaky about this. Pixie contacted her and was kind of trying to use her as a liaison. I told her Kyla can't be trusted to help with that. Dan contacted Pixie a couple weeks ago as well. According to what she told me, he basically said, ask Steven for a reasonable amount of money and he'll probably pay it, and wanted to convince her, and wanted her to convince him to not take legal actions against KF, which he's considering. That's what Chaeiry said, implying Kiwi Farms there. And then include some other clips and different screenshots as well in this thread. Do you have any comment on that Chaeiry DM?
It really sucks. Like, I thought I was friends with Chaeiry, so super sucks to know that she's just like...
I mentioned this before. The Chaeiry person seems to have been trying to reach out to me. I do not expect to be responding to them.
Thinking I've been snaky the whole time. I don't know. I don't know. It's mostly really sad. It's really sad.
Is Chaeiry a she or a he? I don't know. I've only ever heard them referred to as Chaeiry. I don't have a face, a voice, or anything.
Can I not ask you nice enough?
Sent.
I don't.
So they're saying she with an X. It is she. Okay.
These DMs like against Pixie's consent to like probably my biggest internet harasser.
Was he considering taking legal action against Kiwi Farms? That's kind of being implied here.
Pixie?
Well, the DM from Chaeiry says, sorry, let me just send you a screenshot of it. This is what Chaeiry has.
I haven't seen this newest Chaeiry post yet.
Okay. It says, according to what she told me, he basically said, ask Steven for a reasonable amount of money and he'd probably pay it, and wanted her to convince him to not take legal actions against KF, which he's considering. So this is implying Steven's considering taking legal action against Kiwi Farms.
Wait, what? No.
Legal actions against KF. He basically said, ask Steven for a reasonable amount of money and he'd probably pay it, and wanted her to convince him to not take legal actions against KF, which he's considering. So this is implying Steven's considering taking legal action against Kiwi Farms.
That's fucking crazy. Dude, Destiny's literally like turning into Keffels.
You talk about that at all or no?
I haven't heard her mention any legal action about Kiwi Farms. I really only talked to Pixie and Steven.
I think this
Dan talked him out of it. Yeah, that's a suicide. That's literally a suicide move.
It says wanted her to convince him not to take legal action. So I think the implication is he wanted to take legal action against Kiwi Farms.
I think the first time the first time I heard it, I thought it was like she was going to sue Kiwi Farms.
That's what this DM would be implying.
I'm not really sure. There's, to be honest, when all this stuff drops, Steve and I also have a bit of a line. Like, I'm not talking about like a lot of the legal stuff, so I'm not sure who he's suing specifically. I'm not really sure.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, I don't think there's anything new regarding you.
Yeah, I guess can I ask?
This thread. Yeah.
Do you still think that I was trying to make her be quiet, despite like me explicitly not shutting down conversation? I can even look through DMs. I think I say to Pixie multiple times in other DMs, like explicitly, like whatever you like whatever you would like to do. If you'd like to go public, you can go public. Like, I don't know. It's just like
I can't really read your mind. So based on the DMs, it doesn't seem that you were trying to get her to not go public or go public. But I mean, obviously because of your relationship. What did you say?
By the way, I think Pisco also dipped today, and they were talking about it in the thing.
Like when you have somebody who's going through trauma, and this is like what I also told her, like if you're going through this, like you get to steer the ship. Like one of the biggest things of betrayal is that somebody took away consent from you. But you get to steer the ship. If you want to stay private, we stay. Like I take your lead from that. If you want to go public, I'm going to follow up with you and say like, what do you feel comfortable with me saying? What do you want me to talk about? She gets to steer the ship. Like I don't know, it's just frustrating. 'Cause I'm like, I guess like you can ask Pixie, but like I can even look for DMs. It's like the opposite is true. I not only like wasn't pressuring her to be quiet, I was explicitly not pressuring her to do anything except for whatever she would like to do.
Based on all the messages I've seen, it doesn't seem like you were pressuring her to stay quiet. Yes. Correct.
Did she just auto turn into 2x? What was that? I didn't do that. Did I?
Okay. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, this Chaeiry thread seems to be mostly just stuff that everybody's already seen, but
and so I guess when you say like you can't take me seriously,
she just talked faster. Someone's like, you turn on 2x? No, I didn't. She just went into like Eminem mode.
I guess I'm just like, I don't know how to take that. Like, do you basically think that like everyone should disavow Destiny? Like, should he be basically fully canceled? Do you think like even though I've done nothing, like my entire orientation with him behind the scenes has been like, I can give you receipts of this as well from like way back in the day where I was like messaging him like telling him he was wrong.
I don't know. I guess it's just like, to me it's like, how do you take someone seriously as a political commentator when like he's unconsensually sending people's nudes around? I guess I find it hard to take someone seriously in that position.
Ask you nice enough?
I think that's fair, right? But this is like, can you trust his political content going forward? Which is valid. I think that's.
Can you trust his political content? I think that's valid. No! No, you cannot! You cannot trust his content going forward.
Did I not ask you nice enough?
Probably an important business question for us to like answer.
Oh my god! And she goes right to business.
Trust his political content going forward.
Bad guy slop content host. Nick and his chat have the most decent and empathetic take on this.
Thank you.
Massively based.
The video is in 2x? No, it's not. It's in 1.5. Hold on. Did something glitch out? That says 1. That says 1.5.
I think that's probably an important business question for us to like
This
answer.
is 2x.
But I don't know like why that implicates my character.
Well, I mean, we work with him. Like he's the reason why you exist. He's the whole reason for your business partnership, for like Bridges podcast, like all of that shit is like because of him, right?
I agree.
You're an extension of the Destiny community.
Dude, if you can't trust this guy with your fucking nudes, what can you trust him with? Seriously, it's a real fucking... If you can't trust this guy with your nudes, why do I care about his take on Palestine?
Running the community is messaging e-girls from his community nudes of other girls from his community that he's like farming, which actually brings me to another thing that I guess I wanted to talk about, which is something I was just looking into. So I saw this post. This is from a year ago on the Destiny subreddit. It's from February 21st, 2024. It says, I'll send you the post right here. It says, Destiny addressing the canvassing complaints just to address them. It says, there's a conversation between Jacob, Lonerbox, and Erudite and Destiny on the complaints raised by some women in the canvassing event about being constantly hit on by the guys taking part in it, not being able to just exist without being approached by them, which can cause them to potentially not participate in future events. Destiny introduced very early on.
What? I never heard that there was an issue with the canvassing. Jesus.
The conversation, the idea that any gender-centric space will inherently push away the other gender, regardless of what's done to make it accessible. He says, if it starts with 1 female and 9 males, it should never go past that 1%. Yeah, the conversation continued, bouncing the idea of Bumble law, where guys would be prohibited from asking women out unless they ask them first, and consider telling participants to keep it professional, like in a work setting. Both of them were shut down. Essentially, I guess what I'm kind of getting at here is it seems like this is an all thread regarding sexual harassment complaints, I guess, or weird conversation complaints with women at a DGG canvassing event. In the leaks, there are 2 videos involving Pixie. There's one that's solo, and a 3.
Wait! I'm confused. What? Guys, a second Pixie video has hit the tower? There's 2? This was something that he did twice? What do you mean? I literally just learned this for the first time.
With another orbiter, which is straight raid. People are Pixie. There's one that's solo, and a threesome with another orbiter, which is straight raid.
That's not real, is it?
People are claiming, basically, based on the evidence, that at least one of those videos occurred during a canvassing event. The link in this Reddit post, right here, if you click it, it leads to a stream where you and Destiny...
Who said Tom did a bad job? I just learned a new thing.
We're talking about the harassment claims, and it seems like Destiny didn't want to make overt rules about flirting with co-canvassers. And people are kind of speculating that the reason why this is happening is because he'd no longer be able to use canvassing events as vehicles to have sex with fans and orbiters. This, to me, is tying into this greater idea of like fucking fans is one thing, but like he's fucking fans and then unconsensually sending videos of fans to other fans, and it's at the...
So wait, he's bringing these people out to canvas, fucking them, recording them, and then sharing the videos? Kyla, what are we gonna say, Kyla? Is this worse?
Canvassing events, which is part of his political thing, so it's like it's all kind of wrapped up.
He's consensually recording them at canvas events. I mean,
so I guess I'm just like, once again, this like leads into like my whole thing about like taking it seriously, right? It's like, what is going on here? What's going on with Pixie? Like, it's not like you can just divorce like these two ideas. Like, this is the political commentary. This is what is going on here. Like, this is all tied up in his content, in his canvassing events.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to go back to like your initial statement, just like I'm an extension of the community. I guess I don't like I have a podcast with him. I'm not an extension of Steven. I disagree with him regularly. When we have interpersonal disagreements, I handle it privately.
He's talking about the same links and linking them in a new post. So it's only one video. Queeman says it's not that. So there is only one. Remember that he admitted to having blackmail fetish? I don't know. Nick, the takeaway is the video of Pixie that got leaked is filmed at the canvas. Oh, okay. So there's not two videos. So Tom is just wrong. He should probably clip that out then.
I have no idea if he was hooking up with, in fact, if they're talking about Ohio, I'm pretty dubious. I'm pretty sure I was around.
No, he's correct? I don't know. I'll look at that after. I'd rather say no, it's one for now and then correct myself later. Because if I say two and it's actually one, that's probably worse.
Because those two were...
There's a threesome video, but it's not clear if it's Pixie. Okay, that's our... Okay.
Were working, with me on that event. I'm pretty dubious that it was taken. I don't know for sure. I wasn't there, obviously. I have no idea. And I don't know. I didn't even know that leak.
I think you misunderstood what he said. How? He literally said there's two videos of Pixie.
This leak existed. Like I said, I haven't looked at them. I genuinely would be very suspect that it was taken at the canvassing event, just because of how often I was with.
Well, it sounds like Tom is commenting on the fact that he's complaining about people being misogynistic, but he himself is doing this shit. I get that that's the point. I'm just confused at where the second Pixie video has come from.
Both of them, and then all three of them, in public spaces. Pixie and Aaron had each had their own rooms. Aaron was sharing a room with multiple people. There was this full streamer house, and the one night that I remember Steven hanging out with just a few creators alone, he was hanging out with Jasmine Jafar and Relevant. They were just talking. I think they just went back to his thing to talk, and I think maybe Lauren De Laguna went as well.
Okay.
So if it happened maybe the day after, I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure. I would be very surprised. I don't know when they found time, if I'm being honest. They were working all day, so.
Okay, so you don't think it was happening at the canvassing events?
I don't know. I'm very dubious that it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that was the last specific thing I wanted to talk about.
Destiny always has an orgy room for his canvassing events. Great. That was a meme for the record. Don't quote me.
Include my opinion, yes, I don't think that you were trying to keep Pixie silent, based on what I've seen. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, people will come up with some other thing that I haven't seen that will show me that.
All right, so from what I gather from chat, there are two videos. One of them is definitely Pixie. They're not sure if the other one is Pixie. And the threesome video is the one where they're not sure. And then one or both of the videos was filmed at the canvassing event.
If that's what your goal was with convincing me personally, and probably a lot of the audience by extension, I think you just succeed in that. Obviously beyond that point, people probably criticize you for associating with Destiny at all, but yeah, I think that's about all there is to that. Is there anything else you want to say before I end the recording?
No, I guess mostly I just I appreciate you giving me the time to listen to me. I would appreciate if people I don't know, it feels very icky to always be viewed as just this necessary extension of Steven. I don't like this idea that if I'm friends with somebody, that means I'm agreeing with all of his actions and behaviors. I think there are some things that are non-negotiable, but I acting like these things are objectively agreed upon, and that everyone just knows what these are. And it was pretty unfair. I think the way that people have responded to Pixie, smearing her and trying to paint her as an extortionist, has been really gross.
Shout out President Sunday.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, the most important thing, even when you're making this, is to just be mindful. If there's anything that I say that you're don't know if that will cast Pixie in a bad light, I prefer it excluded. And I guess.
All right, I don't think there's anything else to this. Is there anything else? There's a minute left. This is all kind of run of the mill shit.
I don't know. The disproportionate level of hatred and vitriol that I feel I've been getting for staying silent when the victim asked me to, telling a friend that he was wrong and trying to mitigate a solution for the friends, and then stepping back when that solution wasn't working and they were going to legal things. I just don't know what else they're expecting from me.
It's because your friend did something that's indefensible that should be career ruining, and you shouldn't stand by him. It's super simple. This is not a hard concept. It's actually, I don't know. I just see it comes off extremely spineless. Yeah.
Especially as most people who believe in rehabilitative justice, I suppose. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I guess it is what it is.
Why are you mitigating? Yeah, it's all the same shit. You're downplaying weird things. You shouldn't be the mediator between your boss and your friend. And I'm sorry, you're not even boss. You guys are in business together as equals. So that's also a significant issue. There's just so many things that she's done wrong here, and then she ends off with guys, I'm getting way too much hate.
Best to try to live by my principles.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Well, on the recording. Thank you for coming on the show.
Ugh.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Jesus Christ. Was that film live? I assume that was private, and then it was brought back. So there's a few more things I want to go over real fast, and we're going to pull them up, and there's a... Oh my god, dude. So now we have to start going through his response, which is not... This is what he's been doing all day.
Can I say something to you, Nick?
People can describe things however they want, like we did in 2024. My only real... Again, in 2024 is a month ago. People can describe things however they want, like we did in 2024. My only real area of interest is politics and stuff going forward. I've been out of the drama interpersonal game for a long time. They can all do that on Jewstalker's stream. Oh God, why did he pick J-Stalk as his name? Then he banned three people in a row. Then he said, sex therapy, lol W. Like I said, if I need sex therapy, then so do 100 other streamers. The reality is, ever since I started Vyvanse, my desire for any of these types of interactions has fallen off a cliff. And that's why all this shit is pre-2024. And pre-2024 is just like a year ago. It's a year and 20-something days ago. This is so fucking stupid. This is actually fucking unreal. Oh, I wasn't medicated yet. I didn't take my don't distribute potential revenge porn pills. The Tommy C pills, you thought that was the worst thing.
Did I not ask you nicely?
Holy shit,
I don't
dude.
respect you.
This is just ridiculous.
Oh no! What am I gonna do?
He didn't take his no revenge porn pills. Trias, the naturalized citizen one is pretty sweatstony, but I haven't read what legal scholars are saying about it. It's a little spooky that the Supreme Court is going to be evaluating so many constitutional matters. Then IP ban. Anyways, like I said before, I've definitely made mistakes and fucked up. All I can do is promise to do better and change my behavior going forward. I'll figure out and settle what needs to be settled in the background. If it's too much, then leave. If not, welcome to 2025. Then an IP ban. Yep. Then Destiny said, in fact, it's actually super epic and hilarious when vids of guys get leaked, or when you tweet out random sexual details like 15-2 to epically own them publicly. Does anybody know what 15-2 is? Bro really said everyone else does. Yeah, I mean, he just found his Axiom pills. What is 15-2? No idea. People were, I think J-Stalk knew what this was, but it's a Chaeiry meme. That's not true. Men are never damaged by any of this stuff. Pixie and the people behind her just want money. There's no dude, I'm sorry. Dude, did you just hear all the shit? All the shit that fucking Erudite just said about how Destiny wants to be a better person, and then it's Pixie and people behind her just want money, so there's no point in going after the hacker. He's just probably some broke loser anyway, so they won't even mention his name. So they won't even mention him. Oh my god. That's so fucking funny, dude. Oh, it's Destiny came 15 times and she came twice. Oh. I mean, yeah, she was fucking crazy for posting all that stuff. Destiny, anyways, I dumped all the Israel videos to August so those can finally get uploaded again. IP ban. There's a huge revenge porn angle for sure, but that's from a guy who dumped everything publicly, and anyone saying anything different is actually fucking retarded. I've never done anything maliciously, or any of that is insane. Lav, Mr. Rapist, Jew Stalker. Allegations say that's fucking retarded. My only crime is being too much of a gooner. This is just so pathetic. He's like dude, he literally can't even concede what he did. Oh, I was too much of a gooner in 2023 and earlier. What, you mean a year ago? Literally last year? 100% sure, though I can't say anything specifically. And it's just like, I'm reading all this stuff, and then they're like, guys, you don't understand. You don't understand, guys. You don't understand. Erudite's doing the right thing, guys. Erudite's doing so good right now. This is somebody who fucking is trying to be rehabilitated. This is somebody who's genuinely showing remorse and care for others other than himself. I'm actually like so fucking confused. Where are some of these messages? I need to find some of these. I need to argue with these people. This one was crazy. Look at this one. Private messages to a sex worker who he was trying to build a bridge with. Guys, Destiny was not leaking nudes without his former partner's consent, okay? He was trying to build a bridge with a sex worker, and it backfired. I don't know why that's so hard for you to say correctly. That's what this is what the Bridges podcast is. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's just such a funny answer. Bro doesn't know what leaked means. Sharing a picture of my friend's weird-looking cock with my girlfriend and us laughing at it is not leaking his pics. I hope that helps. I mean, this is like a sex pest adjacent take. It's just so weird. He didn't leak it. He intentionally shared it with a 19-year-old. I'm sorry. There's so many nice people from DGG who have been super reasonable about this. And then there's extremely weird, degenerate sex pests who are saying extremely weird, degenerate sex pest adjacent things. And there's really not like there's no real in between. There's just normal people and like weird sex pests.
You nice enough?
I don't respect you.
Destiny entered politics, created Vosh and Hassan, lost control of both of them, and then blew himself up. That's true. What is this? Hi, I need an expert psycho magician to explain where the remorseful part is. Queeman's on the money. He's on the money. Let me see. Nope, not that one. There were a few of these. Oh, God. Bro, you're really twisting this. You and J-Stock seem to be the only ones twisting this shit. You're kind of like Mr. Girl. By the way, you can't even say his name in GGG because it's like Voldemort, right? I don't know if you're really helping the victims at this point, but giving enough smoke to Destiny so he can move past it. I'm helping Destiny move past it? Me? I'm helping Destiny? Okay. Bro, you sound like those retarded lefties when they can't find any middle ground. If a dude gets drunk and kills 3 people, does that invalidate anything else he's done in his life? Should his family and friends completely repudiate him? I know you're young, man, but come on. So I sent I took his example and I just subbed in, instead of hot dog killer, I put drunk driver, and I sent him the entire 9 fucking paragraph thing, right? And then I said, and mind you, this is being said the day after the public found out. Destiny, who's IP banning victims, accusers, and former friends for a week, this week, talked about releasing more information on other streamers in retaliation, threatened his wife, locked down his subreddit, and took a break, is not really showing signs of wanting to be a better man. You sound delusional right now. Take a deep breath and try to be less reactionary next time. Why? All I said is, I need to turn off the Erudite interview because she sounds horrible. I have no idea how I'm going to react to this tonight. Well, I guess I do. She sounds like she's morally bankrupt and a coward, the duration that I've heard, which, again, I've heard it all now. It's kind of how it comes off to me. Let's see. She is morally bankrupt. Just because your moral system deals in absolutes doesn't mean it's correct. She gave the exact same opinion I'd expect from anyone who works in addiction counseling. Like, what is it? I understand why people are mad at sweepers. This is crazy. This is so fucking crazy. I hear you turn your charitability off and on in your voice when you talk about her currently. You'll really be understanding for people like Dan. By the way, Dan is subjected to significant portions of the criticism that I have delivered tonight. I will loop this back around. The problem is Dan didn't do an hour-and-a-half interview with fucking Tom like this. The Dan conversation wasn't great. It wasn't the best conversation ever, but Erudite's conversation was significantly worse. I haven't seen the one on J-Stock, to be clear, so he could have really bombed on J-Stock too. But from the one Dan conversation, the Kylo one is objectively worse. He did the stream, yeah. Dan is guilty of many of the same criticisms. So again, I put that up here. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is one where, let me see, look at this one. This was Nicholas DeOrio knew very early on about the non-consensual distribution of nudes, yet he and his clique, including Turkey Tom, knowingly remained silent about it. Absolutely, because we didn't have any proof that we could move forward with it. Nicholas DeOrio openly lied, attacked statements made by the first person who spoke out, Melina. Absolutely didn't do that. You can go watch the clip from today that was posted on the channel. We absolutely did not attack Melina at any point. Go watch the New Year's stream. It's not real. Discrediting her character. Didn't do that either. Muddying the water by bringing up irrelevant drama from years ago. Never happened. All to protect Destiny. When? I agreed with Chud Logic on that stream. You can go back and listen to it. I verbatim say, I agree with Chud Logic, and then I explained how you probably shouldn't be posting fucking revenge porn or leaking nudes or whatever without consent. Behind closed doors, Nicholas DeOrio has admitted how afraid he is of DGG. Not afraid of DGG. DGG literally can't do anything to me. I'm afraid of misrepresenting a story without any evidence, while publicly aligning with and enabling the rabid cult-like community and downplaying their insanity. Again, they're welcome to come here and leave a big fat dislike on the stream tonight. We're interacting with them all on social media right now. There are plenty of DGG people who've been super understanding, and then there are people like this person who's retarded. Lastly, when asked if he stands behind "I did this to protect the victims," while he himself has actively attacked the victim who came out about the story, literally never happened. As soon as it dropped, I apologized for being in President Sunday's video immediately. I reached out to them and spoke to them immediately. So again, none of this have literally ever happened, but cool. What did she say to make you think that she's morally bankrupt? Maybe that's because you're a social retard. If anybody gave a fuck about the victim, definitely not you, loser. It's Erudite. Then why are you downplaying what happened to her? Well, if it was worse, I'd really condemn Steven. Okay. She supported Pixie on the verge of her suicide and never defended Destiny's actions ever slightly. Her remaining there is inherently a defense of Destiny because it is a defense of Destiny's ability to continue to earn income from her work. Sorry. It's just the way that it is. Let me see. Are there any others that I need to pull in here? Anybody say anything about this? What is this one? I don't think she wants a payday. She wants you to have consequences. If you're wrong about her, she just fucked you over or whatever. Okay. Are you insane? She said nothing wrong in that interview and literally did nothing wrong to Pixie. You got your W by exposing Destiny and his horrible behavior, but now you're literally just shooting for the hip, trying to get another W. It's just like insane. Augie's right. They've literally just moved from Destiny to Kyla and will just infinitely defend Kyla. It's just so weird. How can you watch that interview and say that it's good? Yeah, she did sound terrible, but Pixie's opinion should matter. And again, I agree. I think Pixie's opinion is totally valid. And I think that Sunday took her out of context, but like that doesn't make the interview good. Hurry up, Chud's not around yet. Is it the one with Tom? She said what Destiny did is bad, but is willing to work with him to get him to change his behavior. I don't think that's cancel worthy. Again, I think that if people are not willing to like, if she's not willing to like fix this situation or whatever, or do the right thing, then I think it is totally cancel worthy. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Let me see. So we got another message here from Destiny. Oh, this is the 15 too. Bro, if you need to go on the sex offender registry, if I need to go on the sex offender registry, I'm taking 20 other streamers with me. And I said this earlier in the stream, but like, why do you know 20 other streamers that might end up on the sex offender registry or have done like extremely horrible things? Because I don't. Why? Maybe he doesn't have enough actionable information, I guess. Maybe that's the charitable take there. I don't know. But again, this doesn't scream, I'm super rehabilitated, guys. I'm trying to do the right thing here. This is like kicking and screaming on the way out. It's pathetic. What about this one? Radio Math, I agree with you for the most part. It's Jover in the sense that oh god, I hate fucking Twitter, dude. That a mass exodus of the community. And for like, so this person wrote, hey, yeah, it really sucks that like there's a mass exodus and he really did something wrong this time. And then Destiny IP banned him and said soy. Holy shit, dude. This is actually fucking gross. But yeah, when I see stuff like the other one where it's like I can name 20 other people, it's really like Destiny. Now, obviously, in response to Erudite, Chaeiry has come out and said Destiny's business partner, NotSoErudite, is claiming to support me. She has me blocked for well over a year now after she refused to engage with me after I confronted her and her husband's abhorrent behavior towards an SA victim disliked by Destiny. To this day, she refused to honestly acknowledge what happened. What she did had instead allowed others to harass me, call me crazy, obsessed, and jealous to avoid criticism. So Erudite, in her response, said, I learned about allegations to Chaeiry, I support her. And Chaeiry said the bitch hasn't even unblocked me, basically. That's her statement. Now, simultaneously, this clip exists, and it's uncomfortable. This is, I think this is a year ago, so it's not recent. But this is just a video of Erudite defending Destiny, and it's kind of funny. I'm going to play it.
Steven is like a really, really good person. Like, a lot of people think that the only reason I'm friends with him is because of like the personal benefits that I have. And that's actually in part why I never go on his stream, is because I'm worried that he and others will feel like the only reason I'm friends with him is because of what I can gain. But I just think he's a like deeply good person, even though he's a very flawed person as well. And he's a much better person than he gives himself credit for.
What is Bunty King to you?
And it makes me sad because he'll just like take other people talking like pretty horribly about him. And
See, this is pushing me towards retarded because she's completely delusional. This is not like, I mean, okay.
He's like, I mean, yeah, I have lots of flaws, and he'll just like own it. And I'm like, bro, if you were literally anybody else who's more shitty than you, you would be like demanding that people like see your side more. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. Obviously, he's like a good friend of mine, but I think Steven doesn't advocate for even how wonderful of a person he is. When I say good, I don't mean flaw, like no flaws.
It just keeps going.
Perfect. I mean, there's lots of flaws, but there's like a striving and an intentionality.
Why is this clip so long?
There, and maybe he hasn't always been that way, but since I've been interacting, I see like this intentionality to try to take responsibility.
By the way, the original audio for this has like some fucking person like like it's supposed to be like fucking like foaming out the mouth, but it really just sounds like whoever edited this. It really sounds like revenge porn is playing in the background, and it's not. It's just someone fucking like foaming out of the mouth.
To try to take responsibility and like to try to self-improve, and like goddamn, there's not a lot of people that are trying as hard as Steven is, and I don't know, I just really appreciate that about him and other people.
Yeah, I think it's just, I struggle because good is vague. If you're gonna ask me like, is Steven kind, I would actually say yeah, in a lot of ways he is. Like that's an easy one for me to define and like know what examples of that would look like.
It's just so fucking pathetic. I don't know. It's just so weird. This is a whole thread too.
Fucking help me.
Or anything.
You guys are like forcing me to fucking sweep for Steve. Listen.
Well, no, do it. Go for it. Like
you seem forced to do this frequently.
Okay. First of all, I would say that I'm pretty confident that everyone who was featured in these videos also sent videos of them and other people as well.
Okay, so that's great, Dan. That's awesome. Why, Dan? What the fuck? That's fantastic, Dan. That's great. I'm so glad that you... What a great argument. I think that everybody who goes on these streams with all these viewers should be required to build the stream from the bottom up, so they're just not retarded when it comes to these situations. This is actually insane that he said that. That is like fucking deplorable too. Holy shit. That is actually fucking brutal. What is this? Can I share something? Can I share this? Okay, we already read those. Yeah. This video above was taken shortly after Destiny divorced Erudite's friend. Oh my god, that was about Melina? These recent DMs where Erudite claims she knows the wishes of all the victims is to remain silent happened after the same friend start. So, I get that you're mad at me, that's fair. We got our so she like heard that the Melina divorce stuff was happening. And then she just dropped like a whole... Like that was after Destiny threatened his ex-wife on stream then? Or maybe it was before. Drawing more attention to it for the sake or whatever. Do you acknowledge that Melina claims Steven shared these videos without her consent? Have you confronted Steven privately about this? Will you disassociate with him for sharing another woman's sex tape without her consent? Gotcha. I'm not an extension of Steve. You are not a feminist? Again, like, this is the first time I'm seeing this right now. This is actually fucking ridiculous. This is, like, actually so fucking... Like, this is insane. I don't even like this person. This is depressing. I'm sorry. I don't see it. I don't know what DGG sees in this girl. That's fucking... It's so weird. Okay. Alright. Well, that's gross. Not helping the cult allegations, no.
Ask you nice enough?
That's brutal. That's a brutal thread by Chaeiry. Now, we're going to get to the allegations by Chaeiry. Keep in mind, I can't substantiate these. I've heard no evidence that any of this stuff is legitimate. The reason why we're even talking about it today with a, I guess, more of a... I guess the reason why we're talking about it is because, like, A, it's out there, it's in the public space, it's been reported on by news media, and B, Chaeiry is supposedly given a statement to the police. So this is an in progress thing. Today I was made aware of an intimate audio recording taken of me without my consent that was also shared without my consent. I'm upset right now. I'm going to give myself time to process. My understanding is that 2 people reached out to her saying, I've heard you have sex with Steven in like a recording or whatever. So I guess Steven is just sharing all these fucking videos around with tons of people, allegedly now. This is serious. The person who received these recordings from Destiny was not aware that I didn't consent to the recording. They recognized me by my voice and messaged me today out of concern. I don't feel comfortable sharing more right now. That was the first message initially. Then we moved on to Destiny has blocked me and banned me from, and all people supporting me from his community. This is obviously JStalk. This is JStalk. This is Chaeiry. And this is Pixie. So he's blocked the victim, the accuser, and the friend. So that's great. I have not done... If you were going to say, like, he's banned Chaeiry because Chaeiry's lying, well, he also banned Pixie, and she's not. So I have not done anything besides asking him for an explanation as to what I was assured this is something he didn't do to me. When I wasn't given one privately, I spoke publicly. I'm not involved in any lawsuit or coordinating with anyone seeking justice due to leaks in November. I thought they had my empathy and support. Though they have my empathy and support and efforts, it's only yesterday I became aware that Destiny had recorded me while we had sex without my consent. And while he had no regard for me, he also shared it with others. 2 women have now let me know they've received sexual recordings taken of me in September 2023 without my consent. Obviously not 2024, so he hadn't taken his Vyvanse yet. He didn't take his stop revenge porn pills. I thank them so much for their concern for me. No amount of public humiliation will ever make me regret being made aware of what's been done to me. Again, obviously, we've learned that Erudite will disavow Destiny for surezies after this drops, clearly. I'll be filing a police report and pressing charges. I will not post my own revenge porn online. I showed parts of it to my friend to show him what was sent to me and asked for help. He is now being harassed for supporting and believing me. I submitted my report and my evidence to the police this morning. It'll be filled within 3 to 5 days. Despite me trying to do my best, there was no certain way to submit the report and keep my identity anonymous in filing. Being public is the only reason I was able to find out what happened to me, but I'm worried about harassment moving forward, and I'm doing my best to do the right thing and also protect myself. And then lastly, I do not care if we're friends, enemies, or strangers. If we disagree politically and debated harshly, I don't care. If you have dismissed me, wrote me off as mentally ill in the past, or if I've made brutal criticisms of your behavior, I don't care. This is unforgivable. These are unforgivable crimes to me. I empathize with anyone who's insecure and concerned to throw stones in a glass house. Do not let this man scare you or threaten you into thinking that you're the same as him. Do not let Destiny make you think your silence or support of him up to this point or any point is a scarlet A on your name forever. I know it was done to me, and I know who did it. And this is obviously the post that we showed before. Now, again, I've been looking into Destiny's community. There's like the DGG community. And I mean, like, I'm seeing some, like, there are people who are pushing back, and then there's just really weird, degenerate shit. Let me see if I can find... I don't know who I sent this to. I was showing it to somebody, and I don't remember who got it. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's on my phone? Oh, my phone fucking died. Rip. Did I send it to Smaggle? I saw a poll. Yeah, look at this. Ready? This one is crazy. What Destiny did is super fucked up, but he's too important of a liberal influencer required to combat conservative talking points. And he should be given another chance, especially looking at our current political climate. Do you agree with this sentiment? Now, I can't vote, but it got 4,000 of them. And then someone said, the fact that yes is winning is reason enough for any woman to leave this community, even if Destiny is completely innocent. Like, I'm actually just completely shocked that, like, there's, like, a percentage of the audience that really thinks this way. It's actually extremely gross. And I think that behavior should be called out. It was, like, 60-40. Yeah, that's disgusting. 60% of the audience wants to sweep it up. So, cool. Very fun. Is there anything super important that I'd like to contribute to this? Nope. Adam something defending Vosh again? Guys, it's an election year. In 4 years, we have to do something here. Oh yeah, this is the... if you're wondering what that video was before that we played, Destiny the streamer posted it. It was, Steven, your abuse is sick. And you can pull it up here. It was posted, at the time I did this 44 minutes ago. And it was one of the first comments, but this is the one we were playing before.
Gonna make it on that podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why it's like a very hazy area. Where might as well be a 15-year-old to me. It's all the.
That's a crazy clip, dude. A 19-year-old might as well be a 15-year-old to me years before he did it. Thank you so much, BBB. I appreciate your 20. That's like unreal. This is like a couple years before he would film this sex tape with Pixie, and he's like, a 19-year-old to me is basically a 15-year-old. I'd never seen that before, neither did I. This Destiny the Streamer guy is a really good YouTuber. Have you ever checked out their channel? The JF documentary. We're never going to be able to laugh about this again, so we'll watch it tonight.
In JF's own words, he convinced her to leave her family and join him in North Carolina, and then after 3 weeks of being with her, a girl that had never lived on her own, worked a job, lived apart from her parents, been in a relationship, he convinced her to try to have a child with him. 2 independent psychiatrists evaluated this girl. The first said that she had the social and mental skills of a 10 to 11-year-old child, and the second one said that she wasn't fit to make the decision. That is insanely inappropriate for a 32-year-old guy to do that to a 19-year-old girl.
That's called love, you idiot.
Anyway, she's dead now. No, it's actually a different girl. JF had the one who was like too retarded to function that he was like forcefully removed from. And then the new girl who was like crazy, who like lost her job, she's missing. And nobody talks about it. JF is accused of killing his wife and nobody talks about it. It's crazy. Chat, we have 4,000 people watching. If anybody lives in Canada by the woods, they're looking for JF's wife. Still, okay? Still to this day. And if anyone has any info on I'm Alex... Okay, I'm Alex, was accused of domestic violence, okay? And threatening to bash his girlfriend's skull in with a brick. Nobody's seen that guy either. Well, we got 4,000 people watching, all right? Nobody's seen that guy. Nobody's seen JF's wife, all right? Just to be clear, these are just some talking points that are going to come up every stream for the rest of the year. Just got to mention those. Destiny gets gnomed highlight reel. Yeah, this is Anthony Fantano in...
I got an email from Anthony Fantano telling me good job on my Trump debate.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's not going to happen again. I have a feeling that's not going to happen again. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah. Say her name, Mama JF or Alice. Yeah. I don't know Mama JF's name. Something French probably. Alora Plantain. If you guys know where Alora Plantain is, all right, contact local Canadian police departments. I'm still looking, but there's a lot of woods here. Well, I mean, we need to find him. We need to find her. All right. Bo Black's booting up Destiny Bully stream. Could you imagine? He'd still somehow find a way to lose. If you ever want to watch a 3-hour documentary on the time Destiny said the N-word, it's right there. Yeah, Destiny the Streamer. It's a new alternative to what you guys were. Joe Biden! Thank you for the $50!
Imelix is outside my house screaming the N-word and talking about 14 pages. Send help immediately.
14 pages! Let me close this. Close group tabs.
I don't respect you.
Oh god, wait, I forgot about this clip! XQC talking about Jew Stalker.
You know, it's something that's going to have to be bared out in court, and you know, I'm sure there's going to be subpoenas for people's phones and look at all the information. But it's just good to have shareability on both.
Is that vegan gains?
But it's just good to have shareability on both sides and see what.
J-Stalk was going to rebrand on YouTube to N-Stalker, and that was probably a way bad. That was a horrible idea on his part.
Information, but it's just good to have shareability on both sides and see what each person might have been doing, rather than just completely condemning them. But so far, with what I've seen, Destiny is being a complete dickhead.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he should be on the sex offender registry.
What was the moan? Where?
And see what each person might have been doing, rather than just completely condemning them. But so far, with what I've seen, Destiny is being a complete dickhead.
At the start?
What? You know, It's something that's going to have to be bared out in court. And, you know, I'm sure there's going to be subpoenas for people's phones and look at all the information. But it's just good to have shareability on both.
Oh, it was fucking XQC.
But it's just good to have shareability on.
I thought it was fucking. You know what it sounds like? Does this not sound like the clip of Just a Robot? That's what a cute little pussy. Like, yeah.
What is Bunty King to you?
A person?
It's just good to have shareability.
What a cute little pussy.
On both sides and see what each person might have been doing, rather than just completely condemning them. But
we hit the goal again.
So far, with what I've seen, Destiny is being a complete dickhead.
A person?
Who is Bunty King?
Nicholas DeOrio.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he should be on the sex offender registry.
Bro,
100%.
bro, chat, this is so funny. This is like the biggest dick riders, orbiters of all time. but when there's a new lick of clout to be obtained somewhere else, when the tides flip, boom, guys.
Oh my god, bro!
Hey, this guy Destiny, never knew him. Don't know who he is, guys. Wait, did you say Destiny? Destiny who? Is that not a girl's name? What a joke! Like,
I mean, at least Destiny. You could say a lot of stuff about Destiny, but at least he remembered Pixie's name when he sent around her sex tape. You know, he at least remembered that Pixie gave bad head. J-Stock can't even remember Destiny's name. Probably doesn't even know it's Steven.
Like once he's on the.
Homie, it's not clout. Like, bro, come on, bro.
Sex offender registry in the state of Florida. I'm
on,
like, good.
Come on, bro.
It's fucking gross. I don't know. Last thing I want to put up is Ethan Klein has reacted. The H3 man. All right. He's supposed to release a content nuke, and I don't know what happened. I can't give you any information as to why the content nuke didn't release.
Who these people are? I've seen her, but they're friends. I've seen them in videos a lot together, and they apparently have a amorous past.
An amorous past? Is that like a tense of polyamorous? Is that what he's talking about? Like amorous?
And he has a penchant for filming himself doing sexual acts with people, which is already a pretty big red flag, guys. Let's not do that. I mean, listen, you can. There's nothing wrong with filming yourselves, okay? If that's what y'all want to do. But let's just
hold on. Somebody in chat just said Ethan's getting too thin. It's starting to tip the scale. You guys can, dude. That's a fucking crazy comment. That is a fucking crazy thing you just said.
be careful. Let's not do what Destiny did.
Oh, he said intimate?
Which is apparently sending the video.
Amorous is a word. It just means sexual. I've never heard it used that way. I learned a new word.
Without the permission of the recipient to other people to jerk off to it with him. I presume that's the...
I think it was said that it was to try and impress another party.
So it was like apparently a 19-year-old girl he was sending these to?
Yeah.
Disgusting. Which seems like extraordinarily careless. Of course this is going to come out. Now, apparently this...
And again, my big thing for this was like... I personally, maybe it's just me knocking the character of fucking online influencer related people. Even if, hypothetically, let's say hypothetically Pixie took $50,000 to go to law school, even though it's not something she specifically requested, there wasn't like a doubt in my mind that 2 or 3 years down the line, like even if she was paid off, we would still it would still come out eventually. I think that like maybe I'm reading into this too much, but it seems like Pixie's core argument is that like nothing can be done to prove that this won't happen to another girl. And no matter what sum of money was given to Pixie, I think that would still bother her. Maybe like somebody else would have to get hurt and then she'd tell the story or something. But I seriously don't buy that we would never hear this story again. Like some of the fucking naysayers are saying.
Came out because of a hacker got a hold of this girl's data.
Mm-hmm. No, Destiny's data.
I thought it got it from him? I thought it got it from this girl.
Yes, Nick, President Sunday would have leaked it. Exactly. Oh yeah, fair. Whatever. We were supposed to get content nuke this week, but I don't know what caused him to hold off on posting it. Whoever did that was great for my content next week. Oh, well, good on you, Sip, man.
My understanding is that the 19-year-old got hacked.
Right, sorry.
Yeah, the 19-year-old got hacked.
I'm making a joke because the Snark subreddit said it was me. Because they were... Dude, I'm getting watched so hard right now. The Snark subreddits are watching JStalk, Queeman, and me, and then clipping those streams. Because I said that, like, Ethan should really postpone the content nuke or whatever. Listen, if I had something to do with that, it would be a massive deal if I had something to do with that, okay?
And you know what else is massive?
Leaked.
She had this all on her hard drive.
Right.
Destiny Center. The hacker got in and got all this shit. Now, actually, if you can believe it, the next part is even worse. This girl Pixie said, I realized that Destiny...
Nick is the problem. He got the nuke delayed. That's literally what they're saying on Reddit. That's so fucking funny.
He's been sharing this content without my permission, so I'm going to be suing him. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then another girl came out yesterday, I think it was, or the day before. What's her name? Gosh,
Two more girls.
Oh, okay.
Nick is totally in cahoots with Ethan for the content nuke. No, I'm not. I have literally never spoken to Ethan Klein outside of, I think, him helping me get my channel monetized during a glitch like 6 years ago.
So I'm not even aware of if there's a third girl. So the second girl came out. Here, let me just go to the info here.
No, I literally swear I've never spoken to Ethan other than that instance that I can even possibly recall. Cabal does not reach that far directly to Ethan.
And in my opinion, once there's two, there's more. In my opinion.
Well, these are real. These are people that like are internet personalities that he knows, that we know he's had relationships with. So it's like there's not even really any room for doubt.
Right.
Also, Pixie showed screenshots of him being like
directly.
Like, I'm so sorry. If there's anything I can do, you know, if I can pay you to.
Oh, Destiny?
Yeah.
Said that? Oh, wow.
Ooh.
That's deeming.
He said stuff like, you know, I don't know if it helps, but yeah, here he is offering to pay some of her bills. Ooh. He says, this feels super lame, and I don't at all want to imply that somehow just giving you money helps anything go away or fixes everything.
Why do you hate Hassan Piker? Well, I don't know. On 6 different occasions, he's called me a fucking neo-Nazi on stream. Even when I don't say anything, he pauses the stream and goes, isn't that the neo-Nazi Nick DeOrio? I don't know, dude. I can't imagine why I might not like that guy.
For you. But if you have any bills or owe money or anything, or have financial...
Isn't that guy like a crypto-fascist? Yeah, I have no fucking clue why I might not like that guy.
Stuff I can help with, I can at the very least chip in.
Yeah, isn't that the fat crypto-fascist Nazi who has a Nazi podcast? Yeah, I have no clue. No idea why I wouldn't like that guy.
And help with any of that. So it's at least one.
Is he wrong? Well, yeah, I'm not a Nazi. I'm not a crypto-fascist.
One less thing you have to worry about or stress over.
Fat, he's kind of on the point for, yeah.
While you're worrying about getting through this. Now, I had heard this leak happened. And
I'm more hyped for your emergency stream on the content nuke than the actual content nuke. Well, I mean, listen, it's good that it's next week because that way it allows Chud Logic to watch it too.
I thought it was just memes and stuff because apparently there was like a picture or video of him like sucking a dude off.
Mhm.
Everyone thought that was funny, whatever.
Yeah, I am neo-fat. That's true.
And then apparently there was also like a video of him that was leaked with like his ex-wife.
Yeah, like Ethan got his hands on the singular Israeli warhead. And that's actually, the content nuke is actually not a... Dude, the reason why Ethan had to delay it a week is because he's currently awaiting a shipment from Israel.
And this girl, Pixie, I didn't know how graphic or what was in it. But I didn't know behind the scenes there was apparently an insane amount of stuff brewing that was happening. So there's that. And then this one really was like, for me, let me just pull it up. Let me make sure this is the one I'm talking about.
He confirmed his new videos about Hassan. Yeah, it's crazy watching him break this down because I feel like I didn't think he'd cover it at all. But the reality is that, like, I don't know. I think that next week when this video drops, the big Hassan Piker defense squad is like, Destiny wrote the whole video. Destiny did all this. Destiny is the guy who's in charge here, and his community is orchestrating this for Ethan. Destiny's a sex offender or whatever, and it's Ethan Klein is fucking working with a sex offender to own Hassan Piker and slander his friend. I don't know, just a whole bunch of bullshit, to be honest. That's what I'm expecting. But, I mean, it makes sense not to release it this week, because it's going to at least separate a week from this situation. It's going to get completely overshadowed by the Destiny allegations. So, I mean, I think it's a smart move. And, I mean, it's good because Chud Logic can react to it next week.
Wait, so this is his... Hold on. This isn't an accuser. This is not your... This is his friend, Erudite. Right? This girl isn't an accuser. I think there's just one more accuser. My statement with the info so far, my opinion will update as information.
The reality of the situation is Vosh is like a weird sex guy who enjoys lolly bestiality porn. Hassan Piker is a genuine douchebag, extremely unintelligent, probably as politically illiterate as me on most things, and I literally know nothing. I'm a complete fucking normie who doesn't care about politics. And I feel like I could probably... Like, if Willie Mack Show, who is also a complete normie, can hold his own against Hassan in a debate, that's, like, extremely embarrassing. Destiny is, like, a sex-craved, degenerate weirdo who literally sells... People like, Nick, you're a bad friend. Well, you know what? I've never leaked my friend's nudes before, okay? So, I mean... That's good.
Available. Yeah, she's...
I've never leaked a sex tape of Bo Black's, all right? Bo Black's has never been... We never leaked Bo Black's cum shot, okay? That was just something that happened to, unfortunately, hit everybody's feed because he became an OnlyFans pornographer.
It's not.
I'm sorry, Mansheehy. Mr. Mansheehy.
Okay, maybe...
Oh, I'm sorry if there's any DGG adjacent people that didn't know that Bo Black's now runs a cross-dressing porn account, and his cock was on 111. We refer to the day that we all saw Bo Black's cock.
There's some confusion there because Pixie...
Do you have that pic? No, I don't have that pic.
Said she knows that there's at least 3 other...
As far as there's only been one other person.
I literally told Bo Black's that you can't hang out with us anymore, and your videos are not getting views. So they ran to porn.
It's come out.
And became an OnlyFans model. If anything, they were like months away from being sent all of the explicit Destiny sex tapes because they were an OnlyFans model. You know how, like, dude, Bo Black's just needed to turn to porn, and then he could have started farming everyone in the community's naked videos and stuff. Because all he had to do is, like, text Destiny.
And that one is extraordinarily terrible. But this one is his friend. I think she was in... I don't want to speak out of turn. I'm not 100% sure. But she's just expressing her opinion on the situation as someone that was close to it. Now that
what about VidCon? He shared a bed with Augie, but I'm sure nothing happened.
The next person who came out was Chaeiry.
Chaeiry. I mean, this Chaeiry stuff is huge if it turns out to go somewhere, but I'm gonna wait and see.
And here's her statement, which kind of left my jaw on the floor a little bit. So she says, Destiny is blocking...
Because that's the thing, is it is objectively worse, but I can't believe that, like, Erudite is surviving off the fact that Chaeiry has released a worse allegation. Like, they're using it as almost an opportunity to say that what Destiny has done so far isn't really that bad because a worse allegation has been named. Therefore, we can now completely deviate off course and not really address the first one super well and just go, yeah, that's pretty bad, but it could have been worse. So in like some ways, I'm glad Chaeiry spoke up, but in other, like, and obviously she has the right to do so, but it's kind of disgusting and gross that they've kind of used this as a tactic to kind of, like, navigate around the current situation.
And banned me, and people supporting me from his community. I've not done anything besides ask him for an explanation, as I was assured this was something he didn't do to me. This didn't do to me being sharing videos of them with other people. When I wasn't given one privately, I spoke publicly. I am not involved in any lawsuit or coordination with anyone seeking justice due to the leaks in November, though they have had my empathy and support in their efforts. It is only yesterday I became aware that Destiny had recorded me while we had sex without my consent.
That is so...
That to me is like the worst.
And the thing is, like, you know what's crazy? is I guarantee all of Ethan's fucking audience, not audience, all of Ethan's team or whatever, like the majority of these people hate Destiny. They expected this to happen, probably, I imagine. And it's like, I can't stress, like I can't get away from the fact that next week, all of these people are going to be branded like Destiny supporters. Like AB is going to get this shit. Like AB fucking hates Destiny. And they're all going to be branded as like Destiny defenders and supporters and sweepers or whatever.
That's like a go to jail type of.
And then sharing it on top of that.
Because those guys just fight like information with misinformation. It's a disinformation fight.
Distribution.
Filming without consent is like.
Freak.
It's a terrible crime. It's just a terrible crime.
Yeah.
So yeah, that part blew my mind. And with no regard for me, also shared that recording to others. 2 women have now let me know that they have seen.
All right, I'm gonna fucking dude. I'm gonna tell a story right now, and I don't want to I mean, I do want to implicate them, but there was a person, right? So I was hanging out with my buddy. I think I told the story once on stream before, and I found out about it because his girlfriend dumped him, right? So imagine you have a long-term 4+ year-old girlfriend, right? I mean, I always thought the guy was a little, you know, he liked to go to plays. I didn't know he was. I knew he had a girlfriend, but I didn't know, you know. I didn't know. I certainly didn't know it was like this. So one day, his girlfriend just wasn't there. Basically in college, it's kind of common. Wait, 4 years old. Oh, she was. Wait, what did I say? Not 4-year-old girlfriend. No, I said it wrong. No, I think 4+ years ago. 4+ years ago, I meant to say. Holy shit, dude. I'm getting owned. Jesus. No, so this guy had like a fucking girlfriend like 4 years ago. And this fucking... So I think the guy's a little older than me. So she was probably in her late 20s and he might have been early 30s. But, oh, dude, I totally just completely ruined the story now. Because I can't go past any... There's literally nowhere else to go. I just got completely destroyed. I'm done, buddy? No, he's done because apparently he's a pedo. I just exposed my friend for being a pedo. Okay, so I swear to God, there's actually a point to this story. So yeah, like 4+ years ago or whatever, but like back when like early college or whatever, like it was I think senior year of college, his girlfriend just disappeared one day. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? Because everybody lived in these like group rent share houses because nobody could afford anything on this fucking Long Island, right? And they were like, oh yeah, I'm gonna call him Billy. His name's not Billy. It's like, oh yeah, Billy and his girlfriend broke up. And I'm like, wait, why did Billy and his girlfriend break up? And they said, well, if I tell you, you have to tell nobody about this. So, of course, I'm only going to tell my 4,000 closest friends and family. Billy, well, his girlfriend and him weren't getting back together because one day she was browsing something. Maybe she was doing her taxes or she was doing an assignment for her graduate program, but she had to use the computer, okay? The computer of Billy in his office. And she located a folder that she was not supposed to open up. And it was filled with like 100 sex tapes. And she had never even spoken to him about the concept of filming. This is like Destiny on steroids, right? So this person, yeah, literally filmed his girlfriend like a shitload of times or whatever. I think he moved out shortly after. I don't think I've seen him since. But he filmed his girlfriend close to like 100 times. And then I think he argued, if I remember correctly, it was so he could judge his performance and do better or something. Like he was just judging his performance. Did he ever mention this to me? No. I literally didn't find out until his girlfriend dumped him, and then he moved like shortly after. So I really don't know what happened to that guy. So yeah, that was a thing that happened. Autistic? I don't know. Yeah, he was doing like the Panasonic digital replay. Like you ever see like a goal, like in like a Ranger game, there was like a goal, and then they had like 16 different angles. I don't know if it was 16 different angles, but apparently this guy was just recording all of his sex on his like laptop webcam and like storing it, and then she found it and had like and I was like, yeah, so they're not getting back together. That is like some next level sex pestery.
The recording taken of me in September.
Yeah, he had VODs on, yeah.
Without my consent. Jeez. I thank them for their concern.
Jail, like it should have been jail, absolutely.
No amount of public humiliation will ever make me regret being made aware of what was done to me.
I told you, all right? I misspeak did not ruin the story. The story is crazy.
Like a police
You knew JF? Yeah, literally.
report and pressing charges.
Good for you.
Did she? I imagine she deleted them. But again, I never saw her again either.
Now, obviously, Destiny hasn't. We put out one statement that didn't really say anything. It's not even worth reading. But I'm assuming he's going to have something to say about this new statement. So he hasn't said anything about it yet. But
I mean, it's not like the thing with him is he was always like into completely different shit. I was closer with his two roommates or whatever, and then that guy was always like going to plays and stuff. We never really had a shitload in common, so I didn't really know a lot about him, and then he was gone.
from what I can tell, there's really no space for questioning or I don't know. I can't imagine what Destiny could bring that would make this any better.
His coughing is getting old. Dude, he's got Tourette's. He can't help himself. That's not on purpose. Plays and he had a girlfriend. Am I the only one who thinks that, like, well, you know what? It's crazy is I'm definitely going to a Broadway play. I'm talking hella shit right now, but the Stranger Things one on Broadway looks really good. I really do want to go to that. But I think it's like is it like a 2-day thing or something? I don't know. I'm getting tickets. I don't know. I'm talking hella shit about plays, but I'm probably going to go to the Stranger Things one.
Besides,
I saw Wicked too. Wicked was good, but I was like 11.
Like a fucking recorded phone call of him being like, yes, you can film.
His tics are getting worse. I just think he's nervous talking about this.
And share it with people.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is not going to happen.
It's clearly the lupus, all right? Jake Doolittle is wrong.
So, I don't know, man. This is fucking terrible.
What is
and
Monkey
of
King
course,
do?
Hassan is doing a victory
is
lap
Monkey King?
because his arch nemesis
Nicholas
took
DeOrio?
the fat fucking L, and L being the law, breaking the law, and being law-suited.
He's so dumb, dude.
Dude, it's all lawsuits-to-me now.
Because all these girls gonna try to sue him, and like it seems like they have good fucking evidence too.
Yo, forget being sued. That's a fucking serious crime.
Yeah. Oh, that true. It will be a
2025 turned Nick gay without his consent.
criminal
Police
thing
report?
too. That's,
I'd be way more worried about the police.
yeah.
Fucking civil court is just money.
Yes, his Tourette's is real. What did you think? It's like the South Park episode where like Cartman fakes it the entire time. If Ethan was faking his Tourette's for the last 10 years, that would have been probably the funniest gag he's ever done. I really do think so.
He could go to jail.
I hope he does. Damn.
Dude, they're gonna play this clip next. Or they're gonna cut this clip out of the stream next week or whatever, and do like a super cut or whatever, where it makes it look like Ethan's super like supportive of Destiny.
Crazy, dude. Ay, ay, ay. It's just endlessly remarkable to me that this keeps happening, you know? Like, what did you think, bro?
Did you see Wicked recently? No.
You're sending it to a random 19-year-old? Like, the chance that gets leaked.
It's so nice to hear other people, like, everyone's like, guys, Destiny made a mistake, and then Ethan's just, like, angry about it, which is just so refreshing.
Leaked is pretty high. If you're sending it out that willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Like, you...
Yeah.
And again, I disagree with this. I think it was leaked the second it left his inbox. I don't like this weird debate, like, definition farming of what leaked actually means. He leaked it. He released it without her consent to a random person who has the autonomy to do whatever they want with it for sexual gratification. It's leaked.
Did you not expect this to happen? What the fuck are you doing, man?
Nick would love Wicked, just as gay as that movie. I don't know. I like Ariana Grande.
Are you that horny? Like, are you that horny?
All right, I don't like Ariana Grande that much. Jesus Christ, Ethan, chill.
Yeah.
Like did you not expect this
fuck, dude?
To happen? What the fuck are you doing, man? Are you that horny? Like, are you that horny? Is your brain that fucked up when you start jerking off that like
She's not that bad. Why are you saying that about Ariana?
He's just like blindly fucking gooning.
Dude,
What the fuck is wrong with them, dude? They're all judging me.
Is ungoonable.
The Vosh scream. I keep forgetting that's the Vosh scream.
Heights that have never been gooned before.
This has to be like a record, yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry for the misunderstanding. I was reading it more. So there wasn't a second accuser. His previous allegations were brought up of his ex-wife confirming revenge porn rumors that were done to her without her consent.
Ethan is chat. True.
That's what it was.
She cheated on a married man whose wife was pregnant.
Yay, man.
She what? She cheated on a married man whose wife was pregnant. That doesn't make sense. She cheated on a married man whose wife was pregnant. You mean she cheated with a married man whose wife was pregnant? Jesus Christ, dude.
The situation reads to me
How do you
like
cheat on a married man? Would you be pregnant? Like she's the wife? She cheated on herself with her altar.
a guy who's gotten away with being a predator for a really long time.
Dude, holy shit. Unironically though, this is so fucking good for next week when he releases the content nuke. That was such a huge escalation. I mean, I don't know if but like, just listen.
Yay, man.
This situation reads to me like a guy who's gotten away with being a predator for a really long time, and now everything is catching up to him. And I hope that if more people come out, they feel empowered too.
I mean, there's already enough, you know?
Right? I hope there aren't more.
Yeah.
I hope everyone feels
I hope
supported.
so too, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the times when shit like this
You know what's
comes
crazy is President Sunday's like, God, we just need one more victim to really bring it to death. Dude, if there's just one more raped, okay, then we can really bring it to Destiny.
What is Bunty King to you?
A person?
Who is Bunty King?
Nicholas DeOrio?
I looked up the girl's Twitter archive. She joined in April 2022. Profile says 18 years old. Destiny's first DMs to her in the leak were on April 4th. He sent the PXC video on April 10th. Less than a month of talking.
Oh yeah, dude, they talked a few times on... They talked a few times, dude. They talked a few times on the phone. She's a trusted person, dude. Oh wait, I meant to put the video back on, not the fucking song. Freshly 18, true.
How the fuck do you think you would come away with this? But it's like, with power, with like doing...
But even all the power...
Dude, all of Flamenco's enemies are being taken out. It's crazy. Oh, these are both gonna read. I'll give it a second.
I don't respect you. So
Thank you.
Oh no! What am I gonna do?
Ooh, I think it's gonna read. I'll read it then. My ex filmed my friend getting changed in my house. I found out years later in a friendship along with links to jailbait.
Legal
Jesus.
principle in Florida is just releasing
Fucking
sexual content
gross.
without consent with intent. He released it for personal gain, more gooning. Dude is cooked on the criminal side of things and is going to get raked over the coals in civil court.
You say that, but there's a reason why I don't argue this stuff with you guys, because like I don't think the legal things that you read are actually the legal things that will happen. I think oftentimes people like interpret the law as if it's the thing they want to happen. Like you just wrote me here, releasing sexual content without consent with intent. I believe the legal, like the word for intent is implying with like intent to harm the other person. I'm 99% sure from a legal perspective. But again, I'm not a lawyer. I have no fucking idea. But that's what people have told me who know more about the law than I do. So the reason why that wouldn't go anywhere, or in theory might not go anywhere, is because you can't find intent to harm Pixie. You find intent for him to release the image, which isn't necessarily what they're actually talking about. Am I wrong about that? If I am wrong about that, I sincerely apologize. It's genuinely not like a sweep attempt. I just don't like engaging with like the legal aspect of it because I'm just completely uninformed on law. I'm here to talk to you about what I think, and again, we could talk about it if and when there's an arrest made, because I don't want to just sit here and talk about a bunch of shit that I don't know about.
Oh no! What am I gonna do?
I meme to a lawyer, Nick. Oh, I married a lawyer, Nick. I don't know why you said you meme to a lawyer for the goal. Thank you, Xylee. Thank you so much, and thank you so much to Dreadwolf88.
Slight creep a little bit every time. Yeah.
Even with all the power and coercion in the world, it's like you can't keep a fucking random 19-year-old from getting hacked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that hate Destiny, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck me, man. Holy shit.
Holy shit, you hit another one? It'd be up to a judge's verdict, which could be a fine, could be the essay registry, yeah. I have no idea. I mean, it's not an open and shut case like people want it to be, but...
Did I not ask you nice enough?
That doesn't mean it's not significant.
So I respect
Oh no! What am I gonna do?
That's the
I
thing.
love watching your stream from the beginning, but I cannot rewind the stream. I'm not the only one either. Is it a glitch or on purpose?
I'm not exactly sure as to why that is.
I don't respect you.
Well, there are people who say they can and they can't, so I was gonna look into it after, and I didn't want to delay the stream for that now. Yeah. The thing is with like the legality arguments, if I sit here and I case everything in law, then I'm like no better than NotSoErudite. Because NotSoErudite's entire moral compass is based off what is and what isn't illegal, because that's her move that she'll make to leave, right? I want people to realize that this is bad, whether it leads to a conviction or not. This is a behavior that is unacceptable, whether or not a court finds this person to be guilty of any one specific crime. The action in and of itself is bad enough, and it should be condemned. I hope that kind of sells the position well.
I saw a clip of his son saying,
That's why I haven't sat here and been like, that's why I've been trying to use the word revenge porn scarcely. That's why I haven't been focusing on like criminal or civil suits or anything like that, and just kind of talking about it as what it is. Because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. It does matter. It could be significantly worse, but I'll focus on what we do know by itself.
told you guys I told you all of my enemies are all pedophiles and Nazis. And someone said, what about Ethan? And he goes, Ethan's in a league of his own. I don't know exactly what he said, but I said, okay. At least I'm not a pedophile or a Nazi. It could be worse than that.
That is pretty good.
He's like, he's in a league of his own. He's Jewish. Right, Zach?
No, he's a Zionist.
Right.
Found it. No, I'm kidding, of course. He would say Zionist.
There it is. Free watch.
Enough sense to not be that overt. I can't wait for you guys to see this video, though. Please don't. I'm like, this is a passion project. It really is. I've been working on this since we went on break. Since before we went on break, I started writing the outline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've been cooking. It's impressive.
Thank you.
If I were to start like a big project like that, I'd get bored. I think I'd like run out of energy.
I'm very motivated. To me, I'm passionate about what it is about. I think it's and I also think it's an important video. I do.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that it has like cultural or not culture, but I think it has an importance.
Very important.
So yeah, I've been motivated, and like every spare minute I've had has been just chipping away at this thing. When I look at the sequence now, I'm kind of like, wow, how did I do this? Because it's like, an hour 40 minutes long of extremely highly edited.
Who is Bunty King?
So now he's talking about the content nuke for next week, which is more than likely not probably the next stream. I might come back on Saturday or Sunday. I do have topics to do, but
like this whole hour,
I don't see another Destiny related stream on the horizon unless somebody gets arrested.
The 2-hour saga is as edited as any H3 video that I've made before. So it has the same amount of care and attention. It's just 2 hours long.
Frogan video is coming. I am doing the Frogan video. That is whatever I do in the next regular stream. I'm doing Frogan and Amaranth, but
Hassan at the inauguration. Wow. Hassan was at the Trump inaug?
This is our last Poe Black stream. Actually, tomorrow has a Poe Black VOD. I'm sorry. Then I don't know if I'm going to split this into 2 or 1.
Don't you think that's taking a little too far, Is that Olivia J?
What did Amaranth do? Yeah, don't forget Paige Christie. I decided to do Paige Christie after the content nuke, probably, because there's going to be like a decent Ethan Klein week or whatever, and it might be funny to watch that video after he makes the Hassan video. So that's probably when I'll do it.
I think that's just
all right. I think we're good on this. I'm gonna read some donos and then I'm out of here. Ugh. The Destiny stuff has been standalone. I tried to do a second topic after the last one, and it just wasn't. Whenever these main subject topic things, it's just gonna be a one-off probably. Could also be a intent to publish distribution. Yeah, again, I'm sorry. I'm not super read in on legal stuff. The most legal stuff I get is watching Suits, It's like I promise you that I'm not writing off the reality that something could happen. I'm just not confident enough to like diagnose that myself, I guess. Mr. Beast videos coming. Unfortunately, this has been like a really busy month. I intended to get it out this month, but it's probably not going to happen. I think I streamed this week 4 times, didn't I? If you start from like, no, in the last 7 days, I think I've been live like 4 times. And yeah, that's probably it. I'm going to do some donos now. And then we're going to get out of here. I'm going to send you to Queeman. Somebody reached out to me and they're like, you should stop going to Queeman because Queeman hates you, Nicholas DeOrio. Queeman fucking hates you. Queeman's fucking chat hates you. And you're like a cuck for rating him. It's like, I like Queeman. Queeman is friends with me. I don't care that he disagrees with me on certain things. I have absolutely no problem that it's happening. I think that if you're more bent up about it than me, you probably wouldn't be able to do very well in my position. You probably shouldn't really give me advice
What is
about
Bunty King to you?
how to handle my
Who is Bunty
friends.
Nicholas DeOrio?
I don't, everyone
Thank
hates
you
an
for
echo
the streams
chamber or
lately.
whatever
It's
until.
really nice to have somebody with based takes, but also we can have and laugh.
Yes, thank you so
Wishing
much.
the
I
best
appreciate
for
it.
everything, man.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to announce President Tipster.
Tipster, a good dude. Tipster, a good dude.
Thank you for playing Fortnite. What did I get? I think I unlocked Godzilla. How close am I? The only reason we've only been playing Fortnite is I need to get through this fucking Godzilla pass. When the fuck do you get Godzilla? Battle Pass. 8 out of 12. We're almost done. We have to get fucking 7 more levels and we can stop playing this game. In like a month. Holy shit, dude. Hell yeah, dude. President Tipster. President Tipster. Alright, let me grab some donos. I have to read them from the other spot now, so unfortunately YouTube sucks. The Destiny... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god! Bro! How many did we fucking get? You guys are crazy, dude. It just kept going. You guys are super great. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You hit like way too many goals tonight. You guys are sick. Alright, here, let's drop this. Let's see if I can do this in 7 minutes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Sarman the Fab, thank you so much for $5. Wait, my nudes won't go to models. How do I cancel? Wait, no. Chloe EP, thank you for the 5 global British pounds for the goal. Meth, thank you for the boom. Dude, he gave me a boom. Thank you for the 5 big booms. Boom, 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 boom. The line complete, thank you for the 5. Let's get ourselves another goal, ladies and gentlemen. Fawn, $5. Let us know what flavor of monster your stream is running on tonight. I just had the default one. I'm a loser. Dan Mac, 5. Can we get another goal? Toxic Monger of Hateful Brood, $10. 99% of all gooners affected by the goonicide currently sweeping the nation. With your small donation to Nick's goals, you can give him money to laugh at it. Emery, thank you for the 5. For antidepressants, turn off the goon urge, or for the goal, whatever. 328 Crash, thank you for the $2. DeOrio, double stuffed with audacity. Andromeda, thank you so much. I don't know if you were doing this, but Russell Search has logs of Destiny's messages in DGG chat. I was just getting them off Twitter. As DGG refugees, they're embarrassing. Especially the people he banned, yeah. Meth, thank you for the 5 for the goal. Shade Tree Surgeon, 50. DeOrio Domination, they've been weighed, measured, and found wanting. D-Wind, does this mean Hassan W, or does it mean Ethan and Augie W? I'm going to prefer the other ones. Super 20, is a bad time to remind everybody that you leaked Connect Hell's nudes on New Year's. CLJM, thank you so much. Ethan Klein took a W in this drama as well. He saw the future and decided it was a bad idea to cozy up with Destiny during the Hassan War. Literally facts. 328 Crash. Listen, all I'm saying that Destiny Keffel sex tape leaks. I'm uninstalling all social media, so I don't have to see it. Meth. We need a new goal. Chaos and Control. Null is the one true Josh. Mr. Taco. All Hassan did was nothing and he won. Sad day. Toxic Monger of Hateful Brood. Destiny didn't leak them. He whistle blew them to the other person and they got hacked. The hacker leaked. I mean, this is just no. Destiny leaked them. Who aren't you all for leaking secrets and should try these self-defenses? Oh, no. I'm sorry. The person who's saying that is quoting dumb people. They're not dumb. Sorry, Toxic. I took it out of context. Octooth, $20. Just make sure your door lock is more than 3 feet off the ground and Destiny won't be able to reach it. Also, I finally found out what JAR stands for. It's Jaden Animations I'm sorry. What? That was a crazy dodo. Fact Junior roll. The West has followed. Mr. Taco about it. Does this qualify for EFAB material? I don't think they want to touch this with a 10-foot pole. I'll invite Mauler on one day, but let's make it not about sex offenders, you know? Or alleged sex offenders. That's probably a better way to word that. Micaiah Walsman, people in DGG justifying a need to consider what they do. If Trump did the same thing, got exposed for it. The line complete, YouTube trying to take our massive lol cows away from us. Chaos and control. Nick, I really don't see how Destiny's any different from Ralph. All he's done is swat. Wait, all he hasn't done is swat people or eat literal shit. I mean, I don't really. Yeah, I mean, Ralph's done kind of everything, but like, Destiny's getting to the point where if he keeps doing these bad things, people are going to forget in favor of new bad things. Free Dean 20. Wait, what did my blue-haired feminist with the name Destiny do? Hopefully nothing unsightly for his career. Andromeda from Destiny's DGG chat. I have never done anything maliciously, or as any of the insane Lab Mr. Girl J-Stock allegations is dumb. Only crime is being too much of a gooner. It's just disgusting. Disgusting that he said that. Nikos, why do you only stream during Ranger games? Stop making me pick between... I'm so sorry. I just haven't been watching because they were just so bad for like a while, and I just didn't want to watch anymore. I'm probably gonna get back to it soon. That'll just affect my streams. Sorry. They call me Tim. Jar leak my nudes to Claus Snickerdoodle. Zaint Woodchipper. That's like the worst quote from this whole thing. Is yeah, if there was a guy in my video, it would be Klaus de Snickerdoodle, and then I go Kraut. That's unironically the most embarrassing part of this drama. Is that fucking quote that almost didn't get released, and then it did. On Klaus to Snickerdoodle. Are we talking about Kraut? I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. Zaint Woodchipper, Kenny Birdsong, Nick. Of course she sucks at head. That's the point. Ironclad Amphibian. Him saying the girl was young and experienced. Flash the Star-Lord. What now? That sounds bad. Scene in my head. Oh yeah. Oh, that sounds bad in my head. This guy's sick. Frosty, thanks for the 2. Nick, you think Destiny's into scat porn like Pat McAfee? Is it Pat McAfee or... I don't know. I don't know that. Dreamin' 50, Lord help this man to lose everything online so he can never do this to anyone else again. Shout out from Denmark. Thank you. Elote man, what if NotSoErudite's name was not so freakite and she helped minimize Destiny's freaky accusations? Thank you. 328 Crash. Anyone remember a couple years back when Ludwig said that he met Destiny and he didn't pass the vibe check because of the hacky sack circle? Maybe we need to talk about the hacky sack again. Kai, thank you for the 10. Pause my continuing education to hear the drama and give Nick based money. Saruman the Fab, Nick, you don't work for or with Destiny and weren't closely associated with him. Why didn't you do anything? Exactly, literally. Thank you so much. Luis, she apps like a politician covering something. 328 Crash, not so... Okay, I'm not saying that one, but thank you. Miradal, Destiny really thought admitting to cover for a sex offender was a good move. We need more guys like Nick and Tom and less Stevens. Cat Yaps, $2. You plagiarized me, Nick. The Leviathans are coming. 328 Crash. Tom probably still has Destiny's pubes in his beard from when he filmed the video. Ransage, 5 USD. We need to call Mr. Beast's mom to handle this HR issue. Whew, that is a cut from like... It feels like months ago, but it's not. Later Xavier, 5. An empath like Erudite. I think Erudite wants that Destiny, you know? She doesn't look like a human. She looks like a chicken eating her own crap. I don't know why I read that. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. Grizzly, 50 Australian. Devil's Advocate. If everyone in someone's life straight up cut off all connection, why would they ever change for the better? Why wouldn't they just find people that agree with how terrible they are? I did address that one on the stream. Eric Cecil, thank you so much. Registered sex offender, ARC. DSP Historical Society, thoughts on people saying you could have come out with this when you first learned about it without naming the victims? Yeah, I mean, we literally did on the stream. We said about everything we could say. We mentioned the sex tape person because that was already out there. We discussed the Melina thing, went back and forth about it for a little. We didn't talk about Pixie. If you talk about specifically Pixie without naming Pixie, people just go to Kiwi Farms and find out that it's Pixie. There was no moving forward with the story outside of waiting, unfortunately. That's my position. That's the one I had, and I own it. I don't see it personally. I would have been career sewer sliding and Destiny's community would have destroyed you. Oh yeah, I mean, like, realistically, if you make one wrong move or whatever, it's not like you're afraid of Destiny and his community. You're afraid of being wrong about Destiny and his community because you're going to lose. Like, if you don't come with your I's crossed and your T's dotted against Destiny, the guy's like literally a fucking machine when it comes to responses. So he's probably gonna, like, if you're not correct or whatever and you're walking in with like literally half cocked, then he's gonna prove him like you're wrong. Like, yeah, 100%. Shulk, thank you for the KR45. This is the happiest Boblox has ever been since his OnlyFans got leaked. Grizzly, 50 Australian based and gay. 328 Crash, hot take, Destiny's rap battle was worse. Luis, thank you so much. I read that one. NSE is a manipulator of facts. She's like PR. 328 Crash, Tom is treating her like she's Chansey in Safari Zone. She could run at any time. DC5 Fallout. Who was the guy too mad deported back to Russia? I think that was Tipster. Rawan's catching up. Sorry if you already spoke about it, but did you see JStock's statement to you on X? What a clown. I mean, I confronted JStock on stream about it. We're okay now. I think JStock feels a little bad because he knew back in November about some stuff with like the Google Drive or something he was telling me. I don't fucking know what he said. Ultimately, though, there's really not much he could have did. If you think that I couldn't come forward with it and the internet's fucking on that point, JStock would have just lost everything immediately, whether he was right or wrong. So he didn't really have an option. He would have just been the next Lav. Luke Rative, breaking news. President Trump signs an executive order to declassify all of Stephen Bonnell's files. I mean, here's what I'm going to tell you. Tommy wanted to go after Mama Max a full year later. I told him it's not the time, but when it is the time, it will go down, and it will ultimately happen. And Tommy still, to this day, references this and agrees with me. You don't always just go fucking gun half-cocked into fucking battle. You just don't do that. Your I's crossed and your T's dotted. True. Yeah, obviously. Tommy sees cat. Breaking news. Trump has deported Stephen Bonnell to Adam 22's bed. Adam 22's got his fair share of allegations. Captain C, I question the ethics of this, and she's a mental health person. 328 Crash. Nick, for the love of God, don't let Edwin get Pixie's phone number. Oh, God. Captain Defireman, thank you. Pixie's fundraiser is now currently over by $3,000. The Lion Complete, take the box chat. If you put it all on black at the casino, it's guaranteed to be a massive win. Schizo Poser, have you ever watched the NSC versus Chud debate about Ayurveda? Highly recommended as a hate watch. Maybe I will. Kinetic Cal 2, can we please hear the mixtape, Nicholas? No. NQ, thank you for the $5. Nick, I just wanted you to know I nut-checked myself during a Family Guy analogy. Thanks. Creaky Teeth, $2. Dan from H3 got married today. Hey! Way to go, Dan! Congratulations. You probably hate me, but I'm glad you got married, dude. Ian Sharp, 10. Kind of funny to see how her name is not so erudite, and yet she knew chat. She knew. Q Hood Ornament. It's crazy how many times she mentions how she's opening a clinic. Lion Complete. Chat, I'm proud that you all know that Nick's one true wife is Mika. I hate this entire narrative. Speedy or wait, Godzilla's in the game? Yeah, currently there's a Godzilla event that's going on right now. DSP Historical Society, the people who are sweeping for Destiny trying to turn this into a money grab disgust me. It's absolutely. Free Dean, you could even say that it was a massive fuck up. Play the sound.
And you know what else?